Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran and I'm here with River Brown, Andrew Velez, and John Carlos. And this is now episode 159. In this episode, we are going to talk about whether or not the Nets have enough time to figure things out, Markelle Fultz's return, if the Nuggets are dark horses, Bulls struggles against top teams, and more. And instead of a Patreon shout out, we are going to do a special edition intro. That's Drew lit. Has some words to say.
I do.
So
100%.
Drew, the floor is all yours. You can say what.
Thank you guys, and I apologize to the Patreons that won't be shouted out this episode. We're gonna take this time and we're gonna designate this time specifically to Alexandra, my girlfriend. She just had her birthday pass this Monday, so give it up for her, please. Round of applause. Happy birthday. Send her some love. Leave her some love in the comment section. She's been going through a tough time recently. Her grandfather just passed away, unfortunately. Joel Shapiro, he was a great man. And I appreciate Joel giving me this time to dedicate this to her. So if you guys could just send her some love in the comments, I'm sure she'd really appreciate that.
Shout out Allie.
For real. Thank you.
Hopefully she feels better. And now, this past week, so our fans have been spoiling us, even though so far we have two packages. PJ sent us a Josh Giddey jersey.
Shout out PJ.
Burner Hoops, yeah, we need a shout out in.
Clap
it up for PJ.
That is a goat.
Josh Giddey jersey. You know what? If you guys didn't notice, right now I have a Tony Parker jersey back there, so it's going to be in rotation all the time.
Okay.
So Harden, Parker, Giddey, and then we'll get some more jerseys in there in rotation. But Burner Hoops, a fan of the show, a Patreon of the show, sent us basketball cards along with a letter that says, "Read me." And we're going to open up our packs. Let's see what we got. Let's open up the packs first, or should we read the letter first?
Read the letter first.
Okay.
Read the letter
Let's
first.
read the letter first. So shout out to Burner Hoops.
Pels Nation. I cap. They're horrible.
Who? Pelicans?
Yeah.
What do you mean horrible?
The letter
Bro, they
says
haven't
read
lost
me.
since the All-Star break.
Oh, my God.
And Zion's coming back.
Yeah.
It says, to the Pick a Side Goats, appreciate the work you all put in. It keeps me motivated. And I'm not going to lie, this handwriting is not the best. So, to the Pick a Side Goats, appreciate the work you all put in. Keeps me motivated. And it gets me through my work day.
That's cool.
I try to mix in some real cool stuff for you guys. Nothing too crazy. My pocket's not built like that yet. Laughing my ass off. P.S. Tell Riv's beanhead ass Brandon Ingram should have been an all-star.
That's pretty.
Everybody always got beef with me.
Listen, bro, you started by saying the Pelicans are mid, so like you deserve that.
Yeah.
Beanhead ass.
So he mentioned you first, Riv, in the letter. Well, he mentioned you by name. So you open up your pack first.
Rivs pack. Just touchdown.
And whenever you pull out a card, make sure you show it to the camera too.
This one right here. Oh.
Yeah, make sure you don't open it.
This one right here is pretty legendary. You got the Cam Reddish Duke card. You know, one of
That's
the best.
a Gem Mint 10 too, or is it 9? What does it say up there?
Gen Mint. Yep, Mint 69 Mint 9. What that mean?
That means that it's like out of 10, it's a 9, rated 9. That's
rated,
really good.
Which means it's good. It's good, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Nah, he's a GOAT for this one. And I got another Cam Reddish card for them Hawks, the ones that betrayed him. Bad organization. They just missed out on the superstar. Oh, nah, he's going crazy. He's going crazy. Oh, my God. Then he gave me one of the best defenders in NBA history, Dennis Rodman. Part of the Big Three.
Nice.
Yeah, this one's crisp. This one's very crisp. If I get a Steph Curry one in here, I might die.
He's going to give you Seth.
Nah, but this one's just as good. DeJounte Murray.
Tough.
Yes.
That's what's
This
up.
one's
Tough.
crazy. This one looks clean. What is this? He didn't do this.
Brandon Ingram.
Nah, he gave me a Cam Thomas. He trolled me with this one. This one's still fire too, so I'm gonna keep this one. Well, I might trade it. JC, let me see your pack. Let me see what you got.
So shout out to Burner Hoops. JC unfortunately didn't get a pack. But don't worry. I couldn't leave my boy out.
Real.
So I got him a Brooklyn Nets pack.
Oh, yo, that is lit. Nah, that for real. That's tough. All right.
Couldn't be left out. So now, Drew, open up your pack. Let's see what you got from Burner Hoops.
Burner Hoops.
I got
First
a Cam
things-
Thomas card for you in case whatever you got.
We'll see about that. Burner Hoops, first off, thank you very much. I'm very appreciative. I've been looking forward to this since they touched down in the studio. I am beyond excited. Let's see what this is. I got a little sneak peek at this one actually already. Ray Allen on the Supersonics.
That's tough.
That's a
No, that's the Celtics. Isn't that Celtics?
No, that's
No,
Supersonics,
Celtics,
bro.
Celtics.
Oh, okay.
It says,
Well, I
it
thought it
says
said Celtics on
him
the
and
back.
the
It says Celtics
Sonics,
on
but
the
it
back.
does say the Celtics on the pack.
That's
Here
the
we
toughest
go.
one I've seen so far.
That's a great pack.
That one's
Yeah, that's
fire.
That's tough.
Ray Allen Supersonics is OD.
He gave me 2 packs. He spoiled me. Shout out to him. Let's see. Okay. All right. Tyler Hero.
That's solid.
That's a good pack.
That's a solid one.
That's a good pack. Jack Harlow.
Ooh, because he knows I'm a Lakers fan. Jerry West.
That's really
Ooh,
good.
You're
that's-
not even
that's
a
nice.
real Lakers
That's nice.
fan, bro. Oh my
Burner
God.
Hoops. No.
Oh, he got you a LeBron.
Come on.
Oh.
Come on. No.
Oh,
LeBron James
Wow.
that's a
on
fire.
the
That one is-
Lakers.
let me see that one.
That's
Yo,
so bad.
this
That's
one goes
fire.
crazy.
that gold team is crazy.
Jesus, man. Another LeBron James one. Him dunking.
Who you dunk on?
Just him in the
that
air
one. He got
dunking.
the LA pack.
Yeah, that's a
tough.
iconic photo for sure.
Oh my
That's
god.
the one in Portland, right?
I couldn't tell you.
I believe that is
That
the
sh-
one
that
that he
should
took
be-
off in Portland
yeah, in
for
Portland?
Kobe's tribute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is against Portland.
A LaMelo Ball card.
That's
Pink,
fire. That's a
pink
throwback.
sides.
Bro, bless you.
Nah,
That's a
Burner Hoops
throwback. That's a
is
throwback.
the
That's nice.
guy.
Yo, that last one is tough.
Anthony Edwards. Nah, he blessed, man.
Man.
That last one is so tough.
Damn, respect. He got me a Kobe Bryant card
That's
again
super,
because he knows
super
that I'm a
tough.
Lakers fan.
Shout out to Kobe.
Wow.
Nah, Burner Hoops, you absolutely spazzed. The LeBrons, this looks like when he was in high school
see.
or in Cleveland.
This is definitely young LeBron. That's probably like 07.
That's young LeBron. That's high school LeBron.
This last
He
one
looks like a
so
grown
tough.
man there.
So he gave you 3 LeBron cards?
Four.
Four
One
LeBron
with
cards.
him
Best one.
in high school.
Wow.
That's the high school one.
Nah,
You
man.
can never sell that one, bro.
That's the best high school
None
player
of these
ever.
are getting sold ever. These are in my possession forever. Burner Hoops, thank you so
All right,
much, man.
Joel, I got a Cam Thomas pack for you, bro.
Yeah, bro, you're toast. None of these are getting traded.
I got a Cam Thomas pack for
So
you.
now, on to my pack. Let's see
Damn.
what Burner Hoops.
Yo, he tweaked, man.
Let's see what Burner Hoops got me. So first up, he got me a PJ Tucker. Yeah.
Autograph.
God, bro.
Autograph PJ Tucker
What?
with the jersey patch
Autograph?
from
That's
Houston.
autographed? Wow.
The best corner 3-point shooter, 3-and-D defender in NBA
Yeah,
history. Let's go. PJ
That's a bad
Tucker.
pack, bro.
He got me an autograph Julius Randle.
That's really tough though.
Lakers.
Bro, these are
jersey.
autographed though,
That's
bro.
fire, bro. How did he even
These
get
are
an autograph?
autographed.
He got me James Harden on the
Of course.
Brooklyn
Had
Nets.
to. Had to.
And that jersey is one of the crispiest jerseys that they
That
have.
shit, yo, those is fire.
Trayvon Diggs, a Trayvon Diggs card.
Wow,
just
he
led the league in
implemented football into
interceptions.
this.
Of course.
Oh, and that's rookie Trayvon.
He gave me a Cameron Thomas card as well.
Yo, look, listen.
Cameron Thomas.
You can have two.
Yo, Rick, he was dead nice in college like that.
Who?
Cam, or he was
Yeah,
just
Cam
an
Thomas
official?
was nice.
And the last card
Better.
is James Harden,
That
Brooklyn
one is
Nets.
tough.
Let me see that one.
Express Lane. These are amazing. I will
Damn.
say I'm jealous of the pack you got because
That pack was OD.
Burner Hoops, I love you. You got me 2 James Harden cards, but right now these Nets James Harden cards are worth.
He got you a PJ Tucker one signed.
No, first of all,
the PJ Tucker one's
He
my
got you 2
favorite.
signed
I feel like I should
Yeah.
be the most jealous. You got James Harden, you got LeBron. Where's my Steph card? Like I didn't get my
got
number one.
Rodman.
Yeah, but I didn't get my number one guy. Like
I didn't
every-
get MJ or Steph.
The
Bro,
John,
yo,
yo,
for real.
Cam Reddish. He got
He
you
did give
2
me
Cam
that.
DeJounte
Reddish.
Murray one was good too.
I was
real.
hoping for a Steph pack. I was
Maybe
in
he
here-
would have given me an RJ one if I didn't turn my back on RJ.
You absolutely
Probably.
did turn your back on him.
Yo, Burner
that's
Hoops, if
why.
you got a Steph pack, please, just help me out.
So
I'll
these
give
are the
Cam
cards
pack.
right here that Burner Hoops sent us. Thank you so much, bro,
Burner
for sending
Hoops.
us these cards.
I'm rich
We
right now.
appreciate it.
I want to give a shout out to Muffins too. He spoiled me over the weekend. On Tua's birthday, I got a package in the mail from Muffins, a Gem Mint 10 Tua Tagovailoa football card. That is one of the nicest
I'm
cards
gonna
I've
be
ever
honest,
seen.
these
Also,
Cam cards is never getting sold.
no,
Nah, like these are going up in the raffle.
They wouldn't anyway because they're never
He's
going
a
to be
college
worth
legend.
anything.
What you say?
They're never going to be worth anything.
He's better than Cam Thomas.
It doesn't matter.
Is he better than Cam
Wait.
Thomas?
Yes.
Wait. Aren't you guys talking about Cam Thomas?
No, he's talking about Cam Reddish.
This legendary guy right here.
Oh.
Yeah, this guy. This is crisp, man. Look at this.
Nah, the high school LeBron.
That's the best one.
Cam better.
Sorry to rain on your parade, but it's the facts.
That it's not gonna be worth anything.
Why you gotta hate? Why you gotta come with the hate energy? You just talking about positive energy. You wouldn't just come with the hate energy.
You said it's never getting sold,
The PJ
bro. You
one
could,
was the funniest.
you go
one,
on
though.
eBay right now. You can not sell it for more than $2.
Why you hating though? Why you bringing that hate?
Bro, this is
You
a
see the
rookie
hate
Tyler
energy?
Hero.
That is going to be very valuable, I
So?
believe.
All right, yo, like I'm gonna tell you this right now. When Cam Reddish becomes a superstar, this right here is gonna be gold. This one right here. So you could keep
be.
hating. You're a Knicks fan. You better pray to God he becomes a
RJ is
superstar.
better
Yo,
than
this
him.
is rookie LaMelo.
That's a nice
I
one.
don't even look like rookie. That look like NBL LaMelo.
I think that is
The
NBL.
fake does look like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that look like
It is
young
NBL.
senior year
It is-
LaMelo.
It is NBL. LaMelo.
Yeah, it is. I think
It
so.
is.
That's a really nice one.
That
too.
is. It's a Panini card too. That's fire.
Just to keep the audience updated on what's been happening this week. So this is our first episode of the week. We didn't record a football one this week because our schedules were very conflicted. So we're planning on dropping 3 episodes next week if all goes according to plan. We'll finish up the offseason previews for the NFL, only leaving 2 divisions left. And of course, we're always going to have a basketball episode. I'm like burping in the middle of
Yo,
the
me
Because of
too.
that nasty coffee, man.
It's hazelnut iced.
I'll tell you what, man. I could have
But
gone for a
you
coffee.
said that like it made it
Said
better.
iced.
I don't like coffee, man.
I am still in disbelief.
You got
Truthfully,
spoiled.
That
I
Ray
got
Allen one is
spoiled.
nice, too.
Bro, all of them are awesome.
That Ray Allen one's in like it's like in a box, right?
You know what, Burner Hoops? Since you did
Be
this,
nice to
I'm gonna
him.
be nice to
That's
you in
in
the
a
Discord
box.
from now on, bro.
That's-
For the rest of the year, you get nothing but Pelicans nice talk.
I mean, the Pelicans are gonna force you to talk nice about him, bro.
Nobody can ever force me to talk
Yeah,
I'm gonna
nice.
give you a
on them.
CJ McCollum.
You know what? I
card.
believe that.
I've
actually.
seen teams win chips
Yeah.
and I still talk bad, bro. You can't
Yeah,
force
you're
me
right.
To do,
You're
can't
right.
force me to do anything,
Yeah,
bro.
he still talks about Harden, and Harden's one of the best players ever.
No ring loser.
Don't
better
get
than
JC
Steph.
started.
I ain't say all
He's better than
that.
Steph.
He better than what?
He's better than Steph. This year, he's definitely better than Steph.
He traded. He went to like 3 different teams just to be good, bro. He's a sellout, bro.
What do you mean he went to 3 different? What are you
He's a
talking about?
sellout, bro. Oh my God, Brooklyn's too hard. I gotta go to Philly. I gotta play with Embiid.
I mean, not everybody gets blessed with playing with 3
They
All-Stars.
all got drafted.
Doesn't matter.
They all got drafted.
It doesn't matter.
They all got drafted.
It does not matter.
No, it does
He
matter.
still has the talent.
Hey, listen, man. When you get drafted, you stay with the guys. You ride with your team. It happens, man. Loyalty.
Don't worry. A lot of Steph disrespect is going to happen on this episode.
You're
When
excited.
we talk about Draymond, yeah, for sure. So
You can't disrespect Steph with Draymond. It
a lot
only heightens him up.
of Steph disrespect, slander narratives are going to pop up this episode. So let's go on to the first segment of the show. The Brooklyn Nets just got Kevin Durant back. They lost to Miami the other night when Miami didn't have Jimmy Butler or Kyle Lowry. The Nets are now 32-32. They are the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference, but KD did have 31 points in his return. Now, talent is not the question with the Nets. It's about whether or not they have enough time to figure things out with Ben Simmons, with Kyrie and his status. So, JC, you're the Nets fan. What are your thoughts on the Nets? Will they have enough time to figure things out? And, I mean, you picked them in the midseason bracket to make the finals. So, what are your thoughts on the Nets right now?
We had a discussion about the Nets a couple of weeks ago, and it's just it's tough. I mean, there's not a lot of obviously continuity. I mean, Kyrie Irving, the mayor's not he's standing strong on his beliefs that Kyrie Irving could be on the bench but not play on the basketball court. I don't know. That's whatever. Ben Simmons, I mean, James Harden, all these other guys that got traded, they've already made their debut. I'm still waiting on Ben Simmons to make his debut. It's pretty clear as day now. He doesn't want to play Philly, so he'll probably come after that. They're making up injuries for him or whatever. But I mean, you know, there's only about 17 to 20 games left in the season, and then again, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Ben Simmons as a trio, they haven't played with each other. I mean, Ben Simmons, you know, he has his issues. Kyrie Irving sitting out, being unvaxxed all year, and then Kevin Durant missing about 2 months with an MCL sprain. So I mean, the Nets have a lot going against them right now, honestly, and you know, I know I was probably being biased in my last take about the Brooklyn Nets of them coming out the East to go into the NBA Finals and to win the championship.
Strong. Don't do it.
But it's just, I don't know if 10 games is going to be enough to implement Ben Simmons' play styles with Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. I'm just, as I watch Ben Simmons and I watch his career in Philly unfold, I just looks in. There's so many certain situations in the playoffs where they hack him, and he has to go hit free throws. There's just a lot of situations in which he can become a liability. Now, in the perfect world, if Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, which we did see, were dominant last year in the playoffs when Harden was out, or even in the Boston series when the former Big Three was playing, that's a team that I picture going into the playoffs. But then again, I mean, you have to show your respects to Milwaukee, who's been a Big Three all year and have battled their way throughout the entire season, won the championship last year. You have to give your respects to Miami, whose Big Three hasn't played much, but they're the number 1 seed. Eric Spoelstra's coaching them well. You got Philly with James Harden, who just looks ridiculous right now. That team looks with Tyrese Maxey and that Big Three now. And it's just it's so much that the Nets have to go up against. And I just think there's not much time for them to build that continuity. I'm leaning more towards the Nets window being open next year. I think this year the East is open, but I just don't think the Nets is an A seed who potentially, they look like they're locked in the play-in, who potentially could end up playing a Toronto in the play-in and not have Kyrie Irving because of their vaccine mandate. And it's just so much of a mess, and it seems like it's just not the Nets' year this year. And I'm just gonna go on a limb here and say, like, the most I see the Nets get into second round. In a perfect world, I see Eastern Conference Finals, but I just don't think this is their year. I think they need to have a season in which they all play together. I think Kyrie Irving needs to be a part of the team full time. I think Kevin Durant, obviously, he's going to play. I just need to see that trio play an entire season, battle, have their ups and downs, and correct them, and then go into the playoffs. I don't think 10 games into the season, we just plug Ben Simmons in, who hasn't played all season, and expect him to be what he once was on the court the last time we saw him, which was an all-NBA type player with an all-defensive team type player. So I'm just I'm out on the Nets, man. I don't think this is their year. Next year though, we got it for sure.
Wait, who'd you say was an all NBA type, all defensive type player when he was on the court? You said Ben?
Ben made the all defensive.
Can we not get disrespectful?
No, I was just asking. I didn't hear that part.
Disrespectful. I'll tell you what, JC, I'm stunned. I am stunned. I never thought sitting in this chair that you would change your stance.
Give up.
And especially change your stance on the Brooklyn Nets. I'm shocked.
Gotta take the fandom cap off sometimes, man.
You can't do that,
Gotta
man.
be a realist,
Come on, no.
I hope they prove me
can.
wrong, though.
But see, and this is my biggest quarrel. And then you can go on. But my biggest thing is you have Kevin Durant, right? This guy's supposed to be the best player in the NBA when he's on the court. This is what you guys were telling me before the season. He was showing it to start the year, sure. He gets hurt. Unfortunate. That's just what it's been for KD over these last few years. That's unfortunate. Listen, whatever I may feel about Kevin Durant, I never want to see him go down to injury. That being said, he's supposed to be the best player in the world. He's supposed to have those type of capabilities that backpack teams. I saw LeBron do it with a terrible team in 2018, right? This is the category that he wanted to put himself in. He wants to be on LeBron James's type of status. So you do that by going through this battle with the Brooklyn Nets, coming back from injury, a team that has been put through the ringer, to say the least. Kyrie Irving, you trade James Harden, you get Ben Simmons, who's still going through his mental woes, his lower back as well, supposedly. And it's supposed to come together late towards the season. That's where the issue comes into play. But this is supposed to be the guy. It is not out of the realm of my or extreme thinking that I'm expecting Kevin Durant to perform and lead his team to wins. If Kevin Durant doesn't at least get his team to the second round of the playoffs this year, I don't want to hear the conversation of this guy being a top 10 all-time player. I don't want to hear the conversation of him even being in the same breath as LeBron James, because his move to leave Golden State was to show that, yes, I am on that type of level. I can elevate another team that's not the Golden State Warriors. But here he's been on the Nets. First season was a wash because of his injury. Second season, unfortunate events where some people believe that he would have won the NBA championship last year had Kyrie and Harden been healthy. But even still, you'd lose in the second round. You don't even make it to Eastern Conference Finals. This season, you were playing excellent to start the year. Another year where you were injured, similar to last year, but you came back and you balled. But this year now you were out for an extended period of time. The Nets fall off because of your absence. James Harden now departs. You got a player that definitely helps you defensively, but offensively The load's going to be put on you and Kyrie Irving. I think that anything less than the Eastern Conference Finals is a failure, regardless of how you want to shake it up. It's Kevin Durant, it's Kyrie Irving. If they're on the court together, they should at least go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, this is I feel like you are unfairly putting big expectations on Kevin Durant.
I'm sorry.
So it fits your
unfair.
LeBron narrative.
It's unfair when we're trying, or Kevin Durant, it's just baffling to me. I'm sorry that when Kevin Durant's name is brought up, he wants to be mentioned with the all-time greats. And
He
this
is an all-time great, though.
fair, right?
Doesn't matter. He is an
agree.
all-time
He is
great
an all-time
already.
great.
But people are trying to say that his legacy's cemented. That
It is.
How can that be said?
He's an MVP and a two-time champion, 2 times finals MVP.
4-time scoring title.
But the two-time champion really does not mean much to a person like me who already questions that move.
Because it was against LeBron.
No, because he joined a 73-win team.
But he was the best player
He was
on
the
that
best
team,
player on the
though.
team.
And he did hit game winners in that finals.
That
Let's
2018
not act like he got
And
carried.
LeBron's grill.
The 2017
Let's not act like he
Kevin
got
Durant
carried.
came in and was amazing. But again, is it that impressive to me when you joined a 73-win team that was a game away from winning the NBA Finals the year before, the team that you blew a 3-1 lead to? Listen, you came to Brooklyn. I was ready to respect you. You had something to prove to me in Brooklyn. If you won a championship in Brooklyn, what can I say? I can't say nothing. But now you're in a similar situation that LeBron was in 2018, where he at least went to the finals. This is a beat-up team. This is a team that they have
The
not
East was
had
much
a lot
weaker,
of time.
too, then. I'm sorry.
Regardless,
Easily.
He was way weaker. Let's add some
the East was
context.
mad
The East
weak.
was way weaker.
it was definitely weaker.
He played a
Hold on,
bunch
I
of
just
rookies
wanna-
in it.
I
He
just
played
wanna
a
make
bunch
this
of rookies in the
statement.
ECF.
Toronto,
I
and
wanna
that,
make-
that Celtics team was
Toronto got
Toronto, what are you
swept.
talking about?
Dwayne Casey got
Toronto?
fired after that series.
But why was that? Because LeBron
They got
outplayed the
swept by
entire
the,
team.
they got swept by the Cavs, bro.
'Cause
The
LeBron
Toronto Raptors were
outplayed
always
Indiana
known
in
as
the
playoff
first round.
chokers.
Word.
They
Because
were
of
always known as
LeBron.
playoff
They
chokers.
saw
They
LeBron, they
played
shivered
Tatum.
in their boots.
Wait, hold on,
Let's
hold on.
not
I just
make
wanna
this
make
LeBron
this
thing.
statement.
East was so weak, yo.
Okay, but
You're making this a LeBron
Nah,
thing.
you really
Because
are.
you're comparing
I'm-
KD to LeBron.
Is that wrong of me?
Yes, because you just said, why are we making this a LeBron thing?
No, that's because we were going too
This
in depth
East is way
into
stronger.
that.
That's
I
all
want
I'm
to
gonna
talk
say.
about just Kevin Durant in this situation because again, he wants to be known as the best player in the NBA. You need to show me something with a team that isn't on par of what they were expecting.
Okay. I want to say this because I think Kevin Durant, I don't believe that he went to Brooklyn to try to prove himself. I believe he wanted to go to Brooklyn just to live in Brooklyn. That's the type of person he is. He didn't care about anybody else's decisions.
lie.
He wanted to play with Kyrie.
He wanted to live in Brooklyn.
Come on, bro. That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Of course, he still wants to win, but I believe that he wanted to play with Kyrie, and Kyrie had ties to
with
Brooklyn
that part.
already. I feel like you are unfairly putting expectations
I wanna
on
hear that.
KD, and you say all these things. Oh, LeBron took this team. LeBron did this.
Did.
LeBron did that. Okay. I remember this time last year when LeBron got eliminated in the first round. All you did was make excuses for LeBron. You didn't give LeBron the benefit of the you didn't.
He did it once before.
You didn't.
It's okay.
You didn't chastise LeBron when he lost to Phoenix in the first round.
That is true.
And even though AD was hurt, Chris Paul couldn't even dribble a ball.
LeBron also came back two games before that.
Chris Paul couldn't even dribble
Come on,
a
just
ball
look
in
over
that
those down.
series. And it was against a team who had no former playoff experience. They were all new in the playoffs, and he wasn't able. He didn't play
went to the
well.
finals.
He
They went to
quit
the
on his
finals.
team.
Yeah, he did.
He was hurt 2
quit
games.
on his
He
team.
came back 2 games
Whatever
before
you
that.
say about Kevin
Come on.
Durant, you could say anything you want to say about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant, without James, with a hobble James Harden, virtually not even on the court, with no Kyrie, gave it his all against the defending champions, and had his foot not been on the line, would have advanced to the ECF. One thing you can say about KD, he did not quit.
At all.
We're talking about a guy in KD who's
What did he
coming
go-
back
what did he
from
go in
a.
overtime?
He come back from
He
the
scored.
He was
Achilles.
0 for 6.
We're talking about KD who came back from a torn Achilles and is still playing at an MVP level. I mean,
I'm not, again, you're just not answering the question at all. We're talking about this Kevin Durant, who I understand what he did in the past. Talk to me about this one.
And this Kevin Durant, given the circumstances, one, he's coming off an injury. That's number one. Number two, Kyrie is a part-time player. He's playing in half of the games. And depending on the first-round series against Toronto, Kyrie might not even play. And against any other top team in the East, Kyrie might not play at home. Ben Simmons, we already know he's a playoff liability. So you're talking about KD's 2 co-stars being Kyrie, who's a part-time player, and Ben Simmons, who doesn't perform in the playoffs. If this is LeBron, you're giving him the benefit of the doubt.
I mean, he's 37 years old. We're talking about when
And
LeBron
KD is 33.
Come on, man. Like it's completely
Coming off a torn Achilles.
Coming off a torn Achilles is crazy.
Yeah. Torn Achilles was 2 years ago.
It's
3
still
years
a career-ending
ago.
injury
It's
for
a career-ending
a lot of
injury,
players.
It's 2022. Medicine is different. We just saw Cam Akers come back 5 months removed from that.
And he
injury.
didn't play like KD.
I would have loved to hear your take.
Cam
would've loved
Akers
to hear
was
your take
struggling
on
in the
KD.
playoffs.
Huh?
Cam Akers struggled in the playoffs.
But he played against good rush defenses.
Okay,
Let's not
I
talk
understand.
let's not talk football.
But I'm
there.
just saying,
But
KD came back and it was the same.
Different. Yeah, he was better. He was better.
All I'm saying is that I
like
think
that.
I think you're unfairly
I'm not.
putting high
I'm not.
expectations on KD.
I can't
But
say that.
To the question about the Nets, if they'll have not enough time to figure it out. Look, I think JC's a smart man. I think he's a smart man for moving the fandom
Come on, JC.
outside of his analysis, because you want to know why? JC understands that when you lose a player as phenomenal, as great, as groundbreaking, as electric, as handsome as James Harden,
You did this.
Nah, he's dumb ugly.
you will not be better. They lost James Harden, one of the top players in the world. We seen Philly these past 4 games, one of the best teams in the NBA. He's making Tyrese Maxey's life a lot easier. And JC understands that without James Harden, this team cannot sail. This team is going to hit an iceberg eventually. And that's what JC's saying virtually. And
JC,
I
this is what
agree
you're
with
saying?
him
JC,
100%.
come on.
Now, my analysis of it, they don't have enough time. I mean, they just signed Goran Dragic when it's clear they already have 2 guards in Patty Mills and Kyrie. Goran Dragic had an okay game against Miami, but they just don't have enough. Joe Harris is now out for the year. He's not coming back. That hurts. That's a big time loss in my opinion, even though he doesn't show up in the playoffs. Kyrie Irving being a part-time player, can't trust him. Ben Simmons, can't trust him. I think the Nets ceiling is high. I think they are a championship caliber roster, but they don't have enough time this season to figure it all out.
Next year,
and I agree. I think next year will be the year that they'll say, okay, we finally don't have Harden to give us all these open looks. We got that. It gets some time to adjust to that.
So another year where Kevin Durant, again, this is no disrespect towards him. Another year where you have to rely on Kevin Durant to stay healthy.
Okay.
Because this team is completely off the fact that Kevin Durant is on the court. That's obvious. If he's not healthy, the Nets aren't doing a thing. This year, you have him towards the end of the season for the stretch that you need him to play. He's here. There's no excuse. He's going to have at least 10 to 15 games to get back into shape before the playoffs start.
There's no excuse for Kevin Durant's play. I agree. I expect Kevin Durant to be Kevin Durant.
Durant's gonna show up.
In his return, he dropped
But
30.
it needs to translate to wins.
That's where I disagree. As long as Kevin Durant performs, I really don't care because I understand the situation. But LeBron James last year versus Phoenix did not play up to par.
He had 29 one game.
He averaged 20. What did he average for the series? It was 22 or 25.
25.
It was a career low for him in the
my
playoffs.
God, 25 points coming 2 games.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like, come on.
Kevin Durant was going crazy.
Oh, bro,
last year
he was
it
amazing.
definitely wasn't his fault.
Is
They
it
lost.
No,
Is it my
But he
turn?
was 0 for 6 in that
But it
overtime.
definitely wasn't his fault though. He
Actually,
did have 48 in that
Look
game.
at this. LeBron averaged 23 in the series against Phoenix.
LeBron quit on his team, bro.
which is the lowest since 2010 to 2011 season in Miami,
LeBron.
where he choked against Dallas. Now you'll go. Let me just ask you a question,
Do your
Drew,
thing, bro.
because I'm curious. KD going to Golden State, because you always say that how that move is weak, and I agree with you.
the weakest
the
move
is weak
in sports history.
Now, what's more disappointing? KD going to Golden State and winning those championships with them despite them being a juggernaut, or LeBron choking versus Dallas in 2010 or 2011?
It wasn't disappointing.
What's
when
more
KD
disappointing?
I would say it's more disappointing now that he's on the Brooklyn Nets and he hasn't won.
What's more disappointing? Answer the question.
No,
please.
the choke
without a
job.
doubt, LeBron losing.
Oh, okay.
That's obvious. I mean, you just
bad.
wanted me to bring that up and
No,
say
I'm
yes.
just saying because they have
It wasn't
both had
disappointing.
horrible moments.
But one's horrible moment was him putting himself in a position to not fail.
LeBron virtually did the same thing KD did going to Golden State. He went and built a super team with Miami.
Here's the difference.
The introductory press conference.
Okay.
When
He said
KD
not one, not two,
when
not three. Here's the
when
difference,
KD
though.
went to Golden State, did they
extra.
hold a press conference saying how many championships they were going to win? No.
You want to
Did
know
Miami
why?
do that? Yes.
Because Miami's team was newly built. That team was already put together, had already been to finals. You just plugged in Kevin Durant to that team.
Well, Miami won a championship not too long ago.
And so did the Golden State Warriors in 2015.
LeBron
Well,
went to
I
go play
agree.
with a top 5 player just like Kevin Durant did, though. Dwayne
Two
Wade was
top 5 players.
Correct. And Dwayne Wade was
Or top 10 players.
Nah,
Chris
Chris
Bosh was
Bosh
top
was
10.
top
And
10.
Dwayne Wade was Dwayne Wade for 2 of those 4 seasons.
Hey, but
That's
what
half of the
happens?
time.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
See, now,
and Steph Curry was Steph Curry every single year that KD was with him. Klay Thompson was
Was
Klay
he, though?
Thompson
Was
every
he-
single
what-
year. Yes.
Was he in the finals those couple games when Kevin Durant backpacked?
Which one are you
Well,
talking?
he backpacked one time. One
he
game. It was
backpacked
one
twice
game.
finals,
No,
but
but
two
it was,
finals.
It
But
was,
versus,
It was one
no,
game
versus
versus Houston.
Houston.
No,
Steph
there was
Curry
one
averaged
game-
more points.
in
No.
the finals.
Then
Listen,
who? Then
in the
Kevin Durant?
finals,
No,
he
he backpacked.
backpacked for game 3. That was it.
Back-to-back
He was
years,
on
bro.
a pace. He was damn near averaging a triple-double. Stop saying he backpacked.
Bro, in the
He
2018
No, that
backpacked.
one game he backpacked him,
Yeah,
bro.
but that's one game.
bro.
But don't
In
make it
the
seem like he
20
didn't
Your
show
man's
up.
him and Clay was playing like shit
In the
that game.
2018 WCF, KD definitely backpacked.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the finals, don't make it seem
The
like
finals,
he
I wouldn't
backpacked.
agree.
He
I don't
didn't
agree.
I
backpack
said
Steph,
the
bro.
one game he backpacked.
Yeah,
That's
it's just
all
one
I said.
game.
That game won him that MVP.
Curry in the 2018 finals averaged 28, 7 assists,
Talking
6
about
rebounds.
WCF.
No, I'm talking
No,
about
he's
the
talking about the
2018.
He's talking about the finals. I'm talking
Yeah, no, he
WCF.
did.
KD definitely
did,
backpacked.
KD
Oh, yeah,
did
yeah, yeah.
backpack in the WCF. I will agree with you there, but he did not backpack Curry in the finals ever.
And
Not
James
once.
Harden went toe to toe with him and gave him the business too, right back.
He lost.
You see my shirt?
So that business
Fear the beard,
led to
boy.
an L.
Fear the beard.
Shirt's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about the Nets?
So I sat here and I listened to both sides of the spectrum. I listened to the Nets fan, to the hating KD fan, to the Harden fan. Do the Nets have enough time? I don't think so. You know, I think with everything that's been dealt with, Kyrie's situation still milky. Kevin Durant, I think he'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? I think
Bro said milky.
he'll be all right.
That's crazy. I never heard that.
I think losing Joe Harris isn't that big deal because you have Steph Curry. I think he'll be able to make up for that on offense. And Joe Harris, like you said, is a playoff choker anyways. Patty Mills, he has that experience. So I think you guys will be fine. But I do agree to some degree with Drew in the sense of if you guys, this is obviously if Ben Simmons plays and Kyrie is able to play,
correct,
you should be able to beat any team in the first round.
No doubt.
This team. Yeah, I understand time is a big thing, but you have Kevin Durant and Kyrie who already have the chemistry together. You've seen it last year in the playoffs. Patty Mills and Seth Curry, the type of players where you don't really need much time. You can just plug them in and they're going to be fine. The only plug-in problem, which we've all been saying this, is Ben Simmons. That's really it. And I'm going to be honest with you, there's no amount of time that would really fix that unless he shows that he's going to get better. If he's the same player this year, then that's just what he was going to be regardless of what the time is. But I think going into the playoffs, if you're healthy, you should be able to beat any team. There should be no, it's not our year. Next year is going to be our year. No, I don't agree with that. You're as talented. You're probably more talented than Miami. You're just as talented. You're probably going to face Miami or Philly. If you're in the play-in, they're probably locked into a play-in spot.
No, we are.
You're going to play Miami or Philly. Those are tough series, yes, but in both of those series, easily Miami, you have the two best players in the series, Kevin Durant and Kyrie. You can debate Kyrie, JB all you want, but Kevin Durant is clearly the best player in that series. Against Philly, I think you have the best player in that series. So, like, with the talent that you have, Kevin Durant is better than James Harden. With the
Talking
talent,
about Joel Embiid.
Kevin Durant is better than Joel
Not
Embiid.
this year.
Yo, that is so crazy how things change with this guy, man.
No,
It's
look,
just
I
insane
think
to
Kevin
me.
Durant's a little better, but Joel Embiid, it's like if Kevin Durant's here, Joel Embiid's like.
I didn't say it was.
I mean,
didn't say it
Embiid
wasn't close.
and Harden clear KD and Kyrie. though.
So Embiid's better than Jokic?
Clear?
Just really quick.
Wait.
I don't know about
Stop
So
talking.
Jokic is better than KD?
Drew.
Oh my
Drew.
God.
Jokic is better than KD than me.
Drew, stop talking. Harden and Embiid clear. We're talking playoff basketball. They clear Kevin Durant and Kyrie in the playoffs.
Hell no.
Yeah, you're
Yep.
delusional.
You're crazy.
That's insane.
And they got Tyrese Maxey too,
That's a good pickup.
and Tobias.
That's a good
Nah,
pickup.
Ben Simmons is strapping
Philly
that.
is a cute team, bro.
Brooklyn
Ben
should.
Simmons is strapping that.
There should be. You
Ben
should.
Simmons not strapping Tyrese Maxey? You're crazy, bro.
You shouldn't lower your expectations for your team.
No,
you guys
look-
should be able to beat. You guys. You
No,
should
no,
lower the
You should walk
expectations.
into
That's a
any
fact.
series
So,
if you're healthy,
Wait, no,
confident.
healthy. Okay, but I'm thinking about Kyrie not playing most games, like sitting out 3 to 4 games in a series. That's what I'm thinking about. My majority of my statement is predicated on if Kyrie Irving can play on their home road. If he can play like throughout the like series, like the mandate gets lifted, my mind changes. But if it's just Kyrie Irving, 2 games on the road, 2 games at home, it's a little tricky. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm going off of. But if the
what they're doing to Kyrie is so wrong.
If the mandate clears though, and they're all, then I will stand firm on my analysis.
And the mayor is all over the place. At first he said they're going to lift it. Now he says that
they don't want to lift it. They're not lifting it
because
of Kyrie.
Yeah. So basically he's playing politics. He's that's what he is.
I'm under the assumption though Brooklyn is those 3 play. You should be walk into every series confident that you can beat any team.
I agree with that. I agree
with
that.
You just gotta think of it from this perspective. Just on the Kyrie situation, real quick. Mayor Eric Adams, him lifting the vaccine mandate is virtually looked at as you're doing this for Kyrie. So if he does indeed lift it, it's going to be bad press and bad publicity for him.
Yeah.
And for a guy that got to think about his job security, that's probably not the wisest thing to do, which is why I think ultimately this might not get lifted.
But the ban itself already is foolish.
It doesn't make sense.
It's just that how does
he
it
can play? He can sit on the bench next to him, but he can't compete.
No, but bro,
it's just other players from other
Bradley Beal
come in and play.
Justin Holiday can pull up and play. Like, it's crazy, bro.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Like, what's the difference between him sitting next to his teammates that are gonna go play on the court rather than just having him play in the 5-on-5 game, bro? It's the same, bro. It's the same. I don't see any issue if he gets tested every day before every game, wears a mask on the bench. Like, I don't see any issue with it, but,
I got a question for you guys. If the Brooklyn Nets, we all think they're going to make the playoffs. If they make the playoffs and they get eliminated in the first round, is Steve Nash fired?
Bradley Beal is vaxxed.
Huh?
Bradley Beal is vaxxed.
Is he really?
Yeah, I thought he got vaxxed in December. I just looked up.
He just got
at one time.
In November.
I thought you were talking about he still wasn't vaxxed.
In November, he played in Barclays when he was on vax. Is Steve Nash fired? Absolutely, he's 100%.
He should be fired regardless.
Absolutely.
I agree.
110%. If we lose in the first round, Steve Nash is gone.
Steve Nash isn't the coach that's going to fix Ben Simmons.
I'll be honest. The only way Steve Nash keeps his job
is if they make a deep playoff run.
If they win the championship,
keep his job.
That's why I say that.
I
If they
feel
win
like
the championship, it's the only way to keep his job.
Look, I'm very critical of Steve Nash. You know me. He tricked me into thinking he was a good coach, but he really wasn't. But then again, like I like to be a little fair. And what Steve Nash has had to deal with as the Nets coach is kind of like it's a shitty situation. You miss your best player for 2 months when you were the number 1 seed. James Harden gets traded. Kyrie Irving's a part-time player. He doesn't play all year. Last year, you go into the playoffs. Kyrie and James Harden go down. You ultimately end up losing that Milwaukee Bucks series. I feel like he hasn't gotten a fair shot. He only got 16 games with the big 3. Now, I'm not a Steve Nash defender or anything like that because I do think that his late game decision-making, his rotations are bad. But to be fair, you have to look at what he's been given, and it's not a fair. It's really not fair.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I'm gonna be
you're gonna make a lazy analysis, but
no, I'm not gonna make a lazy analysis. You literally just said why he shouldn't be the coach anymore.
But has he had the things to work? Has he had a consistent roster though?
You can. I mean,
like you have to be fair as well.
A good coach adjusts on the fly though.
You have to be fair as well.
No,
though.
what you're saying is right.
Missing your best player for 2 months though.
This is why
you were the number 1 seed.
This is why I disagree with you because I'm looking at coaches like Tyronn Lue and Billy Donovan.
They're better.
No, I'm looking at coaches like Tyronn Lue and Billy Donovan. And I'm looking at this like. If you're a great coach or if you're a good coach, you're going to show it no matter who's on the court.
Agreed.
Those two have shown the ability that they can adjust on the fly and be great coaches. With the injuries, they've had just as much injuries as Brooklyn. And even if you can say, yes, the big 3 have only played like 16 games together.
No, I mean, that's over now.
You still had Harden on the floor. You still had at times Kyrie. You still had KD at times when you were number 1, bro. So it's
they were number 1 before Kevin Durant went out. And Kyrie, when Kyrie and James Harden played last year in the Western Conference road trip, they went 8-0, bro. It's just this year. It's just this year.
We're talking about this year.
No, but I hear you. But I'm telling you, in the grand scheme of things, in his whole tenure as a coach, I'm not a big fan of him, but he really hasn't gotten a fair shot, bro. You're telling me if you take the first and second best player off any team, bro, the teams are going to win consistently, given a brutal schedule that the Nets had?
The Clippers did.
Brutal schedule that the Nets did?
The Clippers did. Not only their first and their second, their third, fourth, and fifth have been in and out all year.
It is. I understand
Reggie
what
Jackson
he's saying.
has been consistent though.
Yeah, but Marcus Morris has been out the lineup.
But Jackson's the 3rd best player on that team.
Yeah, that's true. He's emerged as that guy.
I don't know. I mean, look, personally, I'm not a fan of Steve Nash just because of the in-game stuff that he shows liabilities in terms of that. But if you have to look at his whole tenure with the Nets, like I do agree he wasn't the right coach, but at the end of the day, like we have to be fair and be like, yo, this guy really didn't have this.
You're saying
a fair
you're
shot.
saying he didn't have a fair shot because stars weren't playing, but stars I feel like make it a bit. I feel like for a coach to show you he can really coach, it's like when he doesn't have his stars, like when his adversity,
But
like
then
what
again,
can he show you?
the guys that
Like,
you're also comparing him to are vets in the league.
Yeah, but I feel like
proven coaches
but I
like
feel like
Tyronn
you
Lue
can
and Billy Donovan have
but
had success.
you can still be a good coach without stars. It's just if you don't have the talent, that's one thing. But he hasn't shown that in both
I mean,
departments.
he hasn't
So
had much talent to begin with.
To
'cause
your
they've all been
point,
hurt.
though, Steve Kerr, when Curry and Clay were out in 2019, they were trash.
Bro, Luke Walton stepped in and had a great. That's what ultimately got him the Lakers job.
Do we call Curry an elite coach?
I think Kerr is
He's
a great elite
he's a
coach.
he's a top 15
I mean,
coach
he
of all
built
time.
that. He built that system.
He made that list, top 15 coach of all time. He's there, bro.
So to your point, what are you saying?
I'm saying that Steve Nash, the roster the Nets have this year. I mean, you have Katie out, you have Kyrie out, you have
James Harden
James
not balling
Harden
'cause he wants to
on and
leave.
off, and he was out for a stretch of time too. Joe Harris has been out for a stretch of time. So Steve Nash has had to rely on Patty Mills, LaMarcus Aldridge, Cameron Thomas, Kessler Edwards, and guys like Nick
Bruce
Claxton.
Brown.
So I would say this:
Nick
you were
Claxton.
number one seed or number two. You were at
No,
the
we
top.
were number
yeah,
one
you were
before
number one
Kevin
seed
Durant went
when
out. We were
Kevin Durant
24 and
was there.
12.
Nets fans were still complaining about how bad he was as a coach.
No,
but
we're not saying he's not a good
no,
coach.
but I'm saying, but what was saving you was Kevin Durant was the MVP, and Harden was still playing at an All-Star level. So my thing is, you seen him as being number one seed, and yet Nash was still getting called for being a bad coach, and you were the number one seed. Now the players went out, and he's still a bad coach. What's the difference when the players are in or out? You were the number one seed, and Nash wasn't a good coach.
That's why me and him agree on the point. If Steve Nash doesn't have a deep playoff run, he's out, bro.
But I don't think a deep
What
player.
Rivers saying though is that you want to give Steve Nash the benefit of the doubt.
No, I don't like Steve Nash. I'm looking at it from a fair optical.
But that's
He
what-
hasn't had
that's
it.
what I'm saying,
I'm
though.
not a fan of Steve Nash. If it was up to me, I would rather have a Tyronn Lue or somebody as my coach who was proven.
I know, but what Rivers saying is that, well, from what it sounds like, we know that you just made it clear now, but before it sounded like you were on the
Defending
fence
him.
of giving Nash the benefit of the doubt. And
just
Rivers
being fair.
I don't care about you being fair. I think he sucks as a coach.
Me too.
Anyway.
Me too. I'm just telling you the arguments that other arguments that I've heard for Steve Nash. And while I don't agree with him being a good coach, I don't think he's a good coach. It's not something I'm gonna gloss over and be like, yo, he's missing Kyrie, Kevin Durant, James Harden in and out, Joe Harris out all year, Kyrie with the mandate, implementing Ben Simmons who hasn't played yet. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I just seen y'all complain when y'all were the one seed and complain when y'all were at the bottom when him as a coach. So what's
he's not even coaching right now, to
So
be
I don't-
honest.
I don't
He's been out.
understand the
Josh
difference,
Vaughn's
to
been
be honest.
0-3 in his time as a coach.
The Nets are awaiting the return of Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons, and a team who got somebody to return as recently is Orlando Magic. Markelle Fultz made his season debut against the Pacers twice, played him twice already, and in those two games, he's averaged 10.5 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game, shooting 77% from the field. Now, the Magic are the worst team in the NBA record-wise, but they do have young talent. And Markelle Fultz, now that he's back, it does bring some optimism to the city of Orlando. Now, what did you think of in Markelle Fultz's return? What did you see? Does he look like he's already back to normal? What does this mean for Orlando moving forward? What do you think?
I
Rick?
wouldn't say he looked back to normal, but he looked explosive. You know, he looked really strong at the rim. You know, he looked like he still has that finishing ability. So I like he looked a little bit like Markelle coming out of college. You know, a guy who really attacked the rim with force, a guy who really was able to finish at the rim. So I like that about him. And he let the game come to him. You know, he wasn't extremely aggressive. He didn't force anything that was major. So that's one thing. Going into the Magic's depth, they have a lot of depth at that young talent. Like, there's a lot of young talent.
At the guard position,
aside
yeah.
from T. Ross and probably two other guys I'm missing, there's a lot. Like, the whole team is young. Just speaking on the guards, R.J. Hampton, Cole Anthony, Jalen Suggs, Markelle Fultz. It's tough. You know, Jalen Suggs, they just drafted. Cole Anthony, he kind of just emerged onto the scene this year. You know, people last year were kind of low on him. Then he just had a breakout year this year. And then R.J. Hampton, who's kind of like, he hasn't, I feel like he hasn't really, he coming from Denver, he hasn't really gotten his full plate like everybody else. I feel like Suggs has got his fair share. Cole Anthony's got his fair share. But Markelle Fultz, you know, a guy who's been injury prone for last 2-3 seasons, it's tough because you're looking at the Magic, and only 2 of these guys you're going to be able to keep, honestly. And I think for them, Jalen Suggs being that he picked, I like Jalen Suggs the most because I like his defensive intensity. I like the way he finishes the basket, his quick speed. He's twitchy. I like his athletic ability. I like Cole Anthony's ability to get buckets, attack the basket, also, create his own shot. Markelle Fultz, though, could kind of change the trajectory if he comes in and he bounces back and he plays like what he was playing like before or even better. For RJ Hampton, though, I think it's tough for him to kind of get into the rotation and kind of, uplift himself into that spot. But I think, like, for the Magic, they have a good problem right now. I think when you have too much young depth, it's really a good problem because at that point you have just a lot of talent that you want to grow with. And Mosley has been a good coach for the most part. I know the record doesn't show it, but his team does play for them. And the Magic, they have the worst record, but they do play hard. So that's something you got to like. They play
have
hard.
Bright spots.
Yeah, so for me, I think they have a good problem right now. But I think for me, I would if I had to choose, I would probably ride with Suggs and Anthony right now.
I loved what I saw from Markelle, to be honest with you. Coming in, hitting some mid-range jumpers, taking it to the basket, some fancy finishes at the rim, showed some good passing, driving to the basket, hitting a cutting guy. He looked really good in his 2 games. It does make me optimistic. I believe that as long as he is at least on the court, he can give the Magic some kind of uplifting, especially to these young guys. Cole Anthony can now focus on hitting shots and not being so ball dominant where he feels like he has to do a lot. He started off the season very good. He's still their leading scorer, but I've seen him be streaky, a little bit too streaky for my liking, to the point where I'm starting to think if Cole Anthony wasn't on the Magic and given the opportunity to play this much, if he were on a different team, would he be doing something similar to what he's been able to do on the Orlando Magic? I look at Jalen Suggs, and I understand that he is young, and he is definitely coming into his own as a basketball player, still turning the ball over a little too much. His field goal, his efficiency hasn't been not what the Magic had been expecting, but he still shows flashes. Great defensively, quick ball player. The game will come to him eventually. He just has to hit shots a little bit more consistently. More bright spots. Franz Wagner. He's been exceeding all expectations of what was thought of him as soon as he comes into the Orlando Magic this season. He's been spectacular. Another bright spot, Wendell Carter. Double-double machine, super efficient, good defensively down low. This is a guy that they got for a relatively low price. I'm sure they're looking at that deal, and they're not mad at it. And let's be real. It's all right. They're young. Wendell Carter, it fits what they're going for. Mo Bamba's another one that finally he's starting to get some playtime. He's showing why he hasn't shown the top 5
He's been okay,
talent, but he definitely has shown strides this season where he's making the most of his opportunity. Another double-double machine, good defensively down low. The guard depth is not as much of an issue given the fact that Orlando is still young. Now they realize what they have to focus on. Let's get more guys on the wing position. Let's get guys that can score the basketball a little bit more. Let's find an identity that I believe that they can do so. Having guard depth is not an issue, especially in this NBA where guard play is so important to a team. Markelle Fultz is a hybrid to a degree, if we're being honest. He definitely is a point guard by position name and what he's been granted. But exactly, he can play that wing or not. I don't want to say Luka, but I'm just going solely off of size and athleticism. He's not the scoring guard that Luka is. Come on, that's obvious. I just mean in the sense of he's a big guy, he's an athletic guy. He can play that hybrid type of position. So you have that opens opportunity for Jalen Suggs. That opens opportunity for Cole Anthony there. RJ Hampton can now come in off the bench and give them a spark. Terrence Ross can just continue being that spark off the bench for them scoring-wise. They need to focus on getting wings, continue to add depth to that on top of Franz Wagner, and I think they'll be okay.
I kind of feel sorry for Markelle Fultz. You know, he was a guy who I actually liked his game in college. A couple of my friends in high school put me on to him in college, and from what I saw in college, I thought he was going to be a superstar in short order in the NBA, but obviously that didn't pan out. But this is a pretty easy decision for me. I'm staying with Cole Anthony, and I'm staying with Jalen Suggs. You invested the top 5 pick in Jalen Suggs, so you're going to keep him. Cole Anthony has shown flashes this year. I think he's averaging 19 points, like 7 rebounds, around 17 points. You know, he's having high assist numbers. He does turn over the ball a lot, and he is a little inefficient. But then again, I just look at the 5-year run that Markelle Fultz has had. I mean, rookie year in Philly, jump shot was a complete issue. Averaged 8 points. The next year, averaged 10.
Bad shoulder, bro.
I mean, it was though. But
Cole Anthony shooting under 40%. Again, I feel
he
as
takes
if
a lot of tough shots.
if
though.
he were in a different position, there's a chance. One, he's not a starter, and he's not getting not nearly the opportunities.
He's not
and
the
shot
worst
volume.
point guard in the league.
I'm not
He's
saying
not the worst starting point guard though.
I wouldn't. That's
He's definitely not the worst starting point guard. But I mean,
take
look,
a look.
you look at the against Orlando.
I would say Washington.
You mean against Orlando?
I
You mean
agree.
with Orlando?
Okay.
With Orlando,
Okay.
yeah, with Orlando.
was
Last
crazy
year,
hard.
I'm trying to think too.
last year he played 8 games. This year he's only playing in 2 games. He has a
Injury is a
He has a
concern.
yes.
And he's paid.
It's a huge concern. He's paid. One situation in Philly already gave up on him. Granted, they had a Ben Simmons to take his spot. To be honest, so it wasn't that much of a big loss. But then again, in Orlando, he hasn't played much games. He played 8 games last year. He played 2 games this year. And in the year where he played 64 games, he averaged 12 points on 42% field goal shooting. Like, this is nothing to break your back or anything over, Him and Jonathan Isaac are 2 of the most injured players on that roster, and I think that those are 2 players that they have to move on from. Jalen Suggs, although he started the season slow, you guys are right. He's very good defensively, very good at attacking the basket, and his offensive game was better in college, and I do think that he can somewhat get to that level. And then as far as Cole Anthony, I just don't see Markelle Fultz, given the situation that he's been in with his shoulder injury and him having to really kind of learn how to shoot again. I just don't think that a couple of good games, because there's only about 15 games left in the season.
Like 15, 20.
I don't think that's enough for me to sway my opinion on a Cole Anthony who's had a breakout year, and Jalen Suggs who has potential to be something very good in this league. So I'm not thinking twice of it. I mean, my issue with Markelle, he doesn't play enough games. His jump shot is broke. I'm off him, bro. Like I just don't think that he's worth anything investing for. I think you have 2 guards for the future that are set or that are at least better than him, and it sucks because he was a highly touted prospect coming out of college. He was supposed to be much better than what he is now, but injuries derailed him, and you can't trust a player who's always injured.
So I really went to look to see what teams I would take their point guard over Cole Anthony. Who I wouldn't
Who said
take.
Cole comes off the bench?
Never said he came off the bench, bro.
What do you mean?
No, Drew said he's better off the bench.
Oh, you think he's better off the bench, Cole?
I'm not saying he'd be better off on the bench. I'm saying that if he were in a different situation,
Right.
he would not get not nearly as much volume as he is, given the fact that the Magic are not a good team, and he's in a position where he's benefiting from them being bad, and he's seizing his opportunity.
He's a young player on a rebuilding team. That's what
But
everybody
again, he's
does.
shooting under 40% from the field.
He's one of the main consistent shot creators on that team, bro, and he's undersized. He's really not that bad, bro.
I looked at it again. I would probably say there are 4 teams right now that have worse point guards. One's debatable. Kevin Porter Jr. and him. I would take Cole Anthony, but Kevin Porter Jr. is a better facilitator, better jump shooter.
You think that's debatable?
I do think so.
I
He's
think
a
it's
better
not debatable.
facilitator.
I like Kevin Porter Jr.'s game a lot, actually.
Oh my God! Have you seen how
what do you
awful
got-
he's been
what
this
do you
year?
guys have?
Yo, you're
I
a
got
huge
Cole.
you're a huge percentage, guys. Yo, look at his percentages.
It's bad.
It's horrible.
No, it's not good.
horrendous.
It's not.
It's
I agree.
horrendous.
He's 6'2", guys.
It's horrendous, though.
Another team that I look at and probably would lean him being better than the Knicks. You guys don't have a point guard.
I mean, easily, yeah.
And honestly,
Washington, right?
Washington, and that was it.
Raul Neto is their point guard?
Raul Neto.
I was about to say something, but I'm just gonna not say it.
Literally every other team, I'm taking their point guard over him. And
Even the Lakers.
Yeah, I'm taking Russ over him.
They're the same guy, bro.
Come on.
Yo,
I would take
okay.
I
Cole
just feel
for
like
the youth.
I just feel like Markelle can do more for the team in terms of facilitating and
okay.
explosiveness.
You guys
I
all
think
gave
he's
you
a
guys
bust, bro.
you guys all gave your opinion on it. Look, I think Markelle was fine. I think he was good. He was efficient. I think he was able to read the passing lanes very well. Like, one thing about Markelle is he's a very good passer, and he excels with the ball in his hands. And you guys were very blossomy and flowery about the Orlando Magic situation. You were very optimistic about it.
Be nice.
I'm looking at it.
We
Look,
have
shout out,
Orlando friends.
shout out to the 6-man show. I
Thank
love
you.
this show.
Thank you.
Kevin's less efficient than Cole.
I
Yes.
know.
That's what I'm
That
saying.
was,
No,
but
I agree.
he
let's-
loves the fishes. That's what I told him. He loves the fishes.
Let's be honest, though. The Magic have a terrible problem. They have a bunch of guards that aren't very good right now. Can they be good in the future? Yes. Are they good? Like, Cole Anthony's inefficient. He started the season off very efficient. he's toned it down. And to your point about Markelle taking responsibility off of him as a ball handler, I think Cole excels better when he has the ball in his hands.
Fair.
Markelle excels with the ball in his hands.
Fair.
Jalen Suggs in college had the ball in his hands. These are all guys who had the ball in their hands, and they excel the most when they have the ball in their hands.
Disagree.
I don't think Suggs is a two guard. I don't think Fultz is a two guard. I don't think Cole is a two guard. I think they are all guys who excel having the ball in their hands. The three most consistent Magic players on the team have been Franz, have been Gary Harris, and have been Wendell Carter Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I've already given up on Mo Bamba. He is 7'1", and he cannot defend. He is not a good defender. He can only shot block,
yep.
But even then, his anticipation is not very good. I'm out on Mo Bamba. It's good they found Wendell. He's been really solid for them. But this isn't a good problem to have, and we talked about Jalen Suggs earlier in the year, and I made the comparison to Elfrid Payton, and now I don't think he's Elfrid Payton, but my pro comp for Jalen Suggs was Eric Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe at a point in time was a very good guard in the league, but Riff can attest to this. Before the draft, Jalen Suggs got all this hype. I told Riff, I think Trey Mann is a better player. Trey Mann, when he's gotten minutes in OKC, he's shown his shot creation prowess. I said Josh Giddey was a better player. Now, we can always look back on the draft and say they should have did this, they should have did that. Most people hated the Franz pick. I thought he was a Swiss Army knife. Franz,
Gotta be honest, so did I.
was more than that in the NBA. That's true. But the Suggs pick is the pick that they might look back on years later and regret. Jonathan Kuminga, they passed on him. Josh Giddey, they passed on him. And their reasoning for passing on Kuminga specifically was because we got Jonathan Isaac. But Jonathan Isaac hasn't played. Markelle came back before Jonathan Isaac. Jonathan Isaac got injured before him, and he hasn't been back yet.
It's almost 2 years now.
And on top of that, I know that Isaac is a good defender, but he does not have an offensive game.
He's an elite defender.
I know, but he has no offensive game.
Elite defender.
So because of that, I'm not sure where they're going. They paid Isaac already. They paid Markelle already. They invested a top 5 pick into Jalen Suggs, the 5th overall pick. Cole Anthony looks like the most ready out of all of them, even though I think Fultz is the best floor general out of all of them. But this isn't a good problem to have. It's just not. And people are optimistic because it's young players. These are young players who show some flashes. But we've seen this before in Orlando. We saw in 2015 where they had Victor Oladipo, Tobias Harris. They had Aaron Gordon. They had young players, promising players on their team. They had Vucevic at the time, and nothing ever happened from it. So I just don't think this is a good problem to have, because the only person I look at on on the Magic's roster right now that I'm like, okay, he's going to be really good. I don't know how good yet, but he's going to be really good. Is Franz. That's it. Suggs has been wildly inefficient. And even as of late, since the All-Star break, he's averaging 11, 5, and 4, and he's shooting 35% from the field and 20% from 3. This is not the guy they drafted.
And what about Wendell? You're not going to add him into that?
I like Wendell, but he's just, to me, a good serviceable big. I think Franz is the only one on the Magic.
And he can stretch the floor.
Franz is the only one on the Magic that has the potential to be really, really good.
Okay.
I think Suggs, because he's just a rookie, you got to throw him in there. I think Markelle, you kind of know what he's going to be. Cole, I kind of have an idea because I've seen players like him in the past come in. I think he is what Magic fans are hoping Cole becomes what Tyrese Maxey became this year, which is highly possible, which is an efficient. I think it's possible. Why is it not possible?
I think you're way too low on Jalen Suggs.
I think that too also.
I think you're
way too high on Cole Anthony.
I think you comparing his situation from college to now is extremely, extremely lazy. Like in college, because in college you talk about this is not the guy they drafted. Well, in college, let's be realistic. He was like the 4th option.
But in college, he had the ball in his hands all the time.
But it wasn't. But see, the difference was he had the ball in his hands, yes, but he was really playmaking. Corey Kispert was doing most of the scoring, and even then they had Drew Timme. They was really running the offense through him. Jalen Suggs was more of. Now, I wouldn't even call him a secondary player. He was more of like a third player. Like, he fed off his other guys, and then he still had to, like, I think coming into a situation like this, Where, like you said, it's a rebuilding team. Now the load is kind of a bit more, and he has to kind of do a little bit more for his team. You're just judging him a little bit too harsh. When
Is
it's his
he
rookie year.
not the fourth option on the Magic though?
It depends. I really. It depends.
I mean, Franz Kohler over him.
Who else is over him?
Wendell? I think probably
Debatable.
you just make him even if it's the third or fourth option. What's the big difference? I think the problem with Suggs that I saw in college was that he's a transition scorer. Like most of his baskets came in transition. He wasn't really able to generate half court offense at a consistent level.
But I think you saying that, but I think that's not true. I just think a lot of the half court offense ran through Timmy, and then he just fed off either backdoor cuts or just running a pick and roll every here now and then.
Yeah,
I think it's different. Like
that's what I'm saying though, is that Jalen Suggs, at least from the tape that I watched, didn't show he can excel in that. Like when I watched Trey Mann, he excelled at shot creation in college.
Yeah, but I also think
like
that,
Suggs didn't excel at that.
But Trey was given the opportunities. I think it's still. Like,
I'm just judging off what I saw.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This
You're
is
being a
all I
little
saw.
too harsh because it's only his rookie year. This is new to him.
So what do you think Suggs is going to be? I know it's really early, but I already said my pro comp is Eric Bledsoe. That's not a bad player.
Yeah, but you said Eric Bledsoe, and I feel like Suggs coming out of college is like I don't know, like Eric Bledsoe. I feel like he can be a little bit better than Eric Bledsoe, bro.
So what's a little bit better?
All-star?
I think he can be an all-star once.
I mean,
or
Eric
twice.
Bledsoe was a borderline all-star. He averaged 25 and 5 one year, or
In
20 and 7.
Phoenix.
Could he be better than De'Aaron Fox?
Who?
I'm asking Suggs. Do you think?
So I thought you said about Bledsoe.
Come on, Suggs is the only one of substance there.
Can he be better than I think that's.
Can he be as good as De'Aaron Fox?
That's so tough.
Yeah,
'cause
it's
De'Aaron
tough.
Fox still
It is
really
tough.
young.
It is.
That's so tough.
That is a tough question.
So let me ask you this then. If they're doing a redraft, you're taking Suggs over Giddey and Kuminga.
I probably wouldn't take Suggs over Giddey.
So you take him over Kuminga.
Listen, I love Kuminga. I really do. But I think we jumped that gun a little bit too much. He's feeding off the other players in Golden State.
if they
We
took
don't
Kuminga,
know.
do they take Franz?
Probably not, but even then, like I wouldn't rule them out taking two wings.
I don't know. Do we think? I don't know. Like I can't sit here and say I would take him in because I don't know what he would be like in a situation like that. I don't know. I feel like
I honestly feel like he'd get more opportunity and be better. Like he definitely average more.
He's a roller and a cutter for one of the best playmaking bigs.
But he can't. He can create. He's just not.
mismatches.
He's not asked to create on Golden State.
He can create in mismatches. If he's one of the main options on Orlando, you think he's going to be as efficient? You think he's still going to do it? I think
Hell no.
I think he'll struggle.
Is he
in
not averaging
Orlando.
like 14 on
I don't
Orlando
know,
though?
man. Yeah.
Suggs is at 13.
Yeah, but inefficiently.
That's what I'm saying.
I
It's
don't
the
think
efficient
Kuminga
part. I think
is inefficient.
Efficiency for rookies is we should not like. Come on, bro. He's a point guard with. Come on, bro.
Bro, I'm just saying. Okay, you're all look.
I just think
and he turns over the ball a lot.
Maybe
Suggs.
Yes.
He does.
maybe I'm a bit too harsh,
Too
but
harsh.
all I'm
That's all I'm
saying
saying.
is that after his rookie season, we all were out on Killian. It didn't take us
But
long.
it's different.
Come on, bro.
Killian showed
don't
nothing.
do that, bro.
Killian
was
showed
really
nothing.
garbage,
horrible,
bro.
bro.
Killian showed
was
nothing.
really garbage.
He's
I'm
horrible.
not saying that, but Killian is he's a good defender.
We weren't all the way out on Killian after his rookie year, though. It was really towards that summer league going into his
yeah, when he
second
didn't
year.
do anything in the summer.
Yeah,
league.
he
I
was
know.
like,
but
nah,
I
he's
think
garbage.
Jalen Suggs is definitely
but
going to be better
Killian,
than him.
Killian
though.
was a good defender. Killian right now in Detroit is one of their best passers.
You think so?
Yes. Detroit sucks though. Like, I'm not comparing the situation, but I'm just saying like
Cade.
I think you're,
it doesn't. Maybe I'm gonna be totally wrong on Suggs, but to me at least, it didn't take me long to see that Killian wasn't going to be this great player. Like I think Suggs is gonna be fine, but I don't think he's gonna be a top 10 point guard in the league.
Suggs has already shown way more than Killian has, though.
I know, but I don't think Suggs is gonna be a top
Not
10
saying
point guard
much.
in the league. Like I think the Magic have a bunch of guards that really, in my opinion, don't have superstar potential. Like Markelle is, I think, just a solid floor general. Suggs, I think, like I said, Eric Bledsoe.
Cole Anthony.
And then Cole Anthony, he's a volume shooter. He's a volume shot creator. I don't really see that being as a all-star, superstar level player. And they've invested so much into the guard position to where they have to see what they have. So this is going to be a process. So they're at least going to stick with 2 to 3 of these guys for like 2-3 seasons. And I feel like Markelle, they paid him way too early. Without him showing anything, they paid him way too early.
I mean, he showed a little bit he showed something at least in his time in Orlando. It's just unfortunate he got hurt.
I mean, the scary
Yo,
thing
what
for
pick
Mark-
was he?
Number 1.
He's a bust.
The scary thing for Fultz is when is he gonna get hurt? You know, that's always the thought.
Bro
in
played
people's
2
mind.
games
Like,
last.
is he gonna
6
get hurt?
games last
What's
year.
gonna happen?
I just don't believe a backcourt of whatever variation you want.
Not
Suggs,
shooters.
Cole,
They're not
Markelle,
great shooters.
Markelle, Suggs. I don't think any of that sounds good. I just don't.
I get it.
agree.
I just think like for Suggs, like he for me personally, I like what he brings as a point guard. You know, the intangibles, like his IQ is a little bit high on the defensive end. So I just like that. When you have all that, and he's only 20 years old. You know, athletic point guards like that, they're really
You
hard
think he
to
can
judge.
develop a jump shot?
I don't know.
At least to be
No,
around
I think he
league
can.
average.
I think
He has a
can.
nice form. So
He
like
does, that's what I'm
he has a
saying.
really nice form. So I think for athletic point guards, it really
Yeah,
takes
I'm not.
time
I'm,
to judge
I'm
them.
not out on Jalen Suggs yet.
I just don't think it's a good problem to have. That's
I
really where I
understand,
stand. I don't think having these many players is a good problem to have.
Jonathan
Orlando-
Isaac makes it worse too.
I mean, at least you know when he comes back, you know what he's gonna do. Like you know he's
He
gonna
never
lock
plays,
up.
bro.
Yeah,
Bro, he never plays, bro.
Orlando is. Yeah, I mean, I'm optimistic because they just have a lot. I like
Franz
their
is
young
good,
talent.
though.
I do
Franz is good.
legit like their young talent. It's just they're bringing in another pick. You know, I think they should go Jabari. You know,
That'd be
plug him
good.
in at the 4, and I think maybe you can move Isaac because I think Jabari would probably be better than him anyway. So I think that would be the next move. And like,
I like that.
maybe not Jalen and Anthony, but I don't think they should move off Suggs at the 1. I think Suggs at the 1 is fine. Franz at 3.
I think so too. I think moving forward, Suggs should be their point guard and have the most ball handling responsibility. But that's why I go back to it's not a good problem to have all these guys because
He should be the number
Now-
1 ball handler over Markelle.
Yes.
And Cole.
because even though they gave Markelle a contract, like you took Suggs with the 5th overall pick.
Yeah.
He should be the priority over every single player on that team, not named Franz.
It's tough. Fultz was the number 1 pick, and I'm like, I
But
understand
they
he's
didn't
not
draft him.
Yeah.
And they traded him. They traded
that.
nothing
They got
to
him for
get
a bag
him.
of peanuts. Yeah,
They traded nothing
but I'm sure
to
you
get him.
still
And
want to see him try to get to his
And
potential.
as much as I hate him, Wendell has been really good. So
Extremely.
no, yeah, I really
Yeah.
hate him though. But shout out to Wendell. He has been really good.
It's a
But I
shame
mean,
because
yo,
honestly,
what do you think Markel's potential is?
I think we know what he is.
No, because he says he wants to see him reach his
No,
potential.
I'm saying
I
that
just want to know
the
what he
Magic
thinks his potential
could-
is.
I wouldn't hate it if he
I don't
becomes
know.
like a Jordan Clarkson off the bench for Orlando. They make the playoffs, you know, a little 2.0
Nah,
straight bucket.
Nah, but that's the thing. Markel's not he can get
That's more
his
Cole
own
Anthony.
shot. Yeah. Yes. 100% a fact.
I said I wouldn't mind if he did it though. Markelle come off the bench.
Cole Anthony to me is a player who would thrive in a similar role to Jordan Poole.
Oh God, no.
Yeah, I can't see that.
Poole is nah. Cole is like a Colin
really trying to
Sexton,
think.
bro.
About your question.
That's true too.
Yeah, like
I just don't know what more he can do. I mean, he's about to be 24. He's missed a ton of games.
me and Wendell have the same birthday.
I just don't know
It's
what.
just my life is ruined.
I just don't know why you would keep
Interesting.
him over those guards when he has an injury history.
He could be with, let's say he plays around like, because these 2 games he's played 15 minutes. Let's say he gets to around 25 to 27 minutes a game. It's not out of the realm of possibility he can average 15, 6, and 6.
But it's like numbers are cool.
It's not impactful,
What-
right?
Yeah, what are we
all
looking
right,
at?
yes. Still athletic, still brings great playmaking.
But is he taking the ball out of Suggs' hands?
It would be both of them. I don't want Cole again.
I don't want another
I don't want
Dame
Cole
and
Anthony.
CJ if I'm Orlando.
So
I'm
you
sorry, I
want
don't.
you want dual
Ah,
playmakers
I
in your
don't.
backcourt?
Dame and I don't want another Dame and CJ.
All right. But there's still the difference between that is defensively. Suggs,
Wait, you say you don't want
Suggs
another
has.
Dame and CJ?
No.
I promise you, they're not as gifted.
No, they're not.
No, it's
It's
not.
But I understand what he means.
No.
He means
No.
two similar type ball
Oh, I
players.
was about
Two
to
the same players.
I was about to say. I
The thing
promise
is,
you.
Markelle brings a different size. He brings.
6'4".
He's still a strong guy.
Yo,
though.
I hate when he does. Because he's 6'4".
He is the same height as Suggs though.
Suggs is like 6'4", 6'5".
But he's fast. Their games are a little
Suggs
bit
is
different in
fast,
that.
too.
sense.
He
Yeah,
was like a
no, I'm
track
talking
star.
about
Suggs is
Suggs.
strong,
I'm talking
too.
about Suggs. He's not Markelle.
I
What
know,
does that
but
even
what I'm
mean,
saying is
bro?
when you like
Markelle is just, oh my
two
gosh.
small guards in a backcourt, I don't know if that's like a championship thing. Like
No, that's
Orlando's goal.
I mean,
is
this is. It's,
You
I mean,
just
their
gotta
next
get
step
better.
is just
Yeah,
playing.
you got to get better.
I'm just saying. I just don't think it's the best situation. But right now, we've talked about the Nuggets in the past before, mostly praising Jokic's amazing season. Definitely on an MVP pace right now. The Nuggets are the 6th seed right now, 36-26. They would face Memphis in the first round currently. And news broke out that NPJ is gearing up for a March return. He started contact drills. And Jamal Murray, they're optimistic about an April return, but Murray has came out and said, I don't have a specific goal. I'm in no rush. I just want to feel normal to be able to go out there again. So there's no timetable for Jamal Murray, but MPJ might be coming back soon. Let's just assume they get both of these guys back. Are they dark horse contenders in the West? And you tweeted out that you think they are, Riv, and you've been low on them, but it switched. It switched.
You said that?
Somehow it switched.
I've been low on them without their two guys. Yes. And if they get their
but
two
even
guys,
when we talked
You weren't
about the
always
two
high on
guys,
Jamal Murray
you
either.
always
Nah.
disrespected Jamal
Yeah,
Murray.
you did.
no, I'm saying I was never high, but the Joker, he different, bro. Let me go in and on my, you know what I'm saying? I'm human. I'm human. So like,
I'm human.
I'm human.
I'm human.
You know, sometimes I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Sometimes I'm wrong. The difference between me and you, though, is I can admit when I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying?
You're telling me I don't admit when I'm wrong?
No.
I definitely
You
do.
push the goalpost and then start anew, and then you're wrong again. But nonetheless, Jamal Murray is a really great playoff performer. I can admit when I'm wrong.
Superstar in playoffs.
Yeah, but the drop off the regular season, I wouldn't say mid,
All-star.
but
No, he's an all-star caliber. I mean, in the
There's a
West,
lot
it's
of
tough.
those,
It's tough in the West with so many
yeah.
guards.
But nonetheless,
better
I'm
than
not.
Lonzo.
This is not a.
better than Lonzo.
That's
Oh,
fine.
of course. What
Yeah,
the hell?
That's fine. It's gonna be better than Lonzo.
I'm just saying.
I think we can name 15 point guards maybe better than Jamal Murray. You do know that, right?
Hell no.
And 15 is
Name
pretty
it-
much mid.
How about you name 5 that are better in the playoffs? Do that.
That's tough.
Steph?
On top of my
Chris
head,
Paul, Steph Curry,
Chris Paul, Steph Curry,
James Harden or
Trae
Kyrie
Young.
Irving, Trae Young,
Kyrie Irving,
John Morant.
John Morant.
It's over.
I don't count Kyrie and James Harden.
Why?
You got to count one of them.
Why?
You got to count one of
Not
them, bro.
no more because Harden's in Philly. He's a 2 guard. Even though
Nah, Harden's playing the one.
I know he's playing the 1, but like size-wise, I think Max is
What about Luka?
There you go. You take Luka easy.
Yeah, duh.
You can't name me 8 better, bro.
You see how you pushing the goalpost?
You fake could.
But no, this is not a bashing Jamal Murray segment. Yes, I did tweet it. If the Nuggets are healthy, they're my dark horse. One of the few teams that's top 10 in offense, in defense, in the league in defensive rating. This team, 6th seed, the Joker has been carrying, but Will Barton has been really good. Bones Highland was
Green.
a steal we did not mention in our steals of the draft. He has been that instant bucket. Jeff Green has been solid for them. The Compazzo dude, defensively, he's good. He has a highlight every week. Monte Morris is solid. You
Aaron
bring in
Gordon.
Yeah, defensively, he's been great too. You bring back Jamal Murray and you put Michael Porter Jr. in the role he thrived in. I want to say not last year, but
In the bubble?
Yeah, in the bubble. Even when he was averaging 18 points, he was extremely efficient. That role, you put him back in that role, I think he will go right back to that player. And this team can definitely upset a team like Memphis, give the Warriors hell. Phoenix probably not
Utah?
because we seen Denver can definitely beat Utah. Like this is a team that can walk into the playoffs, and I know that's a lot to ask of Jamal Murray, coming back and just automatically
MPJ.
getting ready for playoff basketball. MPJ too, but I think with the way the Joker plays, and how elite he is as a playmaker, I think he's going to just give them open shots, and it's not hard to ask of me to just make open shots. You know what I'm saying? Jamal Murray's a good shooter. Michael Porter Jr., he's an elite shooter. So I think for that, like the Nuggets being what they are right now with their 2 guys, if those 2 guys come back and bring back to this team that's been really great and been really effective, I think they can definitely upset one of the teams in the West and make it really hard for a lot of teams.
Right now, they'd be facing Memphis. So with those 2 guys back, do you think they beat Memphis?
I think they can be Memphis.
Yes.
And all right, now this is exactly perfect segue into my argument because you mentioned it a little bit in what you were saying in your monologue. It's a lot to ask of MPJ and Jamal Murray to come back a week at most before the playoffs start and be in basketball shape, be in game time or be at that level of playoff basketball coming off of basically missing an entire season. That is a lot of responsibility on their shoulders. And now a lot of pressure by saying, are they a dark horse team?
They have a lot of
Now,
depth, bro.
To say
Zeke, Najee, DeMarcus Boogie, he's been solid. They have a
Boogie
lot
just had
of
a
depth,
31
bro.
point game
He has
yesterday.
been. Yes, he has been.
Bryn Forbes, he hits
That's
when he
because
hit.
that-
It's lit. You know what I'm
he's
saying?
a
isn't
sniper.
A lot of depth,
Jeff
bro.
Green.
Jeff Green's
A
good.
lot of depth, bro.
I know that.
And like
you
plugging
Bones
these
Highland's
two,
been good,
plugging
too.
these two guys. You're not asking them to do extremely
But
too
you're
much because
asking
it's a
them to
deep
be,
team, bro.
but you're asking them to be in basketball shape. We're talking about
You
be a
just
dark
said
horse for the
but
West.
You just said 2 segments ago. Medicine is new. It's 2022.
He should have been
That's
back.
What you said.
He should have been back.
But he's. What do you mean? He should have been.
He wants to
back.
come back when
and
he's
take
gonna
his
feel
time.
No,
100%,
I understand that, yes. But in the sense of when he got hurt last year in January,
March.
he got hurt in March. So this
In
is
a regular
around-
season
this is
game
around
against the
that.
Warriors.
And it's basketball too. It's a different type of game. Where
And
you
he's not
need your
he's
knees.
not a guy that really relies a lot on his athleticism.
But this is- but
he's
Joel-
like a,
But
Joel
he's
said
a
this is a
shifty type
question
ball player
based
where he needs
off
to get
if
his.
they're both
yeah, but he's
healthy?
not like an like athletic
All right, then.
god.
You know,
Listen,
I'll answer it that way then.
in this sense, them coming back a week, 2 weeks before the season ends and coming in to play playoff basketball against a Memphis Grizzlies team who you mentioned that the Nuggets are deep. The Grizzlies are a deep team.
Agreed.
The Warriors are arguably the deepest team. When Draymond's on the court, we're going to talk about that in a few. But when Draymond's on the court, the Warriors are a completely different team. And then you have the Suns, who are the best team in basketball.
I said the Suns. No, that's a bad matchup
For sure. I'll give you Utah again. I'm pretty low on them. I just can't see a world where these guys come in, they're in basketball shape, and they propel themselves over the Grizzlies, over the Warriors, over the Suns.
I would say this, and I'm a big Warriors fan. I believe the Warriors are going to make the championship. But I would say
You
this.
said cakewalk also.
Yeah, no, I said dog walk. That's what I
It's the
actually
same
said.
thing.
Yeah, but the Joker. The problem with the Warriors is big men, elite centers. They're very small, and I don't think even if Wiseman comes back, I don't think he's a guy you were like, yo, leave him out there in the island with the Joker. And then for Memphis, I don't think like Steven Adams is a good defender, but I think like in the playoffs, the Joker is going to be the best player.
You can't
in that
put
series.
Draymond on Jokic.
You can. He's 6'7", bro.
I agree.
It's tough.
But, I mean, Draymond can play defense on Anthony Davis. Why can't he play defense on Jokic?
Because Anthony Davis is like kind of like a wing, so he kind of likes to go out, go in the perimeter,
True.
take
But
jump shots.
so does Jokic.
Yeah, but Jokic, when he sees a mismatch, he will take
Take
you
it.
down low.
Mhm.
Like there's no.
I mean, so does
there's-
Anthony Davis.
No, he doesn't.
Not
He
to the
d-
level of
n- not-
Jokic.
Agreed. Fair.
Yeah,
Good point.
He's all flash.
Yeah.
I want to take this Jimmy, do this.
Yeah,
dumbass
it's
spin,
annoying. It's
turn around,
annoying. It's
miss
annoying.
brick.
I've
stuff
really
like
seen
that.
Jokic fry Draymond Green too. Like I've seen
Yeah,
it.
Draymond can't guard.
Yeah, he's too
Is
small.
it-
It's no
I've
offense.
literally
Like,
seen it.
Draymond's
Is it-
elite, but he's too small.
Yeah,
So
it's-
is it at least fair to say it's a lot to ask of them to come a week before the season starts?
Yes,
Yes,
That's why
100%.
they're a dark horse.
But do you still even with that being said, do you think that they could come in and win games?
They've won in games now.
Yes and no. It's like they're the 6th seed.
That's what's
They're
wrong with
winning.
that.
Yes, but dark horse for the West. That's the question.
They're a dark horse to me.
I can't agree. I can't agree.
I feel you. They're a dark horse, bro. If they get healthy, bro, and get their shooters back,
Like,
and they're already deep as they are now.
If the question was, can they make a cute playoff run? Sure, they can make a playoff run. Yeah, because you have Jokic.
Cute playoff run.
At most, you get to.
But why? What's the difference in the question? Because they'd face Memphis in
Come
the
out
first
the West.
round.
No, we're talking about come out the West. Dark horse for the West. That was the question.
That doesn't necessarily mean come out the West.
Dark horse to come out the West was the question.
Dark horse contenders. I know what you're saying, but okay.
Because that's what I based 100%.
Okay,
of
let
what I'm
me
saying
ask
off
you.
of.
Let me ask you this, because right now they'd face Memphis in the first round.
Taking Memphis.
Would you consider Memphis a dark horse contender in the West?
Right now, because of their youth, you have to say yes.
I thought you were gonna say no, but okay. If Riv believes Denver can beat Memphis, why can't he say they're a dark horse?
Say that one more time.
If Riv believes Denver can beat Memphis in the first round, then how come it's okay for you to say Memphis is a dark horse, but Riv can't say Denver's a dark horse?
Because Memphis has already shown this season, which I don't agree. I don't agree with that statement. That
What has
that
Memphis shown you? What has Memphis shown you?
That they're a deep team. That they
And Denver hasn't. Being a 6 seed without your top two guys is showing you they're deep.
They're
That
Jokic
means you're deep.
It's Jokic dominant.
I mean, you could say
But
that.
like they have a lot of depth though, when Jokic
They
makes
have
it
a lot
all
of good
go.
players.
But when Jokic is off the court, it's clear that they're not nearly the same team. And
Yeah,
it's
it's
obvious.
their
you're
best
taking
player.
off the
But
best
even
player.
then, we've seen Denver make the Western Conference Finals. We've seen them
They were a
come
dark
a
horse
game
that
away
year.
from the Western Conference Finals.
This is a healthy Jamal Murray playing the best basketball of his career. This is a Jamal Murray in 2022 where he has missed an entire season.
That was a Jamal Murray that had a
Michael
3-month
Porter,
layover,
a Michael Porter Jr. who has also missed borderline an entire season. It's tough to get back in basketball
No,
conditioning,
I understand your reasoning. I understand what you're trying to say.
which is why I can't have them as my dark horse.
You're disagreeing with Riv, and I'm fine.
to come out the West.
I'm fine with your opinion. Like, that's your opinion. But for you to think it's crazy for Riv to say that when Riv believes they can beat Memphis and Memphis is a dark horse for you, then that would by
but that's why
default
I think
make
he's kinda
Denver a
crazy.
dark horse.
I think he's kind of crazy
You
for that
think
statement.
so? You think if Memphis faces Denver in the first round, if Jamal and MPJ are back, they beat them in how many games?
It's a 6-7 game series.
So it's a toss-up, basically, what you're telling me.
It's going
So
to be a
it's a
good
dogfight.
It's going to be a good because you have to respect Jokic.
All right, so then we good on my part. Dark horse valid.
Because I don't think they're coming out. Listen,
And when I say dark horse, I just mean a team like that
Can upset a good
that
team,
can, that
a
can
better
like
team than
a
them.
team
know
that
what you
people are
mean.
not looking
Yeah.
at. That like can they beat Memphis in the first round? Yeah. Can they beat the Warriors in the second round? It's possible. I wouldn't pick them, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Joker dominates Denver. I mean the Warriors. It's seen like he's
That's
done
so
it
crazy.
before.
we
I
saw
can't say
saw
that.
Denver last year beat Portland in the first round.
And they weren't even
and they
favorites in
get
that
swept
series.
to the Suns the very next.
That's why I didn't say the Suns.
The
You
team that made
noticed-
the championship.
No, I didn't say the Suns. Right? You noticed that.
The Suns struggled against an injury.
It's all about
injury-burning
matchups.
Clippers.
Because it's about matchups. It's all about matchups. You know what
We're
I'm
killing
saying?
Jokic in that.
I feel like the Warriors
pick
would
and
be
roll.
fine.
They struggle with the Joker. Like
I
they
mean,
struggle
everyone
with
does.
the Joker.
Everyone does.
Literally everyone does though.
Except
Well,
the
Phoenix
Suns
did it.
last year.
It's because it's all about matchups. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Phoenix did defensively, but offensively they cooked them.
matchups. I feel like if they get those two guys back, as deep as Denver has been, I feel like that'll just open up the game even more for all the depth and the Joker. So that's why I think they can beat.
For
Memphis.
me, I'm just gonna go before you go, JC. The Nuggets are definitely dark horse contenders because Jamal Murray is one of the best playoff performers that I've seen in the last couple of years. When he gets into the playoffs, he's on. What do you mean? It's just one. I've seen him do it twice.
Let me look.
What the hell?
He killed.
I've seen him do it in two playoff
The
runs.
bubble and
already.
the year before when they were one game away from
was
WCF.
it the year before? All right.
Yeah, he was dogging that series.
Jamal Murray is one of the best playoff performers that I've ever seen, and he is a guy that is so into his routine. He's into meditation. He's into really focusing his mind on something. And I think if he feels ready,
He's all right.
if he feels ready to perform, he's gonna go out there and give it his all. And with Jokic, like Riv said, I mean, when Jokic and Murray play, they feed off each other. They run a lot of pick and rolls and pick and pops. And really, I think he can come back and average 20 plus doing that. MPJ, he wasn't efficient this year, but I think he'll find his groove with Denver. And they're a deep team. And in the playoffs, you have your best players out there for the majority of the game. So Denver is only going to be out without Jokic for a couple of minutes. And you got to think about it. When Jokic goes to the bench, yeah, Denver gets worse significantly. They're one of the worst teams in the NBA. But with Murray and MPJ coming back, now you can have Barton come off the bench. Monte Morris, by default, goes back to the bench.
Backup.
And even if you want to start Barton, now one of the starters goes back to the bench. I just think a lineup of Jamal Murray, Will Barton, MPJ, Aaron Gordon, and Jokic is one of the best fives in the Western Conference. However you slice
You
it.
got
agree.
Morris and
Next
Bones
season.
off the bench.
Next season, I'm with you.
This season, if they come back,
yeah.
they're one of the best fives in the West.
But again,
What five is better than those five?
on paper,
this season if they come
but we're
out-
talking about on paper and in
But
theory.
we've seen
I got one.
we've seen them healthy though. I mean,
We have seen
I mean,
them healthy.
I mean, no,
which is
this-
why I
this what
say
I'm saying.
next season.
I misspoke. You said on paper. It's not just on paper because we've seen these guys outside of Aaron Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen them play together, and we've seen what they can do together.
You're 100%
So it's not
right.
just on paper.
Well,
This isn't a newly built team.
Aaron played with MPJ.
But again,
he just ain't played with
we're-
Jamal.
yeah,
yet.
But I feel like
this
you
isn't
guys,
a newly built team.
You guys aren't looking into the fact that they're coming back a week before the season, the playoff starts.
Let me ask you. Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Last year when LeBron came back 2 days before the playoffs, you still picked LA to win, right?
LeBron
No,
and AD.
no, you
yes.
still
With
still
AD
picked
coming
LA
back
to
off
win, right?
injury,
With
too.
AD coming,
We're
you still
talking
picked
about
No,
LeBron.
but
It's
you
just
still
so
picked
different.
LA to win, right?
It's LeBron James.
What's the difference between LeBron and Jokic at this level at this point in their careers?
That's a fair point. But again, we're talking about LeBron and AD, who LeBron came back 2 games beforehand. AD had been playing. He'd been playing well.
But what you were about to read me Jamal Murray's stats in the playoffs. What were you about to say? Because you made a face like he wasn't.
The one
that good.
run was significantly better. The bubble run he had was unbelievable.
Yeah, but he still averaged 22 points per game in his first playoff run. And they made the
was
West. They were a game away from the Western Conference Finals.
If CJ doesn't go off, they make that.
I don't want to nitpick.
Oh, somebody should stop him next time.
21 points. He shot okay from 3, 33%. That's not
okay.
I know. And 42 from the field. Like, yes, he had the points were there for sure. But that bubble run was significantly better.
But you're looking at just averages. I understand we saw in the Nuggets series. I mean versus the Blazers in the first playoff run. Jamal Murray had some like absolute.
Jamal's awesome.
He went bonkers in certain games.
Yes.
So you can look at the averages, but I seen Jamal go off for 30. Like I seen him do it.
I saw him go off for 50 against Utah. Like he's like that.
That's what I'm saying. He's one of the best playoff performers I've seen in the last couple of years. What do you mean? You just said he went for 50.
Yeah, but that was in the bubble. In the bubble run. We're talking about one specific run where he was otherworldly. Yes.
So for the playoffs, he averages 25 a game.
No, 27. In the bubble, 27, 50,
okay.
40.
In the bubble, he was crazy.
So 89. His playoff averages for his career are what, like 24, 25 a game?
24.3.
Okay, so even then, I mean, that's a great playoff performer. Like, he's one of those guys that when
2 seasons, man. 1 season, yes, locked and loaded.
Bro, came down from 3-1 twice and was a catalyst for both
2 seasons of playing. Well, 1 season where he was a 10 out of 10.
Those series.
We're automatically saying he's a playoff performer of one series.
So one series he was a 10 out of 10, and then
no. One playoff run.
One playoff run he was a 10 out of 10. The other playoff run he was what, 8 out of 10?
Yeah.
What's that? 9 out of 10?
On average.
So what's that? A great playoff performance?
What I say in 8, like the points are there, the efficiency wasn't.
The second one he was a 50-40, 89.
The second one he was otherworldly. No doubt about it.
So you're gonna knock him for shooting 33% from 3 in his first
and 42% from the field.
That's not bad for a guard. 42% from the field is not bad for a guard.
33% from 3, where he is a 3-point shooter.
Yeah, but 42%
he got better though.
For sure.
But 42% from the field as a guard is not bad.
What I tell JC, you're only as good as your last.
Listen, I'm not saying that he isn't a great ball player.
Okay. All I'm saying is that
just call him one of the best playoff performers of recent memory.
He is one of the better playoff performers I've seen in recent memory.
One of the best playoff performances. Yes.
You can't name, like I said, if you can't name.
I named you like 6 or 7.
We can name you 10 players, maybe not 8 guards.
You can't name me 8 guards that have performed better in the playoffs than him.
Again, we really did.
Technical with your
he's a great playoff performer.
8 guards.
Let's keep it a buck. Is this true or not? There are very few players we've seen in the last couple of years get into the playoffs and go berserk like Jamal Murray.
Donovan Mitchell, Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka. That's 6 off the bat.
Like when Jamal Murray gets to the Jamal Murray gets to the playoffs, he plays at a superstar level. Yeah. It's a fact.
That's true.
I mean, you can also say he significantly plays better in the postseason than he does in the regular season.
Yeah,
he literally does. He literally does.
That's true. I think what Drew's saying is not a lot of sample size.
No, I feel that. No, that's a fact. No, that's a fact. I feel like it needs to be long.
See a little more.
It's a strong statement.
But Jamal Murray's a very good playoff performer, though.
Luka's had 2 playoff runs and got eliminated in the first round
both
twice.
Both of them, he was a 10 out of 10. Jamal was
no comparison.
Yeah, come on,
he was.
You can say that, but also in the fourth quarter, he really didn't show up.
He was the only player on the roster.
I understand, but that's how they play offensively, though. What I'm saying is that we only seen Luka in 2 playoff runs already, got eliminated twice, and we still call him one of the better playoff performers that we've seen.
All right, you said point guards, right? Who would we take over?
We've seen Jamal Murray in 5 series.
Okay, here we go. Point guards I would take over
Luka
in
the
playoffs. In the playoffs, Steph Curry.
Okay,
I would take Luka Doncic. I would take Ja Morant, Trae Young.
Wait, why does Ja Morant get the nod off of one?
You're being a hypocrite.
I'm just saying that he's a better ball player.
No. You're talking about if you're gonna put Ja Morant on that list and then say Jamal doesn't have enough experience.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm just saying
Ja Morant was dominant last year in the playoffs. Didn't he average like 30?
That's still being a hypocrite because that was only 5 games. But that's 1 series. He didn't win.
But Ja's a better ball player.
But you're only good as your last one.
That's why I'm taking Ja.
But we're talking about playoff performance,
which is why I'm taking Ja.
So you just take his. No, he's not saying who would you take is better. He's saying who 8 players at the point guard spot that
I'm taking right now. No, that's a different question.
That are better playoff performers.
That's a different question.
Any type of player?
8 guards that are better playoff performers. That's what he asked. That's what he said in the beginning.
Is that what he said?
That is what he said. He said that who are better playoff performers. Who?
Dame?
Then
yes.
Who? Jamal? Yeah.
Yes.
But he has a longer resume.
Kyrie Irving and or James Harden, whichever the two you want to take. Chris
Honestly,
Paul.
Kyrie Irving in the last couple of years, I'm taking Jamal. Kyrie is injured in the playoffs.
Bro.
That's a fact. Is that not a fact? He's injured in the playoffs.
I hear you, but bro, that's Kyrie, bro.
I know that's Kyrie, but he's injured in the playoffs.
No,
Yeah,
fair
injury-
point because he's injured.
but
Don't talk
injuries
about his
aside,
play,
yeah,
though.
That's what I just said. I just said
injuries aside,
His
it's
way
Kyrie
was just
Irving.
like, what you mean, bro? That's tough. Denver's a dark horse, bro. Stop hating.
Nah,
I'm not hating.
No,
It's just it's a little unreasonable to expect these guys to come back on such short amount
They're
of time
basketball
and be
players.
in basketball shape.
So look.
Still takes
You want to
time.
look? Jamal Murray had games where he wasn't his best. In the first playoff run, he had 6 points in Game 3, but he had 420 balls, and then in the second round he had 230 balls in Game 3 and Game 4. And then for the rest of the series, 23, 15, 34, 34, 18, 24, 17. Like, come on, bro.
He
And
had
then
really
you
good
look
moments.
in the bubble run, 36,
Oh, man.
14, 12,
Otherworldly.
50, 42, 50. He
Otherworldly.
had 250-point
in a
games.
series.
So, bro,
was
listen,
amazing.
I don't know
And
why
he was
you're
cooking
being
the
I don't know
Lakers,
why
too.
you're being so technical about this.
Technical in what
Jamal
sense?
Murray is a superstar level player when he gets to the playoffs. That's a fact, bro. You're trying to be mad technical about it. It is
Easy. All right, I hear the bass in your voice when you're trying to talk to me. Easy.
You going to Jamal Murray? Go ahead, do your thing, bro.
Did it take you 2 playoff series to understand that Donovan Mitchell as a rookie was a great playoff performer, a superstar
Took me
playoff
one.
performer? What about Luka in the bubble? Took you 1. What about John Morant?
Certain
Just
dudes,
took me 1.
certain dudes just take you
Devin
one.
What about Trae
Devin
Young?
Booker.
It just took me 1.
Devin Booker, 1.
It's not for you to think it's a stretch to say Jamal Murray is one of the better playoff performers that I've
got
seen
you.
is not outrageous, because in the playoffs, if you gave
I
me
hate it, bro. You be
you
instigating.
gave me 250 balls in the playoffs.
Again, I'm telling you, I'm taking 5 guards over Jamal Murray playoff performance wise.
They call him Blue Arrow.
I'm taking Steph Curry. I'm taking Luka. I'm taking Trae.
Donovan.
Off the top of my head, I'm taking Damian Lillard. Donovan Mitchell. He's a 2 guard. Let's be honest.
He is a 2. Wait,
That's
who's
what,
a 2
no,
guard?
he said Donovan.
No,
Donovan
Oh, I
Mitchell,
thought he
he's a
said
2
guard. My fault.
So I just named you 5 right there.
Yeah, but just because you name me 5 doesn't mean he's not one of the better ones that I've seen.
Yeah, you're just naming 5
It's
great
such a-
ones too.
But again,
They're great,
he's
though.
not-
You're
he's
naming
a-
5 great ones in the most loaded guard era in NBA history.
Yeah, this is the golden era of guards, bro.
Like you can't
Point
name
guard.
me
You can't
10.
say that he's one of the best. Like he's one of the best player performers I've ever seen. I name you 5.
Yo, is Devin
better.
Booker a great playoff performer to you?
He had his moments.
He had great moments.
Bro, he
yes.
had 240 balls in
Wait,
the
and
finals.
for
He
you
was
to
going
think-
He had
crazy.
great moments.
You listed John that top 5. Why?
I didn't name John that one.
Trey Young as well. He only had 1 playoff run, but he was different in it. I get you.
Come on,
Trae Young
he-
was
he
different.
Went to
Carried them to
he
the
went to the ECF.
Jamal Murray went to the WCF. Although he wasn't the best
Came
player,
back
he was
with
putting
3-1
up great
twice.
numbers.
No,
Back-to-back series.
I'm with you.
He was
though.
Okay, I
OD
know.
He was OD
I'm
in that
just
Clippers
saying,
series
it's like-
too, where
I'm
they were
not
heavy
saying that
underdogs.
Jamal Murray isn't a great playoff performer.
No, you did say he's not a great playoff performer.
What the? No, I did not.
No, you said it's a stretch
No,
to call
I
him a
said
great playoff
no.
performer.
I said it's a stretch to say he's one of the best playoff performers that he's ever
semantics,
seen.
semantics.
He had
semantics,
250
semantics,
balls.
semantics.
He had 250 balls.
Again, and
So you
I
think he's
give
a
him on
great
the
playoff
screen.
performer?
Yeah.
So what's the?
No, he's saying that he's
people
one
are-
of the best.
So
That's-
you're just
semantics,
arguing that
semantics,
people are better than
semantics,
him.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
But
just
you
said that
acknowledge
he's one
he's
of the
great, though.
better.
Of course.
I don't know why you're mad then, to be honest.
No, I didn't say that.
Well, not
I'm
mad,
not
but-
arguing it. I'm just said he's one
Oh.
of the better ones that I've seen. Bro, you gave me 250 balls. You came
He
back
was
with 3-1
awesome.
twice.
Yeah.
Like he 50, 40, 90.
Helped that Jokic was on that team.
Definitely.
Oh,
did.
okay. Oh, we're doing that now.
I'm just saying
Okay.
it helped.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it helped.
I mean,
Are they dark horses? The Nuggets.
I mean, look. To be, I love it from. Yeah, when he gets saying he just moves it on. Look, I mean, this team obviously, I believe that Jokic is top 2, top 3 in the MVP race. I mean, his playmaking ability, his scoring from the post, his playmaking from the post, his ability to read and react to double teams is otherworldly. You have Aaron Gordon, who we all agree is a very, very good defensive player. We have Monte Morris, who's a good backup point guard. Will Barton's been playing good. So it's not out of the realm to say that if we add a Jamal Murray or a Michael Porter Jr., a team that made the Western Conference Finals, albeit it's a different West now. I think if Denver stays in the 6th seed, I think this is the perfect position for them. I don't think they're primed for an upset against Golden State or Phoenix, but a team like Memphis, who it's their second year, a lot of people's second years, a couple of people's first years in the playoffs. I think that's the type of matchup that you want. I mean, like we said, Denver has zero answer for John Moran. That's a fact, but Memphis has zero answer for Nikola Jokic. And if you're adding the Jamal Murray, who I believe is a great playoff performer because I've seen him dominate in a series against my favorite player, and we add MPJ, who had a great playoff run last year, I think it's no question that this team can be a dark horse. I mean, you're going to see Denver at the 6th seed, and you're Memphis at the 3rd seed, and they're going to have Jamal Murray, MPJ, and a bunch of their role players like Jeff Green and Campazzo and all these guys who are hitting on all cylinders. If you're going to see that team in the playoffs, I wouldn't want to see them in the playoffs. I mean, like we said, Nikola Jokic is obviously going to be the best player in most series that he steps in the Western Conference. And I like the matchup them against Memphis. I mean, if they get Jamal Murray and they get MPJ back, I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Memphis in the playoffs, to be honest with you. Now, I'm not going to put...
Dylan Brooks isn't even playing
I'm not going to put house money on it, but this is a Denver team that has missed their 2 best players all year, and they're the 6th seed, and they have players who, like Aaron Gordon and Will Barton, who are playing very, very good basketball. You had the 1st and 2nd best player to this team, along with those role players and these people playing out of mind with the MVP. I don't think it's out of the realm that they can upset a Memphis team. Do I think they're going to go to the finals? You said the question was make it out the West. Absolutely not. I don't think they're going to make it out the West. I think like in the Nets situation, I think they're better primed for a run next year. But to say that if you plug them in and they have a week to play basketball with these guys playing well and Nikola Jokic playing at such a high level, I think he has the highest PER of all time. Pardon me.
Giannis does now.
Giannis does.
He dropped to 3rd, actually.
So it's not out of the realm to say that they could upset a Memphis team who, I don't want to say they're susceptible to an upset, but a team like Phoenix and a team like Golden State, I just trust them more in the playoffs. But yeah, Denver's definitely a dark horse just because you add those 2 guys back with the MVP and these role players playing well. But I'll finish it off saying that next year, with all them healthy, I think this next year is the best chance that Denver has to win the championship.
So crazy next year.
And then you have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George coming back as well. So
The Denver Nuggets are dark horses for multiple reasons. And
but you still have to give your spiel on this?
I just want to finish it off with this.
Okay.
The Nuggets are dark horses because when I look at the West, can they beat Utah? Yes.
They can.
Can they beat Dallas? Yes. Memphis is going to be a tough series, but if Denver has Jamal Murray and MPJ with Jokic playing at the MVP level,
and these guys playing
they
good.
can get past Memphis. This year, two of their 3 losses, because they lost 3 times to Memphis, have been by 2 possessions or less. So they match up with Memphis very well. Golden State. Nobody. They don't have a center that can check Jokic. I understand Draymond's phenomenal, but he can't check Jokic. And then Phoenix. Phoenix is the most well-rounded team in the Western Conference. They are the best team in the West, but they are an injury away from getting upset by a team like Denver. Chris Paul doesn't tend to stay healthy as the playoffs get deeper. If Denver makes it to the second round of WCF and they face Phoenix and Chris Paul isn't 100%, they can get past Phoenix. That's why they can make it to the finals if they're healthy. Jokic is that good. Their bench gets better with these additions returning to the starting lineup. The Nuggets, don't sleep on the Nuggets.
Yo, the West is really going to be crazy next year.
No, next year, Kawhi and PG are coming back, bro.
They're the favorites.
OD.
Before we go on to the next segment.
You say they're the favorites over
Next
Golden
year?
State?
Clips favorites next year.
Okay.
Chatter.
They're definitely better than you.
Better than me, sure.
Before we go on to our next segment, a quick word from DraftKings. Hoops fans, the latest offer from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is too good to pass up. I'm talking between the legs 360 windmill good. New customers can bet just $1 on any team and get $150 in free bets if they win. It's that simple. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you can still take your shot at a big payday. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes with DraftKings daily fantasy basketball contest. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code TBPN. Bet just $1 on any NBA team and get $150 in free bets if they win. That's promo code TBPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Now, talking about betting, tonight there's a big fight.
Huge.
George Masvidal versus Kobe Covington.
Yes, sir.
Now, I don't know if you guys are in tune with the UFC. I'm a little bit in tune,
I know
but
Kobe Covington.
if you're placing a bet,
Masvidal too.
if you're placing a bet, who are you going with in this fight? Kobe or George?
Kobe.
If you're placing a bet, who are you going with in this fight? Kobe or George? Masvidal too. If you're placing a bet, who are you going with in this fight? Kobe or George? Masvidal too. If you're placing a bet, who are you going with in this fight? Kobe or George?
I'll probably take Kobe.
I think Kobe's gonna win, man. I'm not a fan of his personally. However,
He looked so angry when he was talking.
his last fight against Usman, he showed me a lot more than what I was expecting. He did lose and he got his ass beat for sure, but he took a beating and kept going. I respect his fighting style. I respect his game. I think he beats Masvidal handedly tonight.
I think Usman is just on a different level when we're talking about that class.
You kidding me?
And Kobe Covington is one of the best fighters. I mean, I've seen him really win the fight like easily against Tyron Woodley, who's been one of the more established people in that division.
For sure.
I think Kobe wins this. I think George is a good fighter, but I think Kobe's going to win. And I think he's a favorite too, so I don't even know if you'd make a lot of money betting on that.
Probably not.
I mean, if you bet,
I think he wins in the third round.
If you bet 10K, you make what, 15, 25K?
When you bet big
you
money,
got big money,
you always get it back.
Yeah, you always get good money. But if I bet like $100, I'll probably make like 200.
So would you bet big?
If I was rich, yeah, I bet big all the time. It would be no sense in betting small if I'm rich.
You see Drake playing roulette with like millions and millions of dollars.
Dork.
What are you talking about? Sounded mad jealous.
Why do you hate Drake?
No, I was chatting. I don't hate Drake.
Who do you hate then?
As an artist, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, Kobe's minus 320.
Damn.
That's not great odds in terms of betting.
I hate J. Cole's music.
Oh my God.
Um,
This is the guy that also said that Gunna is better than Jay-Z.
and I believe it
Oh my God.
1,000%.
Nah, you got
I hate Jay-Z's
You're
music.
bugging. You're bugging. Now you're wild.
Wait, but why am I bugging though?
You're wild
Real quick,
right
just
now.
real quick.
Why you?
What?
Yo,
Real quick,
shut up.
No, listen.
I'm doing you a favor.
Stop
Stop,
bro.
bro.
Wait, listen. Why do people feel like
Oh
just
my
because
God.
they're old and established, I have to like them? Like, it's music. It's subjective. If I
Nah,
don't
but
like their
there's-
music, I don't
so
like
Gen
it.
Z, bro.
there's just nothing that Gunna's done to be put over Jay-Z,
But see,
bro.
you're thinking in numbers. If I'm listening,
No,
to
we're thinking of everything.
No, but see, that's where you're wrong. Because if it's
How
me,
is
if
that
you
wrong?
ask me, yo, who do you think is a better artist, and I like one guy better than I'm gonna say the guy I like.
Yeah,
That's
but
a
you're
fact.
trying to say it like it's consensus, though. You're like,
No,
Gunna's
see,
no,
that's
you be tweeting it. You be tweeting it just like that.
If I'm tweeting, it's because I think this in my brain.
Okay,
And I just
so
want
if
you to know that
asks me,
you
yo,
are wrong.
If Drew asks me,
Alright,
yo,
bet,
do you
bro.
think Gunna's better than Jay-Z? I believe in my heart, yeah, Gunna is better than Jay-Z.
That's
I
fair.
don't
And
like
I
Jay-Z.
think you
That's
need
fair, I
mental
guess.
help.
There's no such thing as a wrong opinion, bro.
Who do you
No such
like
thing.
more? Whose music do you like more, Future or Jay-Z?
Go ahead and lie and say Jay-Z. Go ahead and lie.
I will
'Cause
tell you
don't.
this straight up. Jay-Z is better than Future. However, I will listen to Future more.
I know you would.
But Jay-Z's
Obvious.
better.
Why is he better?
His influence, his music itself,
He has 17 #1 albums,
I
bro.
don't care about
what he
none of that,
means
bro.
to the game.
Bro, what are you talking about, bro? He
gotta know
found
the
Kanye
history,
West
bro.
and Rihanna. He's done so
Kanye's
much for
better
hip
than
hop.
Jay-Z.
No, he's not, bro. Kanye's on the record said he's not better than him.
I don't
Yo,
care.
y'all really don't want to. Y'all really don't want to.
Nah. Stop
what?
it. You have Eminem in your top five.
So what? Eminem's a top 5 rapper.
Wait, Eminem's top 5 what?
Eminem's definitely a top 5
I don't listen to
rapper.
Eminem, so I
Nah,
couldn't really
peak
tell you.
Eminem, that's fine. That's a fine. That's
Bro,
a fine
Eminem
statement.
has 2 diamond albums,
Yeah,
bro. What are
bro,
you
Fine
talking
statement.
about?
Nah, Kanye is
Kanye's not better than Jay-Z, bro.
musically.
Sonically,
What?
if they have a versus, if you put their best 20 songs, Jay-Z dead ass.
Bro, that's like saying in the NBA,
Kanye
they have a one-on-one and
Kanye
one
West,
guy wins,
Kanye
he's
West
better.
has even said that he'll lose to Jay-Z. He's dead ass said it. He's like, yo, I ain't fucking with Hov, bro. He's literally
mean?
said it.
Like in a
He's-
versus?
Yes, bro.
Oh, I mean, I don't care about
Jay-Z's
the versus. I
possibly
like Kanye's
unbeatable,
music
bro.
way
I mean, that's
better.
fine. You probably haven't listened to much of Jay-Z shit though.
Yeah,
I don't-
Jay-Z
like,
has
once
a
I-
lot
So
of
then your
classics.
opinion really doesn't matter if you haven't really heard his shit, bro.
If I don't stop, like if I listen to a few things,
So
and
there's
then,
not
like,
one
it's trash,
Jay-Z
I
song.
won't stop.
There's not one Jay-Z song that you like. You didn't like
All
Watch
right.
the Throne. You didn't like that.
Hold
you
on,
thought
hold
that
on.
shit was
This
trash,
is the question.
right?
Are you taking
All
Gunna?
right.
Are you taking Gunna or are you taking Biggie?
I don't listen to Biggie, so I
Oh
can't answer that.
my
I can't answer that. I
God,
can't
bro.
answer
How do you
it.
not listen?
I feel like it's
Biggie?
better to compare today's artist with today's artist.
I can't
and back
answer that.
then
The
with
thing
back
about
then, bro.
Biggie is that Ready to Die.
When's the
Wait,
last
time out. You trying to make fun of Eminem? Who's your top 5 of all time?
all time?
Yeah. You trying to make fun of my list? I want to hear your shit.
When's the last time you listened to Biggie?
Like 3 days
And
ago.
when's the last time you listened to Gunna?
Like 5 days
And
ago.
how many times do you listen to Biggie
Let
in
him
a
give
year?
his top
Yeah,
5
word.
list.
All right, my favorite.
Is Wayne in your top 5?
He's got to be influence.
Oh, he's 100%
Yeah,
stamp
he's gotta
top
be.
5. All right, bet.
My top 5. I love Drake. I'm sorry. I don't care what you guys can say to me.
That's
Drake.
fine, bro.
Drake is my number 1.
Do you?
I probably would throw Kanye 2. I would throw Jay-Z 3, 4.
Wayne.
Probably Wayne because he put on for so many guys. 5. Andre.
3000? I respect that. I like that one. I
Nah,
like
that
that.
ain't-
That was a
that-
good one.
that
That was a
ain't
good
my
one.
five.
No,
What's your
very
top 5?
underrated. My top 5 all time In order, I think Jay-Z's the greatest ever. He's my one. My number 2 is probably Big, just because his influence. He has a Diamond album.
I can't believe I didn't throw Big in there. That was mad disrespectful.
he has a Diamond album. His influence, his music is timeless. Probably number 3, I'll throw Lil Wayne in there. I think Lil Wayne, in terms of just mixtape rap and album rap, he's classic in both fields, and I think you can't underestimate that. He's still putting out heat to this day, so he's definitely top 5. 4, another person that I have in there. A lot of his music may not be popular to a lot of people, but I believe that Eminem's in there. 2 diamond selling albums, been on the labels, been on the radio forever. He's the most streamed, any record in terms of sales and everything. Eminem is there. And then probably my number 5 to probably round it out. This is gonna sound crazy, but this is the personal one. I like Meek Mill. I like Meek Mill. That's just me. That's just me. That's just me. That's just me because I like Meek Mill. But
my 5 would probably.
You said Meek Mill top 5 though.
No, personally for me that I listen to, or my just top 5 list.
Who's your top 5?
Nah,
Who's your top 5?
Oh, my top 5? Oh, no. My top 5? Okay. In order is Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas, Eminem, and Wayne.
Oh, mine's is Wayne, Kanye, Future, Drake, and Young Thug. Those are my 5.
That's respect.
Those are my 5 greatest. I don't like.
Biggie's got to be in there for me. I disrespected him crazy. I just
Who did you have
completely
over?
blanked.
You have Andre.
Andre and Wayne. I move Andre out of there.
Yeah, nah, you got to keep.
If y'all
Wayne
talk
in
about
there.
like influence for me, for us, would be those 5 guys. Honestly, like Young Thug, he influenced everybody we listen to
Wayne
now.
influenced
Future.
everybody.
Future.
Yeah, that's what I said. So it's like I like
Look at all
influence.
these guys.
Lil Durk.
He's not in my 5 all time.
I'm
He's my 5
shocked.
favorites. He's in my 5 favorites. Like he's my favorite.
Facts.
But he's in my
like Cardi and Uzi are in my top 5
My
favorites.
all time
but
would be like I don't.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Top 5
I
favorites.
don't
or
put
what
guys
your
in my
list
all
is?
time if I
Alright.
don't listen to them. So I wouldn't put none of them.
Nah,
in my
Who's your
five.
top 5?
the best ever is Drake in my opinion, but 2 would be Biggie.
Oh,
I'm
best
a
ever for me,
very
Lil Wayne.
I'm a very big person in this era, so I would say.
Russ?
You said Russ.
You're probably gonna say J. Cole.
Yeah, for sure.
Kendrick.
I think my first is K. Dot. It's Kendrick.
Respect.
I think second is Drake. I think third is Cole. I think fourth is Kanye, and fifth is Wayne.
I like
very
I
diverse
like-
group of
I like the
Oh
individuals.
no,
Kendrick.
we doing top 5 lists.
I like the Kendrick
of
editions.
today's rappers. I mean, I like Kendrick Lamar. Obviously, Drake grew on me. I used to hate Drake, but I
Yeah, who's your 5 of the new era? Let me see if you know what you're talking
so
about.
that I like to listen to.
Now, who do you think is the 5
Okay,
best?
so
in the new
my
era?
5. So you want it in order or without order?
You could just let me hear your 5.
Okay, so my 1 is Kendrick Lamar. I fuck with Kendrick Lamar heavy. 2 is Drake. I used to hate Drake. He knows I used to hate Drake, but I started diving into his career, really listening to his mixtapes. His mixtapes is where he started out fire. Then he went to his albums, so he definitely got my respect.
Go.
My number 3 in this era for me, I like Meek Mill personally. I fuck with his music heavy.
You a Meek Mill guy.
I love Meek Mill, bro. He's different. Another one that grew on me a lot too, that I be bumping a lot, is Future. I personally really, really, really like Future. And then to round out my 5th spot, I'm gonna say Lil Wayne because I feel like he's been.
So
OD in
you
this
brought
era.
up numbers with Hov, but you wouldn't put Drake 1 because of numbers?
No, because I think Jay-Z's a better rapper than.
No, I'm talking about in this era, like Drake.
No, he is.
I'm talking about in this era, like you wouldn't Drake's
Bro,
numbers.
freestyled in the booth, bro.
Like you wouldn't put Drake
Oh,
at 1 because
Jay-Z?
his numbers.
No, I understand.
In terms of this era, you wouldn't put Drake
Drake's
at
Drake's
1.
in my
Best
top. I said
writers
Drake's in my
there
top
is.
5.
But I'm saying, would you
I
put him
agree.
1 because of what his numbers? His numbers destroy everybody in our era.
No, that's what I'm saying. Drake is in my top 5. I just said the list is not in order.
So would he be 1?
Off numbers, you gotta
Forget about just numbers and
gotta put
quality
You
also.
gotta put him there, yeah.
Because if you put Hov at 1 because of his numbers,
I mean,
you got to
but
put Drake.
I put Hov because I'm a big Hov fan. Like I know his whole career type shit. So you don't know his whole career. You haven't ventured out to listen to him. I know his whole career. So just the numbers, the impact, the music he's made, who he's brought into the game. He's brought in 2 billionaires, Rihanna.
I
And
do
Kanye
thank him
West.
for bringing me Kanye.
He's had.
I do pretty much think.
Bro, he could drop right now. His shit will go number 1. It's
Did you
crazy.
guys watch the Kanye West
No,
documentary?
it really will. Hell yeah.
Not
You
yet.
watched it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I've been
Fire.
busy.
You gotta watch that.
You think if Hov drop right now, he'll go number 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think so?
Yeah.
Of course, bro.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
444
Yeah,
was number 1
Really?
immediately.
Yeah, bro.
If
I
K
think-
Dot drops, he's number 1.
I
too.
think he has
Kendrick
13
Lamar, yo,
platinum.
You know what's a 14. You know what's a funny thing is when Kendrick Lamar and Drake drop together. This is actually a fact. Kendrick Lamar slightly outsells him, and it's the craziest thing.
Which
that,
album though?
Damn. When
When did Damn drop?
2017 when we was in high school.
Damn dropped with More Life.
No.
What 2017?
Views. It might have been
Views.
views.
Oh yeah,
No,
that's
no,
gonna
no,
beat Views.
That was
bro.
2017. No, Views was it sold 800K in the first week.
Shit, I mean, yo, Kendrick Lamar.
That's crazy.
Kendrick Lamar's career.
Nah, Damn was more life.
Kendrick Lamar's. You don't like Kendrick,
so,
right?
so Damn dropped a More Life. Oh, More
You're not a
Life.
fan of
It's a-
Kendrick
it's a
much, right,
playlist.
Riv? You're not a fan of Kendrick much, right?
Nah, not really.
Yo, just based on the trajectory of his career, I mean,
You're right. More life. Views was 2016.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
shit,
it was
I
gonna
mean,
beat Views.
His
bro.
first album was pretty good. The one that had Rick and Mortis on it.
The last time
Good Kid, Mad City.
I stopped listening to Kendrick at that time.
That album was fire.
Oh, Good
Even
Kid,
the
Mad
Pimp a
City.
Butterfly won a Grammy and damn. So his career trajectory, he doesn't drop much, but just off those 5 albums alone, if he just consistently dropped, bro, he could dead ass be in the top 5.
And to Pimp a Butterfly is like one of the highest rated albums of all
Bro,
time.
it won a
as well.
Grammy, bro.
It's a classic.
Forget
It's
about just
ridiculous.
like media websites just consider
literally
it
his,
top
bro.
5
He
of the
won a
decade.
Pulitzer Award for that. It's like a poetry award
Yeah,
for
really?
your
Yes,
writing.
bro.
Yeah.
You know, when he's just not my vibe. I
Hove
really
won an
don't listen to
Oscar too. That's another thing.
Bro,
Eminem
I don't know.
and
I don't know
Hov
if you
won
knew this
Oscars.
about Damn, but Damn, that album, Kendrick tells a story from the intro to the last track. But if you play it back from the last track to the first track, it's also a story.
Same thing with Good Kid, Mad City. First song to last song, it all ties in.
Till
He
this,
just gotta- he
till this
just makes
day,
very
I have
smart
not
music.
listened to Damn or to Pimp a Butterfly.
Did you like Good Kid, Mad City though?
Yeah, but
That's
I don't,
what
I
I feel like.
I don't. I can't give you a definitive
Laughing
reason
to
why I
the
stopped
bank
listening to him. I
like,
just
ha,
did. Like,
ha.
I just stopped listening to him.
No, Kendrick
He owes
Lamar is
Chief Keef
different,
some
bro.
bread for that.
Why?
You ever heard Laughing to the Bank?
Nah.
Chief Keef?
No.
Oh, nah,
It's
I
the
haven't.
exact same.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yo, wait, you like Meek Mill? Do y'all like Meek Mill?
I love
Am I
Meek
the only
Mill.
one here that likes
Well,
Meek Mill?
when
If
they
you
were
ain't got a
beefing-
dream,
Nah, I
you
like
ain't got
Meek Mill.
nothing.
When
Fire,
Drake
bro.
and Meek
That's
Mill were
fire.
beefing, I had to put Meek Mill to the back burner.
Of course. I mean, Drake
That's
did
weird,
win
bro.
though.
I'm not gonna lie.
Again, I'm loyal.
You like Meek or Drake better?
Meek.
Bro, Meek is
You gotta
tough,
listen
bro.
to Kendrick Lamar, God.
I don't want to.
He don't like that type of music, bro.
That-
Yo, what
that
y'all think
song
about
is fire.
21?
Amazing.
21 is one of the best rappers in the
Yo,
game.
21
No,
is dumb.
no,
I
there's
brought-
there's no way that Riv listened to Love featuring Zakari and didn't like the song,
Give
bro.
me a run for
That's
my
one of the
money.
best songs, bro.
It's a good song. It's not the best. It's a good song.
It's one of the best
It's a good
songs
song.
that Kendrick's made.
That's,
like,
a false,
for-
that's a false
like,
narrative. Though.
radio
I do listen
hits,
to that
though?
type of
Yeah,
music.
for
I just
sure.
don't listen
20,
to it.
no, 21 is tough though. I've been like binge bumping 21 all day.
21
He's
is
different,
very
bro.
good.
Been on the wave. Sorry.
Tough.
21.
Riv
is
loves Roddy Rich.
fire.
I heard his last album was trash
Haters.
from David Rivera.
He listens to Offset, and he said Offset had one of the best albums of that year.
Bro, you like G Herbo?
Offset is the best rapping
Okay, about
Migo.
it. Because I heard a lot of people don't like G Herbo.
G Herbo's a really good rapper.
Ballin' Like I'm Kobe, Welcome to Faisal Land.
No, not me.
His whole
I'm here-
catalog is fire.
PTSD.
Fab. You like Fab?
You gotta
100
respect
Days,
him.
100 Nights is my shit.
100
That-
days.
that
100
song's
nights.
tough.
Ballin' Like I'm Kobe is
Do
amazing.
y'all listen to Sleepy Hollow?
Nah, I don't.
Y'all don't like rap.
Oh, says you.
Y'all don't like rap.
Did y'all like
Sleepy
Young
Hollow's
Dolph?
a drill New York rapper,
Did
right?
you like
But
Dolph?
he's not really drill.
R.I.P.
He is.
Did you like him?
I listened
Dolph?
to
Yo,
yeah.
Dumb and
Dolph?
Dumber
Young
with
Dolph?
him and Key Glock. Yo, that
What
album
you
is
know
tough.
about that? That's the question of the
God,
day.
it's crazy, bro. This guy
Nah,
just
I think JC could really talk about rap all day.
yeah, this guy just be.
I don't think you
thinking
can talk about the new era. That's
I'm just
why.
stuck into. What do you mean?
I don't think so. Like I think
who?
like
who? Like
like-
give me like I'm gonna keep it a stack. I'm gonna get a
Nah,
lot
I
of hate.
think
for
like
it.
I think if me and Drew was to have a conversation about the new era, like we really dig into it, you would miss some artists.
Like who?
As opposed to like how I miss artists in the old era.
like who? Like I would be honest with y'all. Like I do give people a chance. If I don't like
Lil
him, I don't
Baby.
like him. I love him. He's elite.
Don't say that, John. You listen to Lil Uzi?
I don't like
see-
him. I don't like him. I
What?
don't. I don't like him.
See, yeah, conversation.
I don't like him.
Next,
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? You saying that you don't like Eminem is just as blasphemous as me
That's
saying I
not
don't
cap.
like Verse.
That's cap.
No, it really
I know a
is.
lot of people that don't like Eminem. That's cap. That's big
I don't
cap.
know about
know
that.
a
20
lot.
minutes is my shit, bro.
I know a lot of people that don't like Eminem.
You know
bro.
what's crazy though? The number of people that don't like him are like 5 times
I mean, of
multiplied
course,
by the people that do
his
like him. So
numbers
whatever y'all
are
say is
ridiculous,
crazy.
But I know a lot
he's
of people
dead
that
nice.
legit don't like Eminem.
He's dead
Like,
nice.
I know a lot of people that don't like him. Like I'm not gonna lie. I don't know a lot of people that don't like Jay-Z. I'm like one of the few people I know that don't like Jay-Z. But I know an extreme amount of people that really don't like him.
And I know a
Have you ever listened
shitload
to the
of people
song
that like
Space
Eminem
Bound?
too.
About
Yeah.
Eminem.
Yeah.
Yo, what do you think about Eminem?
Of course. Eminem used to be one of my favorite rappers.
Yo, bro,
for
he
a
never
long-ass
listened to
time.
Spacebound.
Yeah, no, that's a fold.
I'm
You ever heard Superman?
Rocket shit.
Your
Superman?
heart's the moon.
Superman,
Bro, Eminem was
Stan?
amazing. Like, just
the way I am.
all right,
Come
bro.
on,
Can we just be
He's
honest?
different,
Everything
bro.
after Recovery.
No,
can
I'm with you
go.
on that. I'm with you on that. Recovery was fire though.
Relapse was mid.
Relapses are.
mid.
I ain't like it.
Encore.
The political album was
Whoa.
ass.
Has some
Encore
classics. Has some classics.
stuff. Encore
Has some
stuff.
classics.
His first 2 Marshall Mathers LP
And the Eminem show and
the
Slim Shady
Eminem
LP.
show was tough.
Nah,
Bro,
he
he
was
has a
amazing.
crazy career,
That's why
bro.
you have to respect when he was
Bro,
at
what
the
he
top.
did, what he did for hip hop was ridiculous, bro. He like obviously Vanilla Ice and all these other white rappers were out, bro. But what Eminem did in that magnified era that was predominantly dominated by black artists, bro, he held his own, bro.
You gotta respect
He held
it.
his own, bro.
You gotta.
So on to the next topic. This week in the NBA, what did you guys see that you want to share this week in the NBA?
For me, Zion returning. It was pretty much the easy one. I'm glad I went first because I was gonna steal it.
Go ahead, just bounce off what he's saying.
Hey yo,
Chill.
I'm joking. It's just, we're just playing.
Yeah,
there was nothing wrong about that.
Thank you.
Pelicans been 4-0 since the All-Star break. Zion
facts.
returning is going to be huge for them because I think we all said this at the table in one segment that we believe they're a playoff team if Zion is playing. CJ has been incredible. So shout out to them. Zion's coming back.
Time out. You and The Rock Never Stops have been very disrespectful
What did I say?
on Zion Williamson.
What did I say?
You laughed at him and said facts when he said that, when he compared him to Greg Oden.
No,
You literally said
I
that.
just laughed at him. It was
You
funny.
didn't say fact?
No,
What was funny about that? What was
because
funny
he
about him
compared him to Greg Oden? That's
I
hilarious.
thought you were laughing at me.
No, how? If I quoted him and laughed at him, how am I laughing at you?
No,
bro?
because I said that when Zion comes back, they're gonna wreak havoc. Like
And then
that
he
team.
he said, "Oh yeah, Greg Oden," and I laughed at that tweet.
I thought you laughed at what I said.
No, I would
You're a
have
Zion hater.
quoted you and laughed at you.
But in all seriousness,
Talk to me.
you weren't high on Zion
coming out of the draft.
Call him
That's
out.
a fact.
But wait,
Call him
how
out.
you call me out?
You're
I already
stupid.
said that. I've already said that. And
You
I-
got mad when Joel said he was better than Karis LeVert
I did
coming out
mean
of college. Yes, you did.
Oh no,
No,
I
you
did.
said-
because
you
I
said-
don't-
you said he can't
because
be better
I
than
don't
an
like-
NBA player.
I don't like comparing college players to NBA players.
You know
You
what
don't
I-
like people that are cool.
Zion's cool to you?
Zion was cool when he was coming out of the draft. Are you
Zion's
kidding me?
elite, bro.
You know
And
what
also-
you know
and
what I
look-
said to you?
Had
I
it not
said-
been for this injury, bro.
And
You know what I said to you? I said Zion.
was better than Draymond.
Yes.
And I said I don't like comparing college players to NBA players.
Is he better
I
than
don't.
Draymond when he plays?
Like right now?
Yes.
They do different things.
No, but is he
Yeah,
better
he's
than
probably
him?
better than
Okay,
Draymond.
thank
But I
you.
would. But I don't like.
Thank
I don't like doing that.
Williamson,
That's
boy.
like doing that is. I don't like doing that.
Oh yeah.
But I just said
In year one, let's be real. This was year one, 27 points.
that's cool.
I mean, his rookie year,
That's,
that's cool.
that's
No,
a top 20 player.
That's no. That's you guys. Yeah, not,
But keep going on your this week in the NBA.
No, I was done.
You're done?
Yeah, but then you wanted to jump, and I was like, yeah, crazy, bro.
My this week in the NBA
Crazy, bro.
is on Mr. Cameron Johnson. Absolute stellar performance against your Knicks, unfortunately, in Phoenix. Put up 38 points, game-winning, buzzer-beating three, a beautiful shot that he, honestly, it was perfectly executed where he is just sitting up top of the key, waiting for the basketball. He comes off the screen, hits the shot, was amazing. 11 for 16 from the field, 3 for 12 from 3, 7 for 8 from the free throw line. And this just speaks volumes to the depth of the Phoenix Suns, and it also speaks volumes to the fact that Cameron Johnson has the ability to be that type of scorer for them off the bench. Cameron Johnson, you said that his ceiling is Otto Porter.
No, I said 2018
2018
Otto
Otto
Porter.
Porter.
18 a game.
Now he's literally never mind. Go ahead, do you think, bro?
I think that he gets more opportunities because clearly, without CP3, without Devin Booker, he was given this opportunity to be
Talking about a
great scorer.
career game.
I understand.
Where
you know,
he shot 9 for 12 and had 9 threes.
Where?
Any game winner,
25,
boy.
bro.
I know.
But in the time where they have been absent, he's been shooting over 50% from the field,
He's a
over
great
42% from
He's always
three-point
been
line.
a great shooter. It's not nothing new.
And now let's also add to the fact that he's a solid to borderline great defender as well.
3-and-D player. He's
He is one of
Danny
the
Green.
better 3-and-D player. Who?
Danny Green.
Yo, Danny Green in his prime,
And
when
his
he was
prime was
3
really
and D, was
good.
really
But I'm just
really
saying,
He was about
I
to go
know.
crazy.
No,
No, yo, Danny Green
I
in
know,
his prime
I know
3 and D
Cam
was
Johnson
tough.
had a great game, but just saying, what do you mean
But
he's
I also,
capable?
but I
He's
also,
26.
no, he's
He
more than
turns
capable to
27
be.
in March.
No, he's not 26,
He's
bro.
26.
He's Cam Johnson?
Yeah, he's older.
He just turned
I thought he was
26.
just 20. I thought he was 24, bro.
Turned 26 like 4 days ago.
Yep.
This man is 26 years old.
Oh, and I'm
Otto
done.
Porter is
I'm
not
off on that.
far-fetched.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
not. I don't know why you said that. Was
I
crazy.
just think that we
How
need to
old
put
was
a
he
little
when
bit
he
of
got
respect
drafted?
on his
Wait,
name.
wait,
give
hold
him
on,
his
hold on.
opportunity.
I just-
But I also want to go into this fact just to bring up something that we had spoken of last
boy.
night. The Karl Anthony Towns for
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton and Cameron Johnson.
gosh.
It just seems a little bit, now that hindsight has shown us that that was just a little bit too much of a package.
No. hindsight is showing us that Cat just made the All-Star game. The Timberwolves are in the playoffs.
Suns are the best team in the NBA
Okay, why?
because they have a lot of depth.
Okay, why are they the best?
Because they have a lot of talent.
Okay,
and they're one of the best coach teams
They
in the
have
league.
Chris Paul, D-Book. Cam Johnson's not even the 5th best player on that
Cal
team.
Bridges.
Yeah, I don't think he better
Exactly.
than Jay Crowder.
Nah.
Who's better?
Nah,
Cam's
nah.
better than Jay Crowder.
I'm taking
think
Cam.
so?
I'm
So
taking Cam.
he would be the 5th.
You think he's better than Jay? For
I'm
real?
taking Markelle. Markelle's over.
Mikal, Aiden, Chris Paul, Devin, then Cam
You
would be
think
the
he's better
5th.
than Jay?
He's better than Jay.
Really? I think they
That's
do the
what I'm
same
saying.
thing. I think he's a better shooter. I think
Bro.
Jay's a better defender.
Cam
He's a bigger-
Johnson.
He's more physical. That's
Cam
not-
Johnson is a great role player.
No, he
Like
really
Lonzo.
is.
There's no doubt about that. You're talking about he finally got his opportunity, bro. It was one game, a career night.
Take it
Against the
easy though.
Knicks.
He's while Booker and Paul have been out.
Okay, yeah,
he
so
has
he had
taken
more
it
of a
to a
load.
level
Lonzo.
that he has not shown us.
Wait, what do you mean? So
You're
hypothetically,
saying he's Lonzo?
role player. Great.
bro, hypothetically, Cam Johnson, second, first option on the team, which probably will never
No,
happen.
never.
How much does he score a game?
First, second option on a team? Probably like 19.
Why are we
so
doing this?
that's taking it to a different level. Like,
Why are we
that's-
I mean, he scored 38 last night.
I know that's a career night though. Like I saw
he
Tony
showed the
Douglas. I saw
capabilities to
Tony
be this
Douglas
type
score
of guy.
Yeah, he
27.
always says the Tony Douglas thing.
He averages 13 right now.
Yeah. So it's not
45.
it's not-
Cam Johnson's a
45%
great
from the
role
three, though.
player.
He's
Sniper.
crazy.
Bro, Cam Johnson's a great role player, but the fact that you wouldn't trade
And DeAndre Ayton
Ayton got killed by Mitch.
on the boards. Yeah, he did.
No, it was
he
bad.
did.
No,
he
he
did.
really did
Didn't
get
kill by
fried.
Bro,
Mitch got
Ayton and Cam Johnson for Carl Anthony Towns.
But it was also picks.
Bro,
it was
killing-
also
it was like
Saric.
getting
one
killed
pin.
by Mitch is
Saric
insane.
is not even going
I
to
know.
play this year.
I agree.
That drops
Listen,
your
Saric
stock.
is the obvious
Dario
one. That's why I
Saric?
didn't bring him up for a reason. Because I'm looking at Cam Thomas, I'm looking at DeAndre Ayton, I'm looking at
Cam
that-
Johnson.
Cam Johnson.
Cam
Excuse me. I
Thomas.
apologize. Just
That's
speaking
my
fast.
boy. He'll
I
fry
just think
out
that's a
here.
little bit too much,
joking.
especially given the fact that both these guys are solid on both sides of the court.
You can think it's too. I mean, so is Cat not solid defensively?
No,
He's gotten better.
definitely
He's
gotten a lot better
He's gotten
this
better.
year.
Yeah, for
Bro,
sure.
he's one of the most
Improved.
gifted offensive big men in NBA
In
history.
history, yeah.
It's funny to me how he's the most disrespected All-Star in the
He
NBA.
literally
You
is.
think so?
Yeah,
Yes.
there's
Why
no
is he
doubt about it.
disrespected?
Riv, you said you'd take Chris Middleton over him.
You're a liar.
Bro,
No, I doubt that he said
I didn't
that.
say that,
That's
bro.
something
Okay,
crazy.
let me.
You're lucky I don't
This
have
is
proof
gonna
on
be
that,
this is
bro.
gonna be a bit crazy, but I want you just to be in the same
Be
ballpark.
level with you.
Be
Mhm.
in the same ballpark with me.
Right.
When the Lakers traded for AD, they traded Brandon Ingram, a future All-Star in the NBA, for him. They traded Lonzo Ball, a great 3-and-D role player, and Josh Hart, who's now blossoming in Portland, and
I'll live with that
and a
one.
bunch of picks.
Where are you going with this?
That was okay to trade for AD, right? And you're telling me Ayton and Cam Johnson, who neither are all-star players, is not okay to trade for Cat, who's an all-star superstar level player?
You gave up a lot more for AD.
Because AD is
But AD
he's
was-
a level above Cat.
No, but you're
He
not
is.
hearing what he's saying.
He's a
though.
level above Cat, but Cat is not
Will
too far
DeAndre,
off.
will
bro.
DeAndre Ayton
He's
ever
really
be better
not.
than Karl Anthony Towns is right now?
Well, if we're comparing packages,
No, but let's. Will he ever be better than Karl Anthony Towns? DeAndre Ayton, do you ever
I
see
don't-
that?
I don't think so.
What do you
Listen,
see?
that's what we were saying. I was
But he-
saying
I
this
thought he
to
was
you.
Cam
comparing
Johnson is
trade packages.
26 years old. He is what he is
I'm
right
saying-
now.
I'm
I don't
saying,
think
look,
it's that bad of a trade.
The trade package for AD was, I mean, they got a treasure chest of assets.
right?
You saying Cat is a step below, I agree with that
No,
100%.
it's a fact.
The trade of Ayton and Cam Johnson with Saric and a pick is a step below what the Lakers went and got for AD.
As it should be, because AD is
Okay,
a
so
step
how
above.
is that a bad trade? That's what I'm asking.
Oh,
How would
okay,
that be a
okay,
bad
okay.
It's
trade?
not a bad trade.
Which one? We're talking about the A
Oh,
and Cam
he's
Johnson.
saying the trade
He's
is like,
saying he wouldn't
not a
trade
bad
Ayton and
trade.
Cam Johnson for Cat.
No, I think that's an appropriate Cat,
Yes.
Cam, sorry, couple picks. I think that's an
No,
appropriate
one pick.
package. I mean, one or two. I think that's an appropriate package.
It's still tough. It's
Is it?
tough.
Bro,
'cause
you
they're-
pair
they're the number
Booker,
one.
Cat, and CP3?
I don't think it's an appropriate package.
That's crazy.
I get what you're saying now. I
Bro,
was
we've seen every single center on the Suns rotation replace Ayton's impact.
Now you're bringing in
Whether it's
Cat.
Biyombo
With
or
CP?
JaVale McGee
No,
or
dead
Jalen
ass.
Smith.
Dead ass.
We've seen
That's a
everybody in that
fact.
rotation replace
Cat with
Ayton's
Chris
impact.
Paul is insane.
Bro, imagine that pick and pop.
It would be great for sure. I
Like
just
you're
think in
the only
sense
the asset you're holding on to
It's
in that
Cam
package
Johnson.
is Cam
Cam
Johnson.
Johnson.
26-year-old.
And if you're telling me Cam Johnson,
enough with the age, because bro, he plays great basketball.
No, we're not. No,
bro,
he's good.
if you're telling me
He's
Cam,
good.
Come on.
He's a good role player.
if you're telling me Cam Johnson's the deal breaker in a Cat trade, I just can't look at you the same, bro.
Ayton,
So you would hang up the phone.
Ayton, listen, my point is defensively, I'm taking Ayton. Offensively, it's night and day. Karl Anthony Towns,
Bro,
by
forget
a
about
landslide.
defense. I'm just taking them
But why?
as players.
Because that's a big part of why the
Bro,
Suns are so good.
Cat's
Also,
averaging a stock a game, a steal and a block.
A stock.
stock. I like that.
I
truthfully.
like that.
But
That was tough.
again, it's not as if Ayton's offense is non-existent.
It's nowhere near CAD.
Again, it's set like
He's
I said.
a pick and
it's
roller.
night-
That's
like
what
five
he
is
is.
but
He's a
that's all
roller.
they need him to be right now.
Okay, but
CAD can do the same
all
thing.
I'm saying is that look, I'm just gonna leave it at this,
And
and I'm
shoot
gonna get into my
40%.
this week in the NBA.
Uh-huh.
I just don't agree with you thinking Cam Johnson's the deal breaker.
No, the package of DeAndre. Don't make it seem like I don't know ball. DeAndre and Cam Johnson together.
But you were saying, but bro, the Ayton
and a
Cat-
first round pick.
the
That's a
eight-
lot. It's a
But
lot.
Cat's, Cat's actually younger than Cam Johnson.
Again, you're making this an age thing.
But I'm saying
I'm talking
he fits,
about
he fits
a
the
fit
timeline
team.
as well, though. He's really young too, though. He's not even in his prime
I'm not
yet.
saying that it has nothing to do with age
Isn't
for
Cat
me.
and Book the same age?
25.
It really has nothing to do with age for me. More so to do with just how the team's playing as a whole. Why would you
So
try and ruin that
you're
right
saying
now?
you don't want to break up what they have.
If the Suns lose this year,
Then break
So,
up.
wait, so,
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Drew, so Mikal Bridges and Jay Crowder, they can't do what Cam Johnson is
No,
doing.
I think
and
what he's
you
saying is
add
he
a
wants to just
superstar
keep
level
them
point
I
together.
want look at every position that they have. They
no,
have
that's
depth
not
at every
it, bro.
position.
Bro. Don't switch up his words.
What
I'm
did I-
not.
what
I'm
did I
not
say
talking about
really?
they should make the trade today. I'm saying that it's a. It's
mean,
a
it was a
trade.
preseason thing.
It's a
I
trade
didn't
that
wanna do it
It's a
preseason.
trade that which eyes closed you make.
Really? I mean, like, I
I
feel as if
believe
a
so.
lot of people disagreed with that.
And a lot of people are fucking dumb. I don't care. Like that.
We're
That's
just on a
bro,
curse and
it's-
havoc
it's
today.
I know
Cat.
today it's coming a lot.
It's, bro, it's Cat. Like I said, he's one of the most disrespected stars in the NBA
Top 3
currently.
center in the league.
Yeah, easily stamped.
So you're taking him clean over AD?
AD's on a center.
I'm not gonna lie. From what
Right
I've
now,
seen from
absolutely.
AD, I'll take
Oh,
Cat.
God.
Just
taking
go
him over
what's your
Adebayo
this-
for
What's your
sure.
this week in the NBA? Yeah.
Take him over Bam.
Well, this week in the NBA, Bill Simmons reported on some interesting news about a potential NBA expansion.
Yes.
What?
Okay, I thought you were taking Bam Adebayo over Karl Anthony Towns.
I might.
That's because Rev don't know ball.
I might.
At a bio straps.
Everybody, I might, bro. That defense is. I really might, bro.
You're out of your mind.
I'm not.
You're out of your mind.
I mean, defensive anchor for the #1 team in East.
Adebayo is way better than Ayton, though.
Oh hell yeah.
Way better?
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
No,
Come on, bro.
he's not way better.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious right now?
He's not way better.
What does Ayton do better than Bam? Nothing. There's literally nothing he does better than
And
Bam.
he's a defensive player of the year candidate.
What does he do better than
Nothing. Literally nothing. He doesn't
this is
handle
really
the
a
ball.
debate.
Wait, is there,
He's not
is
a
there,
better playmaker
No,
either.
no.
is there a big gap between
Oh my goodness.
Adebayo and Capella?
Adebayo significantly better than him.
I would take
Is there a
Adebayo.
big gap between Ayton and Capella?
No.
No.
Oh my God, y'all are mad disrespectful to DeAndre Ayton.
No, it's just a fact.
Bro, he's the #1 pick and he's mid.
He's not mid.
He's a great player, but Adebayo's at a different level than him.
Bro, Adebayo's way
He's not
better
way
than him.
better. He's better. I'll
Adebayo's
give
like
it to
the
you.
5th
He's
best
better.
center in the league.
He's fourth.
Oh, right, because Cat is 3, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I was
He's
thinking
fourth.
something. I think this maybe
Yo,
Gobert.
you really think it's close between them? Between Ayton and Adebayo?
No, there's nothing he can think that he does
No, it's
better
really
than-
not close at
I
all.
would take Bam. He's just not like leaps and bounds better than Ayton.
Cat is, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Bam is leaps and bounds better than both of them defensively.
Yes.
Like it isn't
Can I get to my
close.
this week in the NBA?
Leaps and
think?
bounds better. Like Ayton's good defensively.
Bam can guard in the perimeter.
Bam is elite.
You got it.
So my this week in the NBA, Bill Simmons basically gave some inside info about a potential expansion of the NBA, expanding to 2 more cities, which would be Las Vegas and Seattle, because an ownership group, which LeBron wants to be a part of, might buy into that stock, and LeBron wants to be an owner. And I think this is great. I want to see an NBA team back in Seattle. I think Las Vegas, one of the littest, funnest cities in the United States, needs a basketball team. They got a football team. Now having a basketball team would be awesome for them.
It would be.
So who goes to the East? Memphis?
Memphis would go to the East or the Pelicans.
Sheesh. Probably Memphis.
That would be crazy.
That'd be, oh my God.
So now my question, I think if a team in Seattle is brought up again, I think it's just appropriate to name them the Sonics.
Definitely.
I would love that rebranding. But if a team goes to Las Vegas, what should be the name of the team?
I don't know. Definitely.
The name of the WNBA team is Aces, Las Vegas Aces.
That's actually a nice name.
It is a nice name.
I was hoping they bring a team back to New Jersey, man. We starving over
How
here,
about
bro.
Pirates?
I think the NBA will never bring a team back to Jersey.
It's over. It's over.
Sad, bro.
They didn't
But
support
why?
the Jersey team.
Doesn't
enough.
matter, bro. I'll bring it back.
Because even when the Nets were good, they weren't best in attendance. They were like really
They were
one of
horrible
the
in
bottom
attendance,
teams
bro.
in attendance.
because New York is,
Different, bro.
I'll bring it back, bro. Don't worry. When I
Please,
get rich,
do
I'll
right.
Bring it back
Do
to
right
the
for
eyes
us,
of
man.
Jersey.
Jersey.
Only Jersey team is the Devils right now, right?
And
Yep.
they show out for them.
Seton Hall's lit and Rutgers
They
lit.
are.
So
I'm telling
college
you, man. I
basketball's
think
on
that
fire
if they
in
brought
Jersey.
it back, a team back to New Jersey, it would be different now.
That'd be pretty cool.
Now it would be different.
Aces was the woman, right? That's a nice ass name.
What about the Las Vegas Jokers?
Nah, you
Doesn't-
can't make fun of. You're making fun of them to a degree.
How?
Jokers, it makes them as if like they're not legit.
They would never focus
Y'all
in
go-
Vegas.
The Las Vegas Rim Rattlers. Remember the AU
Rim
team?
Rattlers.
Pirates?
What about the Rough Riders?
Oh God, no.
Pirates?
Rivet City
Las Vegas
Rough Riders.
What about the Las Vegas Flyers?
The Las Vegas Ballers?
Simple to the point. Bowler.
You know, it's something that we haven't spoken about at all. Our fantasy basketball league. We're in the playoffs. Did you guys know you guys aren't in the playoffs?
I've been where I wasn't in week 2.
Your team's terrible.
I haven't even adjusted
But you
my
drafted
lineups.
Kyrie, right?
SMH.
Believe it, I never. I drafted
I'm gonna have to
Kyrie
hold
Clay
it
and
down
I
for
never
us
adjusted.
again.
I haven't adjusted my lineups at all.
Right now, it's
I
looking
gave
like
up
I'm
on
going
that
to the
league.
second round.
Las Vegas, I don't know. It's tough to think of a name
I
for
can't
them.
wait for
I say
Seattle.
the
though.
Pirates,
I'm
something simple,
ecstatic
man.
for Seattle.
And you're
to
this
come
week in the NBA
Okay,
is also on the Pelicans.
So my this week in the NBA, it had to do with something that a media member said, and it was like, I don't really know this guy's name, but I saw a lot of people killing him for this take. But he basically said that Jason Tatum is the best one-on-one player since Kobe Bryant. So
Oh, it's Jason McIntyre.
yeah, so he said Jason Tatum's the best one-on-one player since Kobe Bryant. And I mean, I know we could probably be here all day, but just
No, we
I
can't.
just want everybody like, can everybody give me 5 players that are one-on-one that are better one-on-one players than Jason Tatum since the time Kobe Bryant came? Because I think that was an outlandish statement. So
Kevin Durant, Allen Iverson,
Mhm.
Tracy McGrady, Kyrie Irving.
you think Brandon Roy was better?
James
James Harden?
Harden? Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was an outlandish. Like,
I don't know, man. Jason Tatum has a big bag.
No,
KD,
Jason-
James Harden.
KD, I'm taking yes. Kyrie Irving, yes.
He does have a very clean bag.
yeah, like,
though.
bro,
Jason Tatum's
Tatum
bag
had,
is
like,
crazy though. I'm not.
It's
gonna
not a
lie.
long list.
Wait, what are you saying?
No, he said
You
that.
didn't mention James Harden.
No, we did mention
just
James
said
I
Harden.
said James
Okay.
Harden.
Look at you.
I'm just saying. I'm like, bro.
T Mac is prime T Mac bag.
I said T-Mac.
You said T Mac.
Mhm.
Dwayne Wade.
It's
Allen
close
Iverson.
between James Harden and Tatum.
In terms of one-on-one,
James Harden gets way more space.
What do you mean Harden
just
is
way
the
more
step backs are
separation.
unbelievable.
Harden
yeah.
is probably the
bag-
best
his
ISO
handles
scorer in
way
NBA
more
history.
Clean. Wait, what did you say?
Harden is probably the best one-on-one player in NBA history,
Oh
bro.
my God, I hate this guy.
What you gonna
Are
tell
we
me?
dead
Points-
at- are
points
we-
per
Yo, but
Dead
possession?
time
ass?
out. No. When I said
How's that
that,
not a fact?
when I said that he
I
was a
would take
better
Harden,
one-on-one
but
player
it's
than
close.
when I said
It's
Harden
not
was a better
close.
one-on-one player than Kyrie, you bit back. Why don't you think James Harden is one of the best? Because you said he looks for fouls, right?
Yeah, I think Kyrie is one of if there's probably like a top like one-on-one. Kyrie is probably if not the best of all time. He's like top 3 easily.
I would take KD, but Kyrie is right
Like,
there.
Harden is over Kyrie.
His
bro.
arsenal of moves, his handles.
You do know James Harden averaged
shooting
36.
ability.
No, I mean if we want
Off
to do
of
that,
ISOs.
if we want to
Off
do the
of ISOs.
averages, Michael Jordan is the best one-on-one
Oh, he's
scorer.
up there.
If we
No,
want to do
he's
the
definitely-
averages.
he's
Yeah, and
definitely-
the only person close to him statistically
Yeah,
in
but I
one-on-one
thought
is
we were
James
just
Harden.
talking
How about
like.
Kobe?
And if we're talking averages too, 50,
Kobe
40,
101?
90,
I
Kyrie
thought
just
we were
did it
just
last
talking
season.
eye test. That's why I said Kyrie. Like,
25 points per game,
different,
50,
bro.
40, 90,
Who's that?
Kyrie Irving.
No, 27.
I'm
27
just saying,
points per game.
no, the statistic is 25, 50, 40, 90. There's like
I
five
mean, they're
people
all
that
better
have
than
done it.
Tatum, one-on-one. So, like,
Yeah, I know. That was a rough one.
that's
That
a
was
bad
rough.
take.
That was
No, that was like probably
But
the worst
he-
take
He's
I've
falling into the recency bias.
No, but I'm
he's
not gonna lie.
complimenting Tatum because
No.
Tatum deserves praise.
One thing that Tatum does do is he does hit a lot of tough shots.
His
though.
post game is ridiculous.
His tough shot making
His
ability
post
is up
shooting,
there.
I should say.
It's really up there, but I thought that was an outlandish.
But do we
take.
not like because Kyrie and James Harden and Kevin Durant? Not only can they hit tough shots, they create so much separation in between that it's like
You don't think Tatum gets separation?
not all the time. And sometimes he makes it worse.
He does.
Like,
He does.
He does a lot of extra.
He
stuff.
does. But
I
he's
don't
still
know.
super.
I wouldn't put
he's
him
He's
top 5
tough
though.
though, but yeah.
Look, I have a take I want to say because I feel like I can see into the future just a bit. And I feel like I know what's going to happen in the NBA come playing time. The Pelicans are going to face the Lakers, and the Pelicans are going to beat the Lakers in the play-in to get into the playoffs.
Not a bad take.
The Pelicans are first in net rating since the All-Star break. They're 4-0. They're outscoring teams by almost 27 points per game. And Zion is coming back. Look, I've been hearing a lot of disrespect on Zion's name.
We have been. Too much.
People saying he doesn't want to play for the Pelicans, all this other stuff.
This year, I didn't say anything.
People calling him a bust already.
Better talk with the Rock.
People have been saying Zion's Greg Golden. Watch when Zion comes back. He's going to average a clean 23 to 25 points per game. And the Pelicans are going to be one of those teams that no team wants to face in the first round of the playoffs. And they'll beat the Lakers in a play-in. I'm telling you now that's going to happen. They're going to beat the Lakers. They're going to smoke them.
With AD playing?
It don't matter if he's playing or not. Zion's better.
They have a better chance than AD.
Yo,
Zion is so tough.
How do you feel about that? Answer that.
We'll see.
We'll see. Oh, you're humble now. You're a humble man now.
We'll see.
Oh,
come on, this is LeBron James. You're GOAT.
You've been very firm.
He can't get out of the play-in?
You're not a humble guy. What's up?
Herb Jones will lock up LeBron anyway.
What the hell?
Oh God,
he's just trolling. But yo, like,
I don't think
LeBron's
you see Herb
dropping a
Jones.
calm 30.
Calm 30.
Calm
Are they
30?
gonna win?
Are they gonna
though?
win?
It's the win. We don't care about his 30s anymore.
I'm optimistic.
We talk about win. Now you're an optimistic guy. Okay.
bro, LeBron got to get out the plane. That's the GOAT, bro.
He's gonna.
If you don't get out the plane, that's gonna look really bad.
Yeah,
right?
expectations, right?
Oh, yeah, he's supposed to be the greatest.
Yeah.
Still the greatest.
You gonna lose to Zion in a young Pelicans team, though.
Yeah,
All
come
right.
on, bro. You got to make the playoffs,
Legacy, come on. It's night and day comparing it to KD.
bro. Yeah, but I mean, we hold him to this standard. We
You think LeBron's the best still, right?
He definitely is.
So
in the
you gotta get
conversation.
out the
I would
play-in.
take Giannis as the best in the world right now.
He got to get out the plane.
So he has to prove himself, right?
When you're at your
Who?
peak, you said
LeBron, because he's the best in the world. He has to
No,
at least
Giannis-
make it out the
Giannis-
play-in.
Giannis is the
when you're
best
at
in
your
the world.
peak,
He
you
has
can't
to
not
beat
make
Zion.
the playoffs, bro. You know that.
Giannis, huh?
When you're at your peak, you can't not make the playoffs.
He's
You
not
said-
at his peak.
No, you said LeBron is still in his peak.
No, LeBron's putting up peak numbers. Yes, no, I
Still
expect
his
LeBron
peak.
James
So
to
when
make
you're
the
at your
Peak
playoffs.
peak-
scoring numbers.
When you're at your peak,
No,
you can't miss
I
the
expect
playoffs,
LeBron
bro.
James to make the playoffs, bro.
Can't
It's
name too
LeBron
many
James.
goats that missed the playoffs when they peak, bro.
He's 37. He's
Top-
still,
He's still playing great though.
because he's LeBron.
Yeah, so he's got to make the
Make the
playoffs.
playoffs. If you lose to the Pelicans, what?
He's not losing to the Pelicans.
You might lose to the Clippers, bro. Don't sleep on Reggie Jackson, bro.
B.I.,
telling
CJ,
you.
Zion. I mean, they can't even beat the Clippers. They've like lost to them all the time.
Aren't they 0-4 against
That's
the
a
Clippers?
rivalry.
Yeah. Reggie dog walks Russell Westbrook every time he sees
Yo,
him.
that
Bobbed him.
move.
Yeah.
Westbrook's
was
way better than him in his
insane.
career though. So
I've
Who
been
cares?
told y'all that
Right
Reggie
now.
Jackson's better than Russ. I've said it since last
he
year.
did the eyebrow. He's like,
He said the eyebrow.
yeah, he was like.
On to the next topic, the Golden State Warriors. Now, they are on a 3-game losing streak. They're 3-7 in their last 10. They're 43-20 still second seed, but most of that is due to the advantage and head start Draymond Green gave them. Now, I'm gonna give my spiel first, Riv, because
got to go first. I want to defend.
No, I want you to piggyback what I'm gonna say.
No, this is a y'all thing. I'm gonna be in here being rude.
You know,
also,
You're a Warriors fan, right?
It's funny, you know.
Better back him up.
I've kind of timmered down my disdain for Steph Curry. It's true. All these things are true about Steph, though. He's had some of the most help that any superstar player has had in the last 10 years.
this guy's like a pancake.
Is that true?
Flopping back and
Hold on, I'll
forth.
answer
He
the question.
is one of the more pampered superstars in the entire NBA. When he plays great, he's the greatest thing ever in the NBA. He's all this.
He's better
he
than
gets
LeBron.
all the media attention. When he plays bad, nobody says a damn thing. Harden has been averaging the same numbers as Steph, shooting the same from the field, true shooting percentage-wise as Steph all year long. And the narrative on Harden is that he's washed and Steph is at a borderline MVP level. He's so different.
I've seen that.
And what they use to defend Steph all the time is gravity, all this other stuff. Okay, I understand Steph's gravity is insane, but he is one of the more pampered superstars. He rarely gets critiqued, and if he does, it's not to the level of other superstar players. Now,
to James Harden Westbrook.
I've said before, yeah, Steph is the best player on Golden State, but Draymond Green makes them go. They are 15-14 without Draymond. They were 28-6 with him. Steve Kerr, as much as Steph Curry is the catalyst of that offense, the guy who runs the offense, who passes the ball, who's at the top of the key is Draymond Green.
No doubt.
He's the guy who runs the offense. That's because Steve Kerr recognizes this guy's the engine. You know, Steph Curry is the cushion on the seats. He's the exterior. He's the paint job. But Draymond is doing all the dirty work. He's the engine that makes it go. And he has a damn big engine. He's like one of the better ones of all time. Draymond makes them go. Now, Draymond Green, the Warriors with Draymond have a defensive rating of 101.9. Without him this season, their defensive rating is 111. That's basically the difference between being the first-ranked defense in the NBA and the 19th one. The reason the Warriors are still ranked as highly as they are defensive rating-wise is because of the massive head start Draymond has given them. Since the All-Star break, Andrew Wiggins is averaging 14 points per game. He's not a goddamn All-Star. He's shooting 30% from the three-point line. It's the Draymond effect. Y'all talk about the Curry effect, but when Curry's there, Wiggins is still struggling. Now, the Warriors are losing not only because Draymond's out, but I think Curry's done a bad job at managing the Clay and Poole situation. And back when I said it a couple months ago, and Draymond clowned me for that, but I still love Draymond. That's my guy. He clowned me for that. I said I might not start Clay. I might keep starting Poole.
You still feel this way?
I'm not saying I still feel this way, but based on the results that we've seen, it wasn't an outlandish thing to say because it's clear Poole has taken a step down in his production since Clay has gotten back. He went from averaging 17 to averaging 13, and sometimes it feels like he's lost out there. He doesn't really know what to do. That was different when Clay was out. Now this year, Curry's averaging, he's averaging 26, still great. Shooting 43% from the field and 39% from three. But he's the greatest shooter to ever touch down on earth. And he's shooting 39% from three.
37.
37 now.
38.
Okay, 38%. That's even worse.
On 12 attempts.
And here's a better stat.
Sufficient.
That's great.
Here's a better stat
That
that
is great.
shows Draymond's impact. In 2015, in the first round, the Warriors were a plus 77 with Draymond Green on the floor and a minus 45 in the 26 minutes he sat on the bench versus the Pelicans. That was the year AD went off against them. Per 100 possessions, that comes out to plus 23.6 with Draymond and minus 76.9 without him, making his plus minus in the series plus 100.5. That's Draymond Green's impact. And without Draymond Green, the Warriors don't go. The reason why the Warriors cannot have a true center to guard these other dominant bigs in the league and still succeed is because of Draymond. I understand Steph is the best player on the team, but Draymond makes them go. And Steph has had some of the most help a superstar has ever had in the NBA. And God damn, you put Draymond on the team with James Harden, you know what's happening. He's the backbone of the team. And if he doesn't come back healthy, the Warriors will not go anywhere. And I know I've been high on the Warriors, but that's mostly because I expect Draymond to be healthy and back. As long as he's healthy and back, I expect them to make the NBA Finals. But I'm not like Riff here who's going to put my blind faith in Steph because we know what he does come playoff time.
You mean?
Nah. He just went crazy. Because he just said nothing but the truth.
You think so?
I do believe that.
All right.
Everything he said, almost verbatim in my notes.
Draymond isn't. Listen, I'm not gonna disagree. Draymond obviously not playing has been detrimental to this team. He's the engine that goes on defense. Obviously, listen. Let me talk. He's the engine that goes on defense. Obviously, he's one of the best defensive players. He is the best defensive player in the league. He's like Ed Reed out there controlling the game, controlling players, seeing
Taking
things 3-4 possessions. Yeah,
Okay,
3-4 possessions before they even happen. So Draymond Green, of course he misses sometimes, and then the defense drops. But here's where clearly you haven't watched many games because it's very clear that you haven't watched many games. So Draymond Green gets hurt, right? Steph is now relegated to the playmaking role, which by the way he's been amazing at. You know, four. You didn't mention 4 double-doubles in that little 3 and 7 in the last 10 games, 4 double-doubles, a 14 assist game, a 10 assist game, and another 10 assist game, and another. And he's been amazing as a playmaker, you know, reading offenses, trying to figure things out, getting everybody open looks. You know, he's been double teamed and triple teamed a lot, but still making plays for others. Obviously, Draymond being in the lineup on offense kind of gives that relief that Steph Curry can now just be the offensive machine he is as a scorer and just get open and Draymond will find him. Nobody ever, like, Draymond obviously helps, but what you're missing is Clay has also missed time in that lineup. You've missed that. He's missed a couple games. You're also missing that when Steph and Dre are one of the best pick and roll duos in the league, but what they're missing is that other guy that can make those plays outside of that pick and roll, and that is Andre Iguodala. He's another guy who, outside of Draymond, has that IQ ability to make those plays. They're literally rolling with Kevon Looney. Kevon Looney isn't smart enough to make that secondary play, so that also is hindering them. But like you said, a lot of my faith is if Steph, Clay, and Dre play, which they haven't played. They still have yet to play a game together. If Steph, Dre, and Clay play this year, if they play in the playoffs, I believe they will beat anybody in the West. I do believe that if those three play together. They just have to be healthy. But you said Steph doesn't show up in the playoffs. You said that. And that was really weird to me because I remember
he has some hiccups.
Not as much as you think he does.
No, I think what people like say about that, they tend to just look at the finals and forget the first three series.
So when it matters the most.
I mean, every series matters. Is the finals heightened? You have to get there. So that's
because LeBron was amazing in the 2011 playoffs outside of the Mavs.
No, but I'm saying you have to get there. Is the finals heightened? Yeah, but
doesn't matter.
Every series matters. In the first round, it matters. In the second round, it matters. In the third round, it matters. You talk about 2015, but you forget 2015 in the Western Conference Finals. He averaged 30 against your Houston Rockets and James Harden, beat them in 5 games. Like you didn't mention that, and you didn't mention in that Pelican series when they were down 3. You forget the Steph Curry 3. Did you forget that?
The corner?
Yeah.
This is just he's talking about games
did you
that were not in the
great.
finals.
Did you forget that? No, because he said he was a bad playoff player. Which he's not.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
I never said he's a bad playoff player.
Yes, you did.
No, I did
yes,
not.
You did. You tried to make it seem like he don't show up, and he shows up.
Did come off that way.
I said that he doesn't show up.
He does show up.
That's
strong.
That's strong. That's strong.
Versus the Raptors.
100%. 100% agree though. I 100% agree.
That's
it was bad efficiency.
He was getting boxed and one.
Nah, he really was. He was the only person on the court, bro.
Curry should he have made that 3? Yes or no?
Wait. Why?
Wait. He definitely should have, bro.
He should have made that.
So why when
Klay Thompson was MVP before he went out?
So why when LeBron averages his 30 on efficient shooting, that's that's valid. But when Steph did
when is he not been on efficient shooting?
No, against 2015 when Andre Iguodala was guarding him, he was inefficient.
He shot 39%.
He was inefficient. But when Steph did it,
no, from the field.
When Steph did it, being boxed in one is a problem.
Bro,
it's a like I don't understand that. Like the only wrinkle on Steph Curry's career is 2016 when he choked.
And 2019.
2019 is fair, but you could say that those are the only wrinkles on his career.
2019, I give him a pass.
Those wrinkles are on his career because there was always an iron to undo the wrinkles that would have happened.
What do you mean by that?
2018 Western Conference Finals.
I know LeBron.
KD was the reason they got past the Rockets.
Yeah.
Steph Curry laid an egg in that series.
Yeah.
He wasn't great.
It happens with the best.
So he was wrinkled in that series, and KD came with his iron, Superman, and washed that away.
Yeah, it happens.
Had that. So Steph has had bad playoff
but
moments,
everybody has,
but
though.
The reason, this the difference.
Hey, wait, hold on. Before you go, you said Steph has the most superstar help in NBA history. That was wrong.
I said the last 10 years.
In the last 10 years, that's wrong.
No, it's not.
James Harden just played with Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook. He just played with Kevin Durant. He just played with Kyrie Irving.
At the same time.
Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid. That's 5 players.
What are you talking about?
Steph Curry got drafted. You cannot account for who he got drafted.
What?
Steph Curry got drafted because if that's the case, Steph Curry got drafted.
There's a big difference between going to play and getting drafted.
Steph Curry got drafted with Clay and with Draymond Green. They grew together, bro.
Oh my gosh,
they grew together. He didn't sign with anybody.
What?
He didn't move with anybody. He didn't force his way out.
Ridiculous.
That's a fact.
That's ridiculous. Okay,
and then Kevin Durant
he has
played with Westbrook. He's played with Kyrie. He's played with James Harden. He's played with Steph, Clay, and Dre. Like LeBron has talent. AD.
Wait, hold on.
Kyrie,
let me ask y'all something.
Let me ask y'all something. Take, bro.
Riv just said that I can't account for Draymond or Clay because they were drafted there. Okay, so does that mean the Suns have no help next to Devin Booker? Since we can't account for Mikal Bridges or DeAndre Ayton or Cam Johnson.
Taking it wrong.
You're taking it wrong. You're the only one that took it that way.
Yeah, you're misinterpreting.
I didn't say it was. There's a difference.
James Harden. Look, the Nets.
I didn't even count Kevin Durant and Westbrook in the first batch.
The big three Nets only played 16 games together.
Because they were drafted together.
The big three Nets only played 16 games together.
Doesn't matter.
What team has Harden had in his entire career that Steph's team wasn't better than his?
literally the team that got hurt. Whether they were hurt or not, that's up to them.
What do you mean? They were hurt.
But they were still better than Golden State.
Hurt.
They just were hurt, bro.
You
can't just because they got hurt.
James Harden's best team in 2018 with the Rockets. That's his best team.
With Chris Paul, PJ Tucker, and all
that's his best
but
team.
But that doesn't deviate from the talent he's played with, bro.
To what the Warriors had.
That doesn't deviate from the talent he's played with. Has he played with Kevin Durant? I don't care about OKC because they got drafted. After OKC, when he went to Houston, he played with Chris Paul. He played with Westbrook, who you still said before that injury was a great player, and that's a fact.
He was
you
a great
said
player.
that. Okay,
but you're not high on Westbrook. You're not high on Westbrook.
Let me finish.
So why are you mentioning?
But let me finish. You played with Chris Paul. You played with Chris Paul. You played with Westbrook. Who were better than Klay Thompson. Then go on to Brooklyn. Go on to Brooklyn. You played with Kevin Durant. You've also played with Kyrie. That is four type of superstar level players, and then you go and run out of Brooklyn and say, I'm gonna go play with the best big man in the league, who's another superstar level player. Candidate. That's 5 superstar level players, bro.
Okay,
Steph Curry was, first of all, he was there before Klay and Draymond. He was the first one drafted. He set the seed, and on top of that, Klay and Dre got drafted, so they grew up together. The only player that's been there that's been a superstar is Kevin Durant. All that
means is that the Warriors did a better job surrounding Steph with talent.
But even then, that's still 3 stars, bro.
And
Harden had 5.
And this argument is not a good one because you are mentioning the players that Harden has played with throughout multiple years. He's never played with Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook on the same team at the same time.
I didn't say that.
The best team we can all say right now, talent-wise, this team that James Harden is on is the best team he's ever been on with Embiid, with Maxey, with Tobias.
But you're just throwing 2018 out the window just like that.
Talent-wise, this
Philly they were the number 1 seed in the West.
I know, but talent-wise, this
team almost beat the Warriors.
You said Steph Curry has had the most superstar help when he's only played with one superstar in his life.
That's true.
He's only played with one.
Klay never reached superstar.
Klay was never a superstar. We know that.
Klay was an all-star.
Yeah, he's an all-star. But so James Harden has played on separate occasions. I'm not.
Wait, so Chris Paul's a superstar?
Maybe not Chris Paul.
Wait, whoa. Embiid. Why isn't Chris Paul a superstar?
No, I'm just asking.
He's your MVP, right?
He was because of the seeding wise, but
Chris Paul are we
gonna act like 2018, 2019
Chris Paul's yeah, definitely.
Wait, 2018, 2019 Chris Paul was a superstar?
Yes.
You were calling him a superstar in 2018, 2019?
He's been a superstar his entire career.
He didn't make an all-star team once in Houston, bro.
That's okay. I
think I'm with you on that one. I wouldn't say he's a
superstar is a top 10, 15 player.
Was he better than Klay?
So you're telling me?
That makes my argument even better. Has Klay ever been a top 10 player in the NBA?
He's been top 15 for sure.
Has Draymond ever been a top 10 player in the NBA?
Never.
He's been a top 3 defender.
Player.
So you're telling me?
We're gonna get specific.
I'm sorry, I'm stuck on this. Chris Paul was a superstar after he left Houston.
Would you call him a superstar in OKC?
Yes.
Why are you looking at me?
I mean, but I ain't gonna lie. With a team that had low playoff odds, for him to take him to the playoffs and almost beat James Harden and put up a fight.
Chris Paul is one of the best floor generals in the NBA. His impact is unparalleled. To call him a superstar level player, you're putting him on the same level playing field as Trae Young, as Steph Curry,
is he a superstar
as
now?
Damian Lillard.
Right now?
Yes. Is he a superstar right now?
I think his impact is
superstar-like.
Superstar-like, but he's not a superstar player, bro.
Was he a superstar on the Clippers?
Yes.
Definitely was. Even in the Hornets as well when he first started.
He's been a superstar his whole career.
Bro, he didn't make an all-star game in Houston.
I'm going to have to agree with him in Houston, bro. I don't think he was an all-star.
Did you watch? Wait, hold up.
No, superstar, he was an all-star, though.
Did you watch the second playoff run Houston went on with Chris Paul? He didn't show up for any game outside of Game 6.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, come on, bro. Let's not be revisionist here.
But that 2018 season, he was spectacular for them. He was nothing short of amazing.
Yeah. A lot of people say him going down was the reason they lost that series.
It's not a lot. It's just common knowledge.
That's a fact.
They say that because outside of Chris Paul and Harden, there wasn't anybody to handle the responsibility handling the ball.
KD went down. They still went to the finals.
They had to win one game and a quarter.
They had to win a whole WCF.
No, they beat Portland.
What are you talking about, bro?
Oh, come on. Portland was a cakewalk.
Portland was leading by double digits in every game.
Draymond Green averaged a 15-point triple-double.
Steph averaged 30.
I mean, triple-double.
Portland was leading by double digits every game.
So. Yeah, but I'm saying, like, they Kevin Durant went down and they still...
What I'm saying
is
that
Portland sold.
No, that's when everybody thought their window was wide open.
What superstar player can you point to and be like, he's had a better team than Steph Curry from 2015 to 2017 or 2018?
2015, nobody.
That's an excellent question.
That's what I'm saying.
That part. No, but
That's
you
what
said
I'm saying.
that's
Kawhi
no,
Leonard?
because you said
No,
in
Kawhi
the
Leonard?
last
No.
hold on. You said in the last 10 years, who's played with other superstars like Steph
But
Curry?
superstars, all stars, same thing, bro. It's like in this context, what
I understand
superstar player has had a better team than Steph Curry in the last 10 years?
No, because it's not. Because even if you want to deviate to that, Steph has played with the same guys for damn near his whole career. If we just talk about who's
They're still great players, though.
no, I didn't. I'm not. See, that's what you think. You think I'm saying they're not great players. I'm saying if we're talking about who's had played with other superstars, LeBron has played with more all-star superstar, however you want to dice it.
James Harden has played with more
James Harden has
superstars.
played with more all-star superstar players.
Yeah, sure.
Kevin Durant has also played with more all-star superstar players. It's not his fault that he stays with the same guys and rolls with the same lineup. You keep trying to knock that and put that on him and make it seem like he's not the engine that goes. Because do you know this year? Do you know from this year? Like, you love to throw plus minus. Do you know that this year, aside from Nikola Jokic, he has the biggest on-off plus minus in the league? Do you know that? Him?
It's actually Luka.
It's Steph Curry. Maybe it might have been Luka 2 days ago, but it's Steph Curry's top 3. Did you know that? You didn't know that. Like, stop making it seem like because he's played with the same guys, Clay and Dre, his whole career.
Well, there's a reason. There's a reason why Steph has played with the same guys.
Because he's loyal to the fan base.
I promise you it wasn't.
Why?
Bro. I promise you it really
I'm
wasn't.
just waiting for
bro.
this. The reason Steph Curry has played with the same guys and has stuck on the same team is because there is no better situation for him to go to.
No, he's just
the Warriors are
loyal to
literally the best situation in the NBA, arguably. Every single year, bro. Every single year.
They were wait, because you're lying. Because the year he got hurt and he missed the season, people were talking about him possibly going to Lakers because his contract was coming up. He didn't sign an extension.
We knew that year was a wash because Clay got hurt, bro.
He didn't sign. No, he got hurt. Clay got hurt, then he got hurt. He missed that year. The rumor was, and it was going around the league, Steph might leave because the situation doesn't even look good. Walking into this season, people didn't even have him as a top 3 seed, bro. Like, they didn't, bro. Like, you can't keep.
We did, though.
But we're different than the people out there. We're a little
So
smarter
why are we
than the
listening
people.
to
We're smarter than
bro,
the people out there. But what
Steph
I'm saying
got
is
hurt,
you keep
Steph got hurt and knew in the back of his mind, I'm still gonna have Clay, I'm still gonna have Draymond, we're gonna have a top 5 pick. We still have D'Lo, and we can trade him for a valuable player, which they did in Andrew Wiggins, and also got a first round pick out of that. So the Warriors have built a team for Steph to where there's no better situation for him to go
But you
to.
keep trying
The argument is. Well, what I'm saying is that Steph has been on the best teams in the last 10 years versus any other superstar player. He's been on the best team, bro.
But what I'm saying is
they are the dynasty of this era.
And what I'm saying is you keep trying to knock him for that when he's
I'm not knocking him. It's a fact. It's a fact.
You're missing the part that he's the reason.
He's not knocking him. He's just stating
it's a fact.
He's stating the fact that he has.
You're missing the part that he's the reason why. If Katie, of course, but he's the reason why they've been the best team in the league. 2015, they weren't even supposed to be that good, but Steph Curry made a leap. 2016, they weren't supposed to be that good yet again, but Steph became the first and the only unanimous MVP in the league, and that's why they won 73 games.
So Draymond's leap had nothing to do with
it. I'm not saying
well,
it wasn't leap. But if Steph Curry doesn't jump up to what that is, they don't go there.
That's why I said that's not a super team.
Like, don't
Steph
do that.
Curry
because we've seen Draymond's value when Steph missed a whole year. We've seen his value. He was one of the worst players in the league, bro.
Steph Curry burdens that responsibility when he's the best player on the team, bro. We know he's the best player on the team. That's a fact. I'm not disputing that. But to your point, the reason Steph didn't leave Golden State is because he's always had a great team around. He's never thought about it. LeBron left Cleveland because he didn't have Draymond and Clay to go back to. He left Cleveland because he had nobody. That's one situation.
Dame hasn't left Portland because he's loyal. Why can't Steph be loyal? Dirk didn't leave Dallas because he was loyal. Steph is a loyal player, bro. You keep trying to say
you wanted James Harden to be loyal to Christian Wood and Eric Gordon.
I didn't see. Now you're taking it to a different.
That's fair.
That's literally what we're talking about, bro.
No, it's not because
I'm literally just saying that Steph Curry has been on the best teams in the last 10 years.
No, but no. You're afraid. My problem with your initial point was you said Steph Curry has played with the most superstars in the past 10 years. That's what's the problem with my initial point because you lied. You literally lied, blatantly lied, and it didn't make sense because I named other players that play with more superstars. I'm not saying Harden should have stayed in Houston, but don't act like Harden hasn't played with more top-heavy talent. He has. It's just a fact. Has Steph has the
different-
organization
in
built,
different years.
Yes, but it still has happened. You can talk about.
but it's
What do you
not
mean?
the
No,
same
it happened,
thing.
bro.
It's not the same thing
It
because
happened.
LeBron at this point, does he have more superstar help, quote unquote, than Steph Curry?
He's played
'Cause-
more top-heavy talent.
Let me finish. Anthony Davis is better than any second player on Golden State, right? LeBron is quote unquote played with more superstar help, but you wouldn't say this Lakers team is even close to Golden State as a roster.
That's not. I never said
Yeah,
that. though.
but I've already addressed my initial point multiple times.
Yeah, that was my
Steph
whole problem.
Curry has had the best teams, the best rosters in the last 10 years of any other superstar player. That's been my point this entire time.
That's
if,
true.
If you want
I
to
don't
stay,
think that's
if you want to
true,
stay fixated on the
It's
superstar
true.
help,
He's
you
saying
do that.
teams.
I don't think that's true.
Name a player.
I don't think you can't. I don't think. I think
Can you name a player that's had a better team than Steph Curry?
In the last 10 years.
2016.
No, period. Over his span of years, is there a player that has had a better team than Steph Curry?
You mean like if I just take a team
Just
from a year,
one player.
2019 Kawhi.
That's
What
okay,
team-
that's
what-
fair.
2019
That's
Kawhi.
fair, and that's what I was saying to
That-
you.
that's a
About
good
what? A
example.
better
That's a
team
good
than what?
example.
2019.
No,
You can- and people argue, and
superstar
people
player
argue
that has
because
a
you
great
two have said
supporting
it.
cast.
2015 Cleveland,
The thing is, I'll say the 2019
if healthy.
team,
2015 Cleveland.
But the-
2016.
and you know,
Cleveland.
get this, Drew,
is better than
before you go.
any team that Steph has ever had.
Yo,
Not
but
any
before
team,
you
but some
go,
of them.
Raps?
you
Oh.
mentioned the 2019
Not the
Raptors.
KD team, of
That
course.
2019
Yeah, I was about to
Raptors squeaked by Golden State
True.
in 6 games with Clay going out, missing games,
True.
with no KD, with Iguodala being hobbled.
it was a stimulus package.
Like they
Yeah.
were
I
hurt
still-
and
I
they
think they
got
were
that
better.
past them.
and the reason why they didn't win that game 6 was because Steph couldn't close it.
Because he missed. Yeah.
Clay tore his ACL.
But you asked me to name a team. 2019 Cavs.
That's the closest one.
Toronto
That's the
Raptors.
closest
And then
one.
you can make the argument 2015 Cleveland, 2016 Cleveland, the team that beat them.
Oh, I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm
like
with
what's
you.
the like you
I'm
act
with
like
you.
the only years that he's been clearly better is the years we know. Kevin Durant
17
this
and
year
18.
also he doesn't have the best team. That's like it's
Who
clear.
has the best team in the NBA this year?
You just said Phoenix was the best team in the league.
Phoenix
You literally
has
just
the
said
They're
that.
the best team in the West.
The Golden State Warriors are in the
No, I
West.
know, but
You're
like,
taking Philly? You're taking Philly?
no, Warriors have a top to bottom better roster than Philly.
Uh-huh.
But I'm saying we think Golden State as a whole, yeah, they have more depth, but Golden State has that star in Steph, and they also have Clay and Draymond. You said it yourself that Golden State would dog walk the Western Conference.
Yeah, but
so you think they're the best team in the West?
I do, but you said name your.
I've been saying Golden State's coming out
But
the
you
West.
just said 30 minutes ago the Phoenix Suns. Like it was literally 30
no,
minutes
because
ago. The
right
Phoenix
now,
Suns are the
right
best
now,
team in the
hold
West.
up.
That's why I said
there's
that.
a difference. There's a difference. Because I'm saying they're the best team in the West because currently, as stated, currently where they are in the
So you
standings,
think Golden State's the
they
best team?
are number one.
Just to make
Yes,
clear, you think Golden
all
State's still the best
healthy,
team?
Golden State
Okay.
is the best team in the West. I've been standing on that. But in the standings, if the Suns are number one seed,
Right.
I'm not going to say they're the second best team in the West. No, they're the number one seed. Right now, they are the number one team in the West, seeding-wise, where they currently stand. All healthy, I think Golden State's the best
I
one.
misread you because you just said it.
So I'm saying, like, then we'll move on to Drew and JC.
Oh, no. We can go on.
I think
topic.
Curry,
we got to the next one.
Curry has just had the most help of any superstar in the last 10 years, bro.
I don't think so. I disagree.
And just
with that.
because that talent was homegrown doesn't change the fact that the talent is there.
But I disagree though.
I think just 2 years he's had the greatest teams with just with
yeah, I
Kevin
think
Durant.
it's been 2 years. I think
it.
Well, 2016 won 73-9.
They also
But that
got an
wasn't a
all-star
super
from
team.
Denver, bro.
It doesn't
when
matter about
Iguodala
being
came
a
in.
That
super
wasn't
team.
a super team,
JC,
though.
that has nothing to do with the fact that they were still the greatest
because
team in
it
the
was
regular
because of
season.
Steph Curry's MVP
So
lead, bro.
just because of Steph, they were 73-9.
You take Steph off that team, that
You know
like,
what?
I'm
what are
not
we talking
saying
about?
that.
but that year was
You're taking the
So
best
that team was a
player.
super team.
You have Klay Thompson,
You know,
who's the
OKC was
second
up
best
3-1,
shooter of all
right?
time.
Those two players
I
were never
understand
top 10
that.
players,
OKC
bro.
was up 3-1.
But that has
right?
nothing to do with the fact
That
that they're
doesn't make
not
them.
a great
If
team.
they
We're
didn't
talking
have two
about
top 10 players, though.
Do you remember
great-
the
He said a
first team that
super
year, bro?
A great team is what Joel is saying. He was surrounded with a great team. He's always been surrounded with a great team outside of last season. Last season's the first season I really
And the year
looked.
before that, when he got hurt.
No, I'm talking. Yes, correct.
In 2015. You can't say that.
They went to the finals.
But that was a squeaker year, bro.
It was.
People were questioning their championship.
Them, bro.
No,
so
they
they
were
didn't have the best team in the
I'm not
league.
I'm not
You talk about
disagreeing.
Kevin Durant and then 2016.
And Steph
I
Curry
can give
took
you
that leap, and that's when
Kevin
they won
Durant-
73
I said
games.
2016. I can give you that.
Yes.
Kevin Durant
2016,
era.
you guys were the
I
best.
can
They
give
were
you
the
that. I
best.
can
They
give
were
you
the
that. But
best.
it's not been his whole career, bro. It hasn't been that long. It was 3 seasons.
Almost his
Yeah.
entire superstar career.
You could say
More
that.
than half of his superstar career.
Oh, probably half.
From 2015 to now, definitely he's had the most. He's had the better teams in it. Most
Most
had the
years. Most years.
He's had the best teams.
Yeah, but I think that, like, my problem is y'all keep making it seem like most of it is always homegrown, bro.
I agree.
So it's like
No, I
it's
agree.
a different, like, that's why I don't like comparing. It's a different scenario than
KD
teams that
was
are
a
bought
super team.
I'm
than
not
teams that are
knocking
built.
him for it.
Yeah, that's
I'm
But the
just
difference
making-
between
I'm
the reason
acknowledging
why
that it's true.
the reason why
that he's
players
had
leave
best
their
teams.
situations is because their organizations are
That's not
inept
always
at
true because
homegrown
KD left,
talent.
bro.
But OKC, their franchise to a degree at that point didn't realize that Russ couldn't do it.
Yeah, but I don't.
They
think
were a
that's
game away
always
from the
true, though,
finals.
bro.
To be honest, he dipped on them.
Like,
No,
that was
KD
low-key on
did
him.
it. That's an anomaly.
KD
but I'm talking
was
about
one of those that I agree with that.
We
that
talk about
statement.
guys who
KD
left.
didn't have to do that.
LeBron left Cleveland because they couldn't build around him. AD left New Orleans because they couldn't build around him. James Harden left Houston because the roster was Christian Wood and John Wall.
And Steph stayed, bro. It's no like Steph
because
stayed.
he always
Because he
had
has the best-
Draymond and
'cause
Clay.
let's be real, the Warriors
had
are the
to-
best
no.
organization.
Listen, he had to wait for them to be the best. He got drafted in 09, bro.
They all
And he
took
was-
off at the same time, bro.
no, they did
In
not.
2013,
Steph Curry took
they
off in
versed-
Steph Curry
2013.
was an all-star
Clay
before
took
all
off
of
in
them.
2015.
He's right.
What are you
He's-
talking about, bro?
Bro,
Dre-
they all
Dre took
ascended
off in
during
2015.
Clay was good
around the same
2013.
time.
No, but I'm
Clay
saying
was
they
good
took
2013.
off. Clay became an all-star 2015. Dre
Yeah.
took off in 2015. Dre
Yep.
was coming off the bench for David Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are we
They
gonna-
did not
sure.
come off at the same time,
Are we
bro.
going? Are we going to talk? Are we going to act like just because
Steph
Clay
popped
didn't
off against Denver.
Are
That
we-
was in 2013.
Are we going to act
Yeah,
like
that series
just?
he went crazy.
Are we going to act like just because Clay didn't make an All Star game, we didn't understand that he was worthy of being an All Star?
Correct. I agree with that.
What?
That Clay had been nice. 2013, I understand you're saying that it's mostly Curry,
good.
but regards to that, Clay, he was a big part of that
He
run
was
in
good.
2013.
He was good.
He was good, but I'm talking. We're talking
Bro,
about all-star
Golden State
talent.
made
I
right?
the
mean, Mark
playoffs.
Jackson called them the best backcourt before they were the best
Best
backcourt.
shooting backcourt.
Correct,
Best
correct,
shooting
obviously.
backcourt.
Bro, Mark Jackson, yeah, he took him to the playoffs, but it wasn't until Steve Kerr came in and made Draymond a pivotal part of the
Correct.
offense where they really took off.
That's what I said.
And they, that's
but
what
I'm saying Steph
but-
popped off before that. He was already on his way trending.
yeah, All Star.
was
But
just-
when he made that leap to a superstar, they
Yeah,
all
and then
popped off
but
at the
then
same
when
time.
Steve Kerr got there, no, because when Steve Kerr got there, Dre finally took off. Dre didn't take off with Mark Jackson. That's what you're missing the point. You keep saying they popped off at the same time. Steph Curry literally popped off against Denver. They were the
for sure,
undercard,
Steph was the
and he
one.
did his thing.
Yes.
And then he had a 40-point explosion game 1 against San Antonio, who was the best defensive team in the league that year. They didn't pop off at the same time, bro. Like, it's not that. Stop knocking Steph. You
No,
keep
Steph-
knocking Steph.
Steph-
Stop knocking
not knocking
bro.
Steph. You're just
popped
not
to
acknowledging none of the help he
superstar
has.
caliber first, yes, but it wasn't as if Clay hadn't stepped up.
No, Clay did step up.
Yeah,
It wasn't like Steph had to wait 3 years for Clay and Draymond to become who they were.
Now they
Well,
became the team they
2009
were
to
when they all
15.
popped off. though,
like
when
Klay Thompson
Klay
in
and
2013 averaged 18 points.
No, he was good. But 2000,
Draymond. He was good. Yeah, I said he was.
He wasn't an All Star, but he averaged 18.
And in
he was a good
2014,
player.
he
He was
averaged
good.
over 20.
Yeah, 2014. Yeah, I never said he wasn't a good player.
Yeah.
I never said he wasn't a good player, but he had to wait. Steph got drafted in 09. He had to wait till 15 for them to really make that 6-7 years. LeBron waited 7 years. He realized they wouldn't get help. Harden waited like 8 years. It just
Harden
didn't
was
work
10
out.
years in
Like
Houston.
it happens. Players wait. Steph he wait and they got the help. That's all it was. But don't knock him because he's played with the same guys and he's played with talent. Every great player in the top 10, top 15 have played with talent, elite talent, like elite. So
Not
you can't,
all of them had to move teams to do it, though.
That's true. But you're gonna knock Michael Jordan because he stayed.
They got him,
Kobe?
Scotty.
But that's what I'm saying. You're gonna knock him for that.
Kobe was gonna. It demanded a trade.
Kobe, yeah,
Kobe's
Yeah, until they got rid of
Like,
Shaq.
there's guys who have stayed and literally just
he was going to
waited.
leave after that in 07.
Was
And
it
then they
until
got
made that
Pau
then they
Gasol.
Pau Gasol trade
Yeah.
for Andrew Bynum, right?
Yeah, I think it was like 06.
Hey, he stuck
Shaq,
through it though.
Shaq left Orlando to go win in L.A.
I agree,
He's a
but
top
Michael
10 player of all
Jordan
time.
didn't leave.
Yeah, but he
Like,
went to go play
Larry
with Kobe
Bird
though. He had
didn't leave.
talent,
Magic
though.
didn't
Everybody
leave.
played with
But
talent,
Shaq
though.
That's my
left
thing.
or-
Like, guys have talent.
Yeah.
Like, my thing is the whole top 10, top 15. They have talent, bro. Like,
Okay, I
everybody's
understand
talent.
what you're saying.
Organization plays a pivotal role in championships.
I agree.
Which is
Obvious
why I
situation.
understand what you're saying.
I understand,
However,
yeah.
not every organization is the Warriors, our Chicago, our LA, our
Antonio.
Celtics, our San
But
Antonio.
my rebuttal to that is you have to wait and see if they can be that, bro. You have
okay,
to.
I agree.
And he
so
waited.
LeBron
And it
waited.
starts with one thing.
Did LeBron not wait his
7
entire
years.
rookie
LeBron did
contract?
wait. They did.
But
LeBron
I don't
did.
know
KD
why. I
didn't
don't,
wait his entire contract.
KD did wait.
James
resigned.
Harden
I don't
was
know
there
why.
longer
Hold
than
up.
that.
KD went to the finals.
This is my thing though. I don't know why you're crediting Curry for waiting when he was still virtually on his rookie contract. When
Wait, what? He got
they
a
all
Yes,
popped
he's
off.
right. He's right.
He got drafted in 2009. The
2009.
Warriors
No,
made
wait,
the playoffs
I'm
in like what 2013, bro.
2013.
So like it's not like he waited for them to get help and he had to go through like rebuilds. Like right when he got there, they were getting better progressively every season.
My initial notion is you gave off the vibe that you're trying to knock him for
No, all
for
I said was
staying
he
with
has
his guys.
No.
No,
All I said is
it's
that
just a fact.
And
all I
make it-
just
but-
said
but
is
you're
he
trying
has
to-
the most help.
Yeah, but you're trying to make it seem like other guys in the league at his level didn't have the type of, like the old heads. We're not talking about the young guys. The old heads, like they didn't have his type of help.
No, I
Which
said
he
it-
did.
I said in the last 10 years.
Almost no
Kevin Durant.
almost no superstar outside of Kevin Durant has had the help that Curry's had.
That's LeBron. Oh,
Dame has never had that help.
Let's be
Dame, no.
Harden has never had that help. He's never had that help, bro.
I don't know.
Having two all-star level players on your team at the same time.
He just did.
Who?
They just weren't healthy.
Who?
Okay, but
Kyrie and
like,
Kevin
bro,
Durant.
they weren't healthy. That's like comparing Steph last year saying Clay wasn't healthy, but Draymond was still there the entire year. They didn't make the playoffs.
Dre wasn't an all-star player last year, though.
So you don't think? All right, I understand the stats don't show it, but we know impact-wise, he definitely was the reason why
Well,
they
he
were
has this
one of the top defenses in the NBA.
He has the same. He literally has the same stats last year. The defense is literally at the same level. He made the All-Star game this year. The difference is they're winning more.
But you don't
It's
think
the same
Dre?
thing.
You don't think Dre's an all-star?
I don't
even
think,
last year.
I don't think he was All-Star last year.
They had Wiggins last
like,
year
there's
too.
certain things like you get to a point where you have been so consistent in your career that yes, you are an all-star if you make it or not. Like Tony Parker
So you're
in
like,
the back
saying
end,
like All-Star caliber player.
correct. Like Tony Parker wasn't a
I guess I can see
verbatim
that.
all-star, but he had been an all-star
That's fair.
even still without making
That's
it.
fair to say. That's fair to say.
Same thing
So-
with Scotty.
That's
You're
fair to say.
gonna keep talking here, Riv, because
Facts.
I was in the Discord chat yesterday, and Riv was like, "Make sure you change that topic list to 3-16 against teams with the 600+ winning record."
This hurts, Riv.
And the Bulls lost to the Bucks, right? The Bulls have a 2-17 record against
I don't get mad
teams
at great games.
It was amazing.
against some of the best teams in the league. They're 0-2 against the Heat, 0-3 against Philly,
0-3 against.
1-1 against the Cavs, 0-2 against the Bucks, 0-1 against the Suns, 0-2 against the Warriors, 0-2 against the Grizzlies, and 1-0 against the Jazz. Now, is this stretch something to be concerned about? And, you know, what are your thoughts on Chicago moving forward, their stance in the East? I know we talk about this a lot, but, I mean, now just these stats, 2-17 is absolutely abysmal. It's hard to watch.
It's not hard to watch.
No.
It's not hard to
Great
watch.
games.
You
The
know,
Frozen.
I was gonna.
He got locked yesterday by Drew.
I think
It's Drew. That's like we
But
got to
that's
give him
okay,
that.
but that's what's going to
acknowledgement.
happen in the playoffs, though, bro. You're going to be guarded by players
See,
like
but
that,
if
bro.
that's the case, then we can still rely on Levine. But go ahead.
me and JC was actually having a. I think we was talking about that, like Middleton and Drew versus Zach and DeMar. We thought Drew would be the one guarding Zach the whole time, and then Middleton. But clearly, it didn't matter for Zach. It mattered for DeMar because as soon as he switched Drew on DeMar,
Oh my God.
stop scoring.
No, it was Clam City.
That record is abysmal, and I've watched every Bulls game all year. I probably missed maybe 3 games, 3 doodle games. Like one time we played Houston, I didn't entertain that game. So
That's the game you got lost, too.
yeah, I didn't entertain that game. Like I don't entertain against Detroit. I didn't entertain that game. So I've watched the majority of those games, those high level games, and it's tough to watch because a lot of these teams. You can see the difference between the discipline of our team and these teams. You can see the experience. You can see the difference in experience. You can see the difference in fourth quarter, and you can see the difference in coaching. So I think a lot of it's bad because in the East, that's getting better. Philly just got James Harden. We got Philly on Monday in Philly. They just got better. Losing Ben Simmons, getting Harden, that's an extreme upgrade. And then Miami, they're still going to be there. They've beaten us healthy or not healthy. Philly also, they have beaten us without Embiid, with Embiid, so it doesn't matter. Milwaukee, we've given them a tough fight, but I think, like I said, it can be injuries, but at some point it has to be when can we step up and just thug out a win. It has to be some point when can we just prevail. Like we're one of those teams right now that we can beat all the regular teams, we can beat all the bad teams, but we're really struggling against these top teams. I mean, we make it a game usually, but it's like we go down early, down 20, down 25. Now we have to make this heroic comeback, and we're usually gassed. Billy Donovan, DeMar DeRozan, sometimes DeMar DeRozan, he gets too aggressive. He takes, contested shots where he's getting double teamed. He's not looking for the other guy. And then Zach, at times, he becomes passive in the fourth quarter. Like, for example, I used the Milwaukee game last night. Zach was on fire. In the first quarter, Zach was absolutely killing Holiday. He was making plays for other. The Zach minutes, I feel like we won those minutes extremely. He was making plays for other. He was getting down on defense. Offensively, he was looking great. It's just in the fourth sometimes. And DeMar, he's been great as an MVP candidate. He's been great this season. But I think this year he's kind of got a little bit in his head because sometimes he gets in the fourth and he doesn't pass the ball. He sometimes forces shots. I feel like in the fourth, Zach should have got, he should have really controlled the offense more. And I think we still have to find that balance of when one guy can be aggressive, one guy can be passive, Zach being too passive. Because sometimes he gets 24 in sleep. So sometimes he needs to be more aggressive. But I think, like, right now, that's a bad thing for us because we're going to have to play one of those top teams in the first round. And we haven't beaten any of them. Like, last night was optimism because that was one of the best games I've seen us play in the last 2 months. And hopefully, like, we're a team that's built. We don't have a top 10 solidified player. We don't. Like, these teams have Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid. We don't have a top 10 solidified player. We don't have that. So
this season you have a top 10 player.
I don't agree. We
season,
don't have a top 10 solidified player.
That's mean
so
to say.
I think the way we're constructed, we have to be fully healthy. We have to maximize all of our players. Like, all role players have to play at their best. Our two guys have to be that. Like, we're not like these other teams where Kevin Durant can save us, Joel Embiid or James Harden can save us. Like, we don't have that. We need to fully maximize our guys. So I think, like, us being hurt really has hurting us better than most. But I'm still optimistic because, like I said, I still think this is a team that healthy can still give some teams some trouble. But this is very bad.
It's a lot different tone than it was a couple months ago.
Well, we're still top in the league, top 4. So
top 4.
We're not playing. No offense.
Oof.
But you're scared of us.
Scared?
Yeah.
A healthy.
You just said you don't want to play Brooklyn in the first round.
Because I'm trying to play somebody easy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not scared to play you guys. I mean,
I'm just saying it's a lot different tone.
I'll say this.
Well, Zach went out and DeMar prevailed.
I am concerned for the sole fact that if they're not healthy, defensively, they're contenders. Yeah, they're still contenders. However, for me, there's no contender because I just have Milwaukee, regardless of any other Eastern Conference team.
Okay.
But in the grand scheme of things, in a general sense, they're a contender. With Lonzo and Caruso healthy defensively, they're a contender for sure. I just look at these certain games and with what you said about DeRozan in the fourth quarter, I agree and disagree. I agree in the sense that LaVine is as good as a scorer as DeMar can be, for sure. I think that he has been a little bit too passive in the fourth quarter, but I disagree because DeMar DeRozan has been so lights out in the fourth quarter that I don't mind him deferring because of how great he's been in these closeout moments. However, you're 100% right. It's not as if Zach is a complete drop-off that he should just consistently be deferring to DeMar. LaVine is like that.
You had Chris Middleton on you, bro.
Yeah, and he was eating him alive. Zach LaVine is that dangerous of a scorer. He can do it in all facets. Laugh if you want. LaVine is like that.
No, we're not laughing at that, bro.
So, in the sense of being concerned about the team, 2-17 is not great, but a lot of these over 500 teams, over 600 win teams that they've lost to has been without Lonzo, has been without Caruso. A lot of what my expectation of the Bulls are is if they are a healthy team. If you have Lonzo, one of the better role players in the league, one of the best defensive guards in the league, Caruso, one of the best defensive guards in the league. This is one of the best backcourt defensive guards that we have in the NBA, truthfully. And them being out, it shows when they play these high-level teams. Right now, I'm looking at Philadelphia. It's really hard for me to not say that Philadelphia is not a better team than Chicago right now. They have the star power. They have the dominant force that is Joel Embiid. They have one of the best, if not the best playmaker in James Harden. Tyrese Maxey has come in and blossomed onto the stage as a potential star in this league, if not already claimed himself as a star. This offensive trio is right now the best offensive trio we have in the NBA. I can say that confidently. They're the best. Since they've come together, they averaged almost 85 points a game. Yeah, that is insanity.
That's better than LeBron, Wade, and Bosh.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I agree with that.
No, it's a fact.
No, I agree with that. The fact that James Harden has come in and he's elevated Joel Embiid to a higher level, which I didn't think was possible, but it just speaks volumes to James Harden's greatness.
James Harden.
Maxey, has come in. Since Harden's come in, Maxey has just taken his game to another notch where there was a time where Maxey was struggling from the field. I think he only had like either 3 or 6 points, one of the two. And Harden goes to him and he says, are you going to play tonight? And Maxey erupts for 20-plus points in the second half. It just already speaks to how bought in Philly is to having James Harden come in. I just look at I look at Philadelphia. I look at Milwaukee. And these are just teams that I genuinely think are just stronger than Chicago right now. And it's hard for me to say because when healthy, I think the world of Chicago. But right now, it's hard not to look at those two teams and not have them over them.
Chicago reminds me a lot of Brooklyn in this sense right now. Brooklyn was getting a lot of heat in the early part of the season because we couldn't beat these great teams. Granted, we didn't have Kyrie Irving, so that's not a full sample size of the team or the product that's on the court. I get we had Kevin Durant and James Harden, but James Harden up to that point wasn't playing to that level. With that being said, though, I mean, in the entire Eastern Conference, I never really had Chicago past the second round team. I agree with you. I don't think they're better than Philly. I don't think they're better than Milwaukee. I don't think they're better than Miami. And, but I'm going to show them, I'm going to show them a little remorse because losing Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso is pivotal to that team. I mean, you have you have a guard rotation, Lonzo Ball, who's a great defender, and you have another one off the bench in Alex Caruso. And we saw what the Bulls were doing, and we saw how dominant they were defensively when those two guys were there. It's a completely different game if you have Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso guarding Chris Middleton, guarding Drew Holiday. It's a completely different game.
Bless you.
He got hurt in January. What was asking about Lonzo Ball?
January? All right.
No, I looked it up before.
But, I mean, like I said, I mean, it's a horrendous record against, great teams. But I was of the belief that I didn't think the Bulls were ever really a serious contending team to get out the East, to be honest. I always thought Miami was better. I always thought Milwaukee was better. I still think I still like the Nets' chances if they're healthy against Milwaukee. And, it's unfortunate.
Against Chicago.
Okay, against Chicago, pardon me. It's unfortunate. I mean, Chicago has been dealing with injuries. They have actually been one of the most injury-plagued teams in the entire NBA at the start of the season. Zach LaVine was out. He still has a lingering injury. They lost two of their guards. Pat Williams, before the season even started, that was a big hit off rip for them. That was one of their best defenders. So they have been struggling, and the record, it is what it is, but I don't put too much stock into it solely because you're missing your two best defensive players on the basketball court, which are your guards, Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso. So we saw how different they were defensively when they were on the court. They can pretty much handle most of the backcourts. I'm not saying they're going to shut every backcourt down, but every elite backcourt, I feel comfortable putting Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso as my frontline defenders on their best guards. But with that being said, I mean, the record's horrendous, but I never thought that the Bulls were ever a threat to really come out of the East. I don't know. I like just DeMar DeRozan in general. Like, people are telling me this is a different DeMar DeRozan. And while it may be, and while he is playing great this season, I mean, he has a track record of underperforming in the playoffs. And history tells me that he's going to underperform. So that's been one of the main reasons why I don't think that Chicago will, get past the second round. And what River said is true. Although DeMar DeRozan is having an excellent season, he's definitely not a top 10 player in the NBA. just off value of what we've seen.
This season, you wouldn't say he's a top 10 player.
I'm not changing my list off one season, to be honest with you. There was never a season I thought DeMar DeRozan was anywhere near the top 10, to be honest with you.
I agree with that, but this is the only season you could argue it.
That's fine. I have to see it. If DeMar DeRozan were to have this caliber season and dominate the playoffs, and you got it, then he's in my top 10. Mm-hmm. But until that happens, a regular season doesn't move me. It doesn't sway me. It matters when you get into the postseason and how you perform.
But that duo of LaVine and DeMar DeRozan,
DeMar DeRozan's been elite in the fourth quarter. But I'm telling you, against teams like Milwaukee, against teams like Miami who guard up, it's going to be harder. There's teams that can game plan for you. There's teams that are great defensively that you can put on their best scorer, which is DeMar DeRozan. There's a bunch of teams. Miami, you run into a PJ Tucker, a Jimmy Butler. Milwaukee, we saw what Drew Holiday can do to a DeMar DeRozan. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so while I do think the Bulls are a great team, and I do think this record is a little flawed because they are missing their two best backcourt players, I'm not going to sit here and act like I've been on the Bulls wagon like you guys have been all year. I never thought that they were going to get past the second round.
The Bulls should be concerned. But they shouldn't be concerned for the reasons of not winning against great teams. Because frankly, they aren't as good as those great teams. It's just the bottom line of it. And when you go into these games without your best two defenders in Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso, for Chicago, it hurts them a bit more than any other team. For the reason being that they're the opposite of Utah. As long as Rudy Gobert is out there for Utah, the Jazz will be elite defensively no matter who are their guards that are guarding up. Chicago doesn't have an elite rim protector, so they count on their guards more than other teams to really stop the ball defend, make guards pick up their dribble, and pass the ball. And without Caruso, without Lonzo, it's difficult to do that. The Bulls' best lineup, in my opinion, is Lonzo, Caruso, Levine, DeMar, and Vucevic. That's their best lineup, in my opinion. Small ball, you still have Vucevic at the 5. You can stretch out the floor. But that's just not good enough for the top teams in the East. They can't beat the Bucks. They can't beat Miami. They for damn sure can't beat Philadelphia. The Sixers are first in offense, 6th in defense, 2nd lowest turnover rate, 3rd in point differential, 1st in EFG and free throw rate, and 4th in three-point percentage since the James Harden trade. I was wrong about the fit with Philly and Harden, with Embiid and Harden, because it's clear they are the best team in the Eastern Conference, and they might smack the Bulls in 5. That's how it's gonna be. Really, what you say about the Warriors dog walk? I think the dog walk thing with the Warriors in the West, it might be more of like a pit bull, untrained dog walk. It's going to be running around. But the dog walk 76ers will have against Chicago, it's going to be like a chill dog. Just okay, it's a normal walk. That's how it's going to be. No pressure whatsoever.
Dog walk to the finals or not?
I'm not going to say that.
I agree.
But dog walk in Chicago for certain. DeMar DeRozan, like you mentioned, his playoff career, 22 points per game, shooting 42% from the field and 23% from 3. He might be a different player, but I'm a believer when I see it.
Same for Embiid.
Yeah, I mean, Embiid still, his stats in the playoffs are great.
Same for Harden.
His stats in the playoffs are great.
See it when we believe it.
His stats in the playoffs are great.
Tobias Harris, too. We'll definitely see that when we believe it.
He had a great playoffs last season, for sure.
It was cool. No.
All I'm saying is that the concern should be there because injuries are piling up for them. Pat Will, Lonzo, Caruso. But even when fully healthy, I mean, Bulls fans coming into the season, I don't think you guys had the expectation of making it to the ECF. I don't think you guys had the expectation of, let's just get to the playoffs, and then we'll see. Now that the Bulls have made it to the first seed, now the expectations are, okay, maybe we can make it to the ECF. Maybe we can make it to the finals. But I'm here to temper those expectations, man. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to the offseason where y'all just wanted to make the playoffs, where y'all was still worrying about if we're going to be better than the Knicks.
No, you were worried about
So that's what's happening. But I'm here to bring you guys back to August of 2021. Just be happy with the playoff berth. That's it.
I think in a perfect world, like we're 4th seed right now. We play Boston. I think we could beat Boston.
Tough series.
That's a very tough
Every
series.
series is going to be tough, but I think we can beat Boston. And then we'll have to see Miami or Nets or Raptors, whoever comes out of that one, and then we're in the second round. So, I think that's a really good season, honestly. I really do. So, for me personally, like, I don't know, because it's like I said before, we don't, like, DeMar isn't, like,
a
top.
Bulls fans is talking crazy.
A top 10.
They are.
Oh, Dante, I got y'all all on notice, but I was talking crazy when the Bulls
You don't
said
got
that
me on. You don't got. I've never said you don't got me.
It's not like the Nets have been all world for you to be on this.
The Lakers suck. Stop talking to me.
We're talking about teams.
I know, but y'all in the
East.
same position as me, so.
No, we're not.
We're
in a way worse.
We're in the plan.
We're in a way worse
So you admit
position.
we're better than you, okay?
Yeah,
because
I solely mean it on the sense of
Dante.
Yeah, but I've never said.
Nah.
I've never said we're going to the finals.
You definitely said you could make it out the East, Rev.
I said, but no. When the list happened, I said bias, Rev, and then I said Bulls coming out the East.
So,
I mean,
I had
Milwaukee.
Devine. Oh, Dante, Devine. Both have been talking crazy all season about the Bulls.
But you said I had Bulls coming out the East when I was with him. And I said Bucks.
No, you said the ECF could be the Bulls and the Bucks. That's literally what you said.
Oh, I said bias though. I was being biased.
What you need to do
Temper
is put that stock into the Miami Heat. They're the second best team in the Eastern Conference behind
Milwaukee.
Philly. Behind Philly,
you're bugging now.
Philly's the best.
I think I've been saying all year. I think Miami could beat Milwaukee if they face.
This fascination with Miami.
Though we have that bet. We still have that bet though.
Jimmy Butler has been.
Remember $100 if Miami and Milwaukee play.
Oh,
you
yeah,
think Milwaukee?
1,000%.
Can I get in on that?
We go up and up. I'm not really worried too much about that.
On to the last segment of the show. So Bradley Beal might get the Supermax.
I love that this is the last topic of the show.
Bradley
Very
Beal.
mellow, just
we showed love to Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal says it's fair to say he's leaning towards re-signing with the Wizards it would be a 5-year, $246 million deal, $49.2 million a year.
You
Now,
want that bread, bro. He about that paper.
if the Wizards give Bradley Beal a supermax, would that be a mistake?
Can I go first?
Reggie Jackson was a plus 44 when he played you guys.
Yeah? That's nuts. Let me say this. man.
Dinwiddie had 36 tonight.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Shut
Age
up.
like wine. Age like
I'm a
wine.
Nets fan.
Huh?
I was a Nets fan. My guy.
No, I just mean in the sense that we had that. And he started shaky, but he started to come into
He's
his
a
own
good
recently.
bench player,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, he's good. That's what.
But,
great six.
This would be such a huge mistake. Right now, Bradley Beal, he is a great scorer, no doubt. He's a good rebounder, decent playmaker, sure. Ultimately, he can't win. You can't win
He's a good
with this
player,
guy
bro.
as the number one on your team.
I like Dinwiddie.
Even in his best season with the Wizards, they didn't get past the first round.
It was him and Westbrook.
It's a lot that has to go on within the organization. There's a lot that has to go on within the organization for them to put together a team with Bradley Beal being their best player to compete for a championship. And right now, with the East getting better and better, probably the best the East has been in over 2
Since
decades.
Jordan. Since
maybe.
Jordan.
Nah,
No, I'm just joking.
2011?
Yes,
I'm
something along that line.
Was it?
The Wizards are going to be put in a spot
Miami
where
was still the favorite, though, right?
Yeah, but you saw
the
the
big-
tough teams. Miami,
It was tough, but I always had
Orlando,
Miami coming out.
Chicago, Atlanta was still good. It was a really tough.
The
East.
Pacers. Yeah.
But the Wizards are going to be put in a spot where they either need to figure it out as an organization of how to build a championship caliber team with Bradley Beal as their guy, or they could save $245 million. That's what the deal was, $245.
Supermax, yeah.
A supermax,
49.
$249 of
49 million a year.
giving him over almost exactly giving him almost $50 million a season.
He better
when
sign
right
that.
now, if he's smart, he takes the money because that is a stupid contract. But if I'm the Wizards, I look at Bradley Beal and I understand the value that I could get for him. Do I want to be put in a position where I'm forced to building a team around Bradley Beal as my best player? Or do I want to try and trade Bradley Beal, get assets, get future picks that I could put into building a future for the Washington Wizards? Right now, the Wizards aren't a top destination for free agents by any means. It has been like that for years. They've never been a spot where players want to go play, even when they had Wall, even when they had Beal together as that duo. No one really was attracted to go play in Washington. It's going to continue to be that way. It doesn't matter who's the main guy on the team. They need to build through the draft. And giving Bradley Beal this money would put them at a huge disadvantage to compete in the East for years to come.
You ever thought about the possibility of maybe a sign and trade?
No team's going to want to give him $245.
No, Washington gives him that money and then they trade Bradley Beal.
Correct, and whatever team he goes to is going to have to pay them that bread.
This is I
I
don't
don't
want
let him walk.
you
But
know what's
raging next year.
You think that Beal is a superstar, so you think he deserves this?
it's not about I don't think first of all, I don't think he's a superstar. What's wrong with you?
Like when Mike Conley was the highest paid player in the NBA.
I think it's really about situation. You gotta look at Washington and just be like if I'm Washington, do I want to be competitive? Bradley Beal makes us somewhat competitive, but if I'm like, there's nobody, like you said, there's nobody gonna come here. This is probably the best star I'm gonna get, right? And I don't know what's the position like they're stuck in kind of a weird position because they got all these guys under contract. You know, Kyle Kuzma, he's good, but he's what he's gonna be. Thomas Bryant is what he's gonna be. Like they have a lot of what he's gonna be type of players. I mean,
Pope.
Danny Avia, goodness gracious. KCP, yeah, he's what he's
What
gonna
about
be.
Denny?
He's a good player.
He
I was saying when you said that, like, he's really what he's gonna be. But Danny Avia, he's a really good player. So I think like him, Rui,
Gafford.
but you still, even Rui, it's like, you kind of can hit at what he's going to be. Gafford, too. So it's like they don't have any young, real star to kind of build around. So they're kind of stuck in this place where it's like, do we give him the super max to be competitive? Do we let him walk and we just become nothing? I think like the best position probably would be to just either maybe work on a destination to send them to get some assets back. And if not, ultimately, you have to just let him walk. Don't put yourself in a position where you keep Bradley Beal for 6 long years. He's 28 years old. So by 34, that would be his contract end. You don't want to keep him for that long. You want to keep building on this draft picks. You're Washington. You're D.C. Nobody wants to play in D.C. Nobody wants to play there. So your best bet is to go through the draft, build strong. You know, maybe if you can't trade back Beal for some assets, let him walk to free agency. Let him go find someplace else because you're not going to win with this roster. You're not going to make the playoffs with this roster. You're struggling to get in the play-in right now. So I think this is definitely a bad mistake. But for Beal, take the money. I actually sign it tomorrow. This is a big deal. Like, get your bread, bro.
Bradley Beal's going to sign this contract. The Wizards are going to give him this contract. And the reason why I know the Wizards are going to offer Beal the Supermax is because they just traded for Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis is getting paid $30 million a year.
Yep.
So Washington obviously does not care about how much they pay mid-level stars. They're going to hand Beal the contract because they're going to say, look, man, we have KP and Kuzma and KCP. We're building something. We're building something for you.
Gafford.
So Beal is definitely, he would be a dumb dude to not take this contract. He's going to take it. There's no doubt. Should they give it to him, though? Absolutely not. If the Wizards offer Bradley Beal a supermax contract, it's going to be the second worst mistake in franchise history behind giving Gilbert Arenas 6 years, $111 million. And this situation reminds me back in 2018, I believe, when the Hornets had the ability to offer Kemba Walker a 5-year, $221 million deal. The Hornets didn't offer to him. And now, years later, they are one of the more exciting, fun teams in the NBA to watch. They have LaMelo Ball, who's going to be way better than Kemba ever was.
Facts.
Damn.
That's the proper direction the Wizards have to take. Look at the Hornets. Despite all the mistakes Michael Jordan has made as an owner,
He's improved.
not signing Kemba, not offering him the Supermax was a great decision. And if the Wizards should be looking at Charlotte like, we should do what they did and not offer Bradley Beal the Supermax. And Beal in 40 games this year is averaging 23 points per game. His efficiency is down. His playmaking has gotten up, but he's not a Supermax level player. And with the core of Bradley Beal, Porzingis, and Kuzma, what are they doing in an Eastern Conference that has gotten more competitive? They're doing nothing. The Wizards should have traded Bradley Beal last year, should have traded him before this season. It's honestly been a while that they should have traded him. But now they're stuck, and they're probably going to offer him the Supermax, and they're going to regret it.
I mean, I definitely agree with you. I never thought Bradley Beal was a max level player, to be honest with you. I mean,
Not even the max, regular max.
okay, regular max, yes.
He's
yes.
not a max level.
Like Randall got a max. He can get a
Yeah,
max.
he could get a max.
Randall got a max. I thought he's got a good contract.
Randall didn't get a max.
They capping, right?
Oh,
He got 150, didn't he?
He didn't get a max.
Oh, he didn't get a max?
What was the max?
The max was like 40 mil. He's getting like 28 mil
Did
a year.
AD get 180?
AD got a max.
Well, 80 is a max level
No,
player.
no, I know he is, but that's what I was wondering. Is it
Different
180 the
markets.
max?
Wait,
No,
For players not on the same team that go to a
180
180 is the max. Okay.
180 is the
So
max.
he did get 150. Or was it 140?
Nah, AD had the super though.
He got 180.
Julius Randle was coming off an all-NBA.
Correct.
You got to remember
He could have demanded
he's
it,
making
but
about 21 mil a year, right?
No, he's making more than that.
Julius,
he's making like 28 mil.
28?
Mm-hmm.
That's not
AD
that's
didn't
not
make
a
an All NBA team that year, so he couldn't get the supermax.
He did.
No, remember he sat out that year.
But he got 180. AD has 180.
That's not a supermax.
It's a max.
So this
you
year,
can't get a super max
so
if you
next
leave your
season,
team.
so next season, Randall's getting 23 mil, then 26, then 27, then 29, and it's a player option. So it's a team-friendly contract,
Yeah.
hypothetically.
So you guys play him 28 mil to suck?
He doesn't suck.
He's been playing better.
He has been playing better.
12
After the
seed.
All-Star. I mean, yeah. But like I was saying, I mean, Bradley Beal, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you look at teams like Milwaukee, they have Giannis. You look at teams like Brooklyn, they have a Kevin Durant. You even have a team like the Chicago Bulls who have a DeMar DeRozan. Bradley Beal isn't better than any of these players. And to agree with what Joel said this year, Bradley Beal is coming off a statistically down year. Last year he was second in the NBA in scoring behind Steph Curry. Could have won a scoring title. Was close. The year before he averaged 30. This year he's coming back and he's looked like kind of like a shell of himself, to be honest. And then I just look at the Wizards' records throughout the years. I mean, I have them right here. I mean, 28 and 34 this year, albeit he hasn't played much season-ending injury. Last year, 34 and 38, barely made the playoffs, got gentlemen swept in the first round. We could all agree Bradley Beal was the best player on that team. The year before, 25 and 47, 32 and 50. This team peaked when they had John Wall and Bradley Beal making the second round. So I'm not would that make Bradley Beal the highest paid player ever if he got that contract?
No,
No.
49 mil. James Harden could get 50 mil this offseason.
I think
Okay.
Steph makes more than him.
But that would make Bradley Beal one of the highest players.
Yeah,
I think
one of
that's
the
the
highest
high.
paid
I think
players.
that's the highest contract in NBA history.
Yeah.
245, 249 would be the highest.
And look, but we have to see who we're comparing him to his contemporaries. I mean, Steph Curry, James Harden, these are all world superstar
He's not
Hall
even
of Fame level
contemporaries.
players. This is not, and I guess for Bradley Beal, if I was him, I would take the contract. It's a very lucrative contract, and you're gonna be set for life. So, but other than that, I mean, I kind of agree with you guys. The Wizards kind of have to build through the draft. I mean, you have to do what the Hornets did. You have to do what a team like Milwaukee did. You have to build through the draft. Nobody's walking through the door is gonna sign to go play, especially in Washington, with Bradley Beal being your best headline player. So I mean, I'm with the assumption that they have to build through the draft. I think it'd be stupid to give Bradley Beal this money. I know he's a free agent coming up this year. I would let him walk. I don't even know if I was Washington at this point with all the antics and stuff that he's done with the team, being on with the team, then being off with the team based on their performance levels. I wouldn't offer him a contract. I would let him go. I mean, and just build through the draft. I mean, to offer this guy $49 million a year, you're kind of hindering your cap, albeit nobody's going to come through. But I'm of the assumption you're a low market team. And you're not gonna attract any free agents. So your best bet is to build through the draft and take like a Charlotte Hornets or a Milwaukee Bucks level approach to it. Hopefully you hit in the draft and you draft a superstar, and just go from there. But offer him a 28-year-old Bradley Beal who has declined tremendously from last year, from his 31 points per game season till now. I don't think that's a smart move for the Wizards.
Wizards get hypothetical. Bradley Beal signs. Wizards get the number 1 pick. Just hypothetical. Who do they pick?
Chet.
They go Chet?
Chet.
Even with Porzingis?
Oh,
Jabari?
Even with all that logjam at the forward spot?
I think they have to trade back and get I don't know.
Like two lottery picks?
I don't know.
See, if that happens, that's
Because
something
they
really
could
good.
trade to Portland and get both of their lottery picks. And then they give Portland 1
I think Jaden Ivey should go.
to Washington.
Oh, definitely.
Well, Beal's a 2.
He could play the 1 though.
I mean,
They're
so
screwed.
if they don't
Have a
offer
logjam at the
so if they don't
forward.
offer Bradley
Rui,
Beal this contract, let's
Kuzma.
say they don't offer him this contract, right? Because I'm kind of a little confused with this part of contracts. I'm not that in tune with the contracts. So if they don't offer Bradley Beal this contract, dude, that means they keep all this money, right?
He can go. He goes to the offseason, but a team can't give him the same amount of money. You can only get a supermax from the team you played for.
Okay, so it's up for Washington to offer it to him as well, though.
Yes.
Which we're all the assumption that they probably are going to offer him the
Washington
supermax.
has to
but
offer this
if
deal.
they didn't offer him the supermax, he wouldn't get that much money. But no money would be coming off the books for Washington.
No money. Well, if he accepts his player option in this offseason, they'll still have to pay that. But then he can walk. He could decline that and walk. He could walk either way. But if they don't give him this contract, Washington keeps their money.
I don't think Washington should give him this contract, to be honest. I think you got to build to the draft.
Yeah, I agree. And before we end off the show, a report came out that the Giants are going to likely pursue Mitch Trubisky.
No way.
Yeah.
You're lit. That's
You're
huge.
excited?
Yeah.
He
like him?
No, he's.
I like him more than Daniel Jones.
Okay.
Damn.
Mitch
So
Jones
let's
sucks.
just prediction time real quick. Let's just give our input. Report came out the Giants will likely pursue Mitch Trubisky. If they do indeed sign him, who's the day 1 starter, Trubisky or Daniel Jones? They also didn't pick up Daniel Jones' 5th-year option, which means
They really don't
it
want
looks like on the outside, Brian Dable's like,
it's a prove
Mitch
it.
is my guy, Daniel Jones is out. So I think Mitch Trubisky is the day 1 starter for the Giants.
I think Daniel Jones starts, but he flops early and Mitch takes him out.
I think it'd be a huge mistake if they didn't at least give Daniel the opportunity. I'm going Daniel.
Now I'm gonna go Mitch Trubisky. We've seen what we've gotten from Daniel Jones these past couple of years.
He's kind
If the Giants' offense is healthy, though, Saquon's healthy, their weapons, it's really not that bad.
They don't have an O-line, though,
Mitchell
right?
Trubisky's he's been a Pro Bowler in this league before, right? So,
Second year in the league.
Yeah, so I mean,
26
look,
and
I know
10,
that's
something like that?
I know that's a little overrated.
24
but
and 12.
Now if Mitchell Trubisky plays well and everybody in the Giants relatively stays healthy, do they have a shot to make the playoffs?
What's the realistic ceiling for the Giants to if Mitch starts?
Can they make the playoffs?
Or can they at least be competitive?
I think they're a 7-win team.
7
I was
wins?
gonna say
And if
ceiling
Mitch plays well, do they continue on with Mitch as the franchise QB?
How old is he?
He's young still.
It's like
right?
26.
Yeah, he's still apparently young. But QBs
Nah.
can play for a minute.
Trubisky.
Like they could play for dumb
I
long.
told
hell
y'all,
yeah.
bro. Y'all ain't want to believe it. I told you and Joe
You just-
that they're going to go after Trubisky.
that was
multiple.
I told y'all.
Yo, there's no chance they make the playoffs with
took
him.
no
Who,
L's.
Giants? They
But
suck.
Listen,
There's no
that was a
chance?
good call
G-Men.
for sure.
Yo.
But I do still think
They have
it
a
would
good
be
draft.
a huge
They
mistake
have a
to
lot
move
of
off
picks in the
Daniel.
draft, bro.
At least you can acknowledge
Kenny
that
Golladay
Daniel
has.
showed some great
Jones
strides
can't get him
last
the ball.
season when he had his guys.
I mean, when he gets in the ball,
It's
he
just
drops it.
unfortunate.
I think he has, but I think, bro, he's had more turnovers than he's had games played.
Yeah.
Games played.
Yeah.
What?
Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Ew.
He fumbles so much.
Yeah,
He's like Carson Wentz.
He used to be on him.
Still high. That's my dog. Free him.
So that's going to do it for episode 159 of the Pick Aside Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Pick Aside Podcast, on Twitter at Pick Aside Pod. Thank you guys for listening and or watching. And
Burner
we'll
Hoops,
see
I love you, bro. I
next
love
time.
you.
Shout out to who?